get a quick skill 3 out, but that will probably the last skill 3 that she would ever do.
Yeah, I mean, the Plume will be able to get the defense break onto the Luan, so, but on a bit of a clock here, because once this Sharon goes down, this team has no damage.
And also, the moment Fuchu get a skill 3 on, it's going to be almost impossible to kill this Nathan.
Yeah, and will he even land with the Plume onto the Nathan, or is he just going to be helping him boost along? The Plume doesn't land the defense break on Nathan, does importantly on Luan, though.
โอเค
And I think that is the scary thing about Nathan, which is that I think this Plume with speed buff can definitely outspeed this Nathan, but there's still the big 20% that he will just dodge everything that you do and gain so much turn meter
Oh,
between. But
that's
look at the
big damage,
Sharon
though.
damage, though. Oh my god.
32,000 damage onto the Nathan with the first proc of the dots.
I think he might have to skill 2 to heal himself here, or else he's going to be in trouble.
Oh,
But he went for the
he's going
skill
for the
3 instead.
F3. Looking to get that forgetfulness down. Unfortunately, can't get the forgetfulness on the Sharon because he gave him that 2-turn immunity. So
จบแล้วดิ
will survive for a little bit longer, but already pretty low health.
Oh, can he get another skill 3 from Luan into the Sharon? Or else the Sharon's going to be able to pop the Nathan if she's lucky. But that might be challenging though, because the moment you touch Nathan, he's going to gain at least like 50% turn meter immediately if you miss it,
Yeah.
of course.
Who do you decide to go for? At the moment, the Lily, he does go for the Nathan.
But I
Oh,
don't
it
think this
only
was
just really broke the shield from the Fushu. And this Sharon's
yeah.
just getting punished by the Luan.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good enough right there. And more pressure coming out from Lucky Loon. That is going to be a lot and a lot of damage. The Plume once again missed the Nathan. Back-to-back miss. Could not get a single debuff onto the Nathan, which means she also can't land her special debuff that
When the
reduced
Sharon's
speed.
out, S2 just kills off and then heals most of his team back to full HP. And now he can, and that's GG, game 1.
And you know,
That
we
was
know
quick,
why
though.
Nathan is always pre-ban, and we finally see a game where he actually
ผมว่าดาเมจ
dominated.
เขาน้อยไปหน่อยวะ
Yeah, Nathan got his
เจอโล
first
วาน
win.
กด
I do feel like, though, the MVP of
กด
this
ดาเมจ
match
มา
is
แค่
probably just
ชา
the
ลอนอะไม่ไหว
Luan.
หรอก
As soon as you get that Luan S3 onto the Sharon, I feel like the game's just over. I think he needed to outspeed
สวัสดี
with
คุณ
the
ซาเซรีครับ
Sylvia to have any sort of hope of winning, but as soon as that
มัน
Lily outsped,
โลวานมันไม่ตายแล้ว
it
นะ
was
มันมี
kind of GG.
เขามี
I
แอม
think
เบอร์
it's
อะ
just
แพ้
really,
ดี
really
อะ
hard to get the Sylvia to outspeed because I think her base is already not too fast. Because if her base speed is like 125, 126, that will be super broken. But her base is just gonna be able to catch up with the Lily and Lowen. My goodness, I think from the day she got released, she has always been the answer to any OP things that get released after her or before her.
Yeah, she is probably the best unit in the game into single threat comps because you can just jump on that one threat and you know you're going to kill them. Especially after she received a buff this season where her exaltation reduces healing all the way to, I think it's 80% reduced.
And also her skill 1 damage get boosted to very, very high. So her damage, her utility got so much better. And thanks to the nerf to the Archon card, she came back really, really strong, being one of the most popular unit to counter anything that you find annoying. Whether it's gonna be Sharon, Nathan, Ray Mary, Lowen is always kind of there.
Yeah, and we're seeing the key animus on screen at the moment. It is actually that
แล้วผมไป
Nathan
ล็อกอินผิด
going
เดี๋ยวค่อย
for
เปลี่ยน
the
แล้ว
Jackal build, running Gladiator, Swift, Wellspring, and Swift Smite. Probably more of a common build that you see on Nathan, trying to get that extra little bit of health on him so he can deal that bit more damage. Probably running him slightly slower than some of those top speed Nathans that you see that are 370 plus speed.
That is absolutely insane. But not being on Bulwark is kind of vulnerable to Luvia. But once again, we're getting to a drafting phase, and Bog, I am seeing the Nathan getting first pick by Lucky Loon.
Wow, Nathan getting through draft again. Going for the Sylvia on the other
นาเทนโทษอีกแล้ว
side.
เหรอ
What will he pair this time with it? Does he go for that Fiamelia again, or does he switch it up? He is going for that Fia again. Pretty confident in the draft so far then. must have just thought there was something that went slightly awry. Maybe it is that Loan, because he's pre-banned the Loan this time. Thinks that the draft will work if Loan is just taken out of the equation.
Oh, but I'm not too sure about picking 2 healers in your draft though, because once again, I think he's probably gonna lock the Sharon into like a Sean Lee situation right there. But he's giving away turn 1 to the enemy unless he has like a super crazy speed hidden in the 3rd pick here.
Maybe he has one of those super fast Luvias that he's just going to take on lock now and punish the fact that he knows there's no bulwark on that Nathan. Could just send the Nathan away. And no,
อะไรครับ
instead
ทำไมไม่
is
ตัดไปให้ดูอ่ะ
locking
เลือก
the
ตัวอะไรบ้างอ่ะ
XL.
เพื่อน
So guaranteeing that he has that extra
งงว่ะ
damage coming out from the rest of his team this time.
Oh, locking XL. I'm not too
ลืม
sure
เขาลืมตัดจอ
about
วะ
this move right there.
ตัด
It
จอ
used
ไป
to
เนี่
be
ย
like a very popular move, but it doesn't
รู้
look
เรื่องอ
so
ยู่2 คน
hot in
บ้า
the
บอ
current meta. And we are seeing a Catchy the Guard being drafted as well. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe the draft's going to show up on the screen very, very soon here. But we got Catchy the Guard getting picked up together with Nathan, Lily, and Xuan Chi on one side,
เดี๋ยวนะ
with double healers, Xuan Lee Sharon on the other side.
Yeah, so actually switches over from Catchy to that Asal at the last second and then is deciding to go with that Fushu on 5. Just waiting for him to lock that to confirm that. He does. He locks the Fushu.
เนี่ยให้ดูอย่างงี้ไม่ก็ได้
This
นะ
might
ใช่ไหม
signal that he's
ตั้งแต่
actually
เมื่อวาน
going
อ่ะ
to
ไม่ให้ทำให้ดู
or post-banning the Sharon
กว่าจะให้ดู
because
ก็
he
คือ
didn't want to go
เนี่ย
for
ถ้าเกิดทำอ
that
ย่างเงี้ยดูสนุกกว่าผมว่า
Catchy. And yeah, the Sharon is out as well as the Asal. So Nathan getting through the draft again, Sean.
But then the enemy actually picked up a Didding to counter Nathan, and from my experience, it worked decently well.
ลิลลี่
if
ก็
you
เหรอ
actually land your thing.
ลิลลี่
So
มัน
he
มัน
really
โหด
need
จริง
to
ว่ะ ถ้า
pray
เกิดได้
that he land his
ได้ออก
thing.
ก่อนอะ
That's pretty much it. If he missed that onto the Nathan, then it would be a pretty big problem. But it looks like this Didding is really, really fast, and he has a very good chance of landing the debuff onto Nathan. That could also counter Xuan Chi, also counter the Fuchu. Pretty good choice right there.
Ooh, interesting. I thought he would go for the S2 there on the Lily to get the speed boost before he goes. But the Sylvia is on Strive, so she pushes ahead. Will have the option here to S3, or does he just go for the S2?
Maybe he wants to somehow control the food tube. I don't think that's going to be worth it because you need to spend the S2 onto the food tube, and that's going to expose yourself to being slowed by the Nathan. But he might just do it with the skill.
โอ้แต่ว่าแถวข้างบนมันบังอ่ะมองไม่เห็นดีบัฟ
Importantly,
เลย
the S3 from the Lily did reset the cooldown of the
ก็สองนะ
Zhongli,
ไม่ใช่ก็สอง
so
อ่ะ
he's one turn away from that. He needs to get a full
ก็สองไม่ดีเหรอ
rotation
ผม
with
ว่า
the
ก็สอง
Zhongli
ดีนะ
before he can get that S3 up. Okay, does he land? He lands on everybody with the Ting. That is massive.
Yep, that is
อ๋อเขาลบดี
giga
โอเค
huge, especially onto the Nathan. So now we are kind of equal in terms of speed, and he
แต่ว่า
will
ไม่ไหวกับผู้
potentially
ฉิว
enjoy
อะ
a
ผม
little
ว่า
bit of speed buff from Xuan Li if she get another turn here, because unfortunately she got touched by the Lily skill 3, so she is not doing any of her magic anytime soon.
Yeah, but interesting position now because he can't really afford to press the S3 on the Sylvia because then he will remove that torpor that he's kind of drafted this Ting for. So it would
Wait.
make it redundant.
But he can S3 with the fear here, get a bit of healing, get a little bit of pushback right there. So the Sylvia cannot S3, but I don't think he kind of need that anymore because he achieved what he's out to do, which is
อันนี้ก็ไม่
to
ต้องตีนะ
land the skill 3 of the Didding, trying to buy time so that he can set off his combo. But he really needs to get something going here because the slow and the torpo is running out anytime now.
ถ้าตอนนี้ชนะผมจะไปก๊อป
And
มา
he
เล่น
will get that
Distinct.
S3 up now with the Jean Li. Really important for him because with this team, I think that you need these
ช่วยหลี
move procs
รี
to
พาวิปติด2 รอบเลยเหรอ
actually
โคตรดวง
kick
ดี
in
เล
so
ย
that you can get that Ting
ไม่มี
consistently
ดาวไทม์เลย
dropping the torpor onto
ดวง
the
ก็มี
Nathan.
ผลอยู่นะ
All right, no cooldown reduction for Didding just yet. The rotation is going to not last, and he needs to do something about it. Unfortunately, he could not S3 with
มันตีไม่
Sylvia,
เข้า
and
อะ
that's
ดิ
the awkward thing
ถ้า
about
เกิด
Sylvia.
ส
If
ปีด
you
แพ้
haven't get a lot of debuff
ตีตัว
yourself,
ซ้ายไม่คีด
is
อะ
that you kind of not want to S3, so the Sylvia lose half of her value, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he has that immunity up on everybody, so doesn't really want to press the S3 on the Nathan. This Jean Li, though, isn't actually doing all that much damage through the Fushu. The Fushu's just healing back all of the damage that they're taking.
This is the very crucial moment because the Didding has one turn cooldown to skill 3, but the Xuan Li could potentially help him get another skill 3 out right here and turn the table for his team before the Xuan Qi and the Nathan start doing massive damage onto his team.
Yeah, it's a very important turn coming up here. He got a time weave proc on the Fia, so he has the S3 back on the Fia again. But will it proc on the Deting?
Here we go. Deting getting that turn right there. Very soon. Can he get it? Because if he does and he land on the Nathan, then it will turn the game around. He did not get the skill 3.
ไม่ทำวิวเลย Ditting
So you gotta wait for a little bit longer right there for the Ditting to get some
แต่อย่าง
action
นี้
back.
บัฟหมด
He does actually have the
Ditting ได้
option
นะ
here though of pressing the S3 on the Sylvia.
อ๋อ
which
ก็
will
ซีเว
boost
ซีเว
his
กดอันติ
Deting
ได้แล้ว
back
Ditting
up,
จะได้การ
push the rest
การั
of
น
the
ติ
team back, and he will guarantee get it.
Finally, he can actually use the Sylvia S3, giving some value to the team, removing all of that speed buff on both sides. And now, once again, it's going to be a quick little gamble, but he will have to let this Xuan Qi take a turn, which in turn might boost the Lily and the Nathan.
Ooh, this is getting pretty dicey. Does the S3 land again? No speed buff this time. Oh, everything lands! That is massive!
He got everybody, and some of the Xuan Li still missed.
ก็แต่ผมว่าอันนี้ดวงอยู่ปะ
But that
เพราะว่าไม่
is
มีบัฟสปีดแต่
absolutely
แปะนาเทนติด
huge for his team right there
ร
because
อบเลย
it counters everything on the side of Lucky Loon. And now the Xuan Li is going to start to hurt this Nathan.
โอ้ยแม่ติเหรออ๋อ
This
เก็บเวลานะ
Fushu, though, is consistently just healing through. That's the thing about Sylvia into Fushu. When he pressed the S3, he basically just extended the length of the S3.
ฮิวก่อน
The
25,000
Nathan are full healing with
Heal.
the S2.
ฮิว 25,000
But the good thing about Fuchu, or the bad thing, is that the S3 is actually running
ตีไม่เข้า
out very soon here.
อันนี้ต้องมา
So
ตี
the
นะ
moment
ลบ
you
บัฟก่อน
don't have the Fuchu protection anymore, it's going to get really dicey for Lucky Loon.
Yeah, I think as soon as that
Wait.
Fushu wears up, he hits the taunt this time. He's tried 2 times so far throughout this match and missed every time, but importantly, hits this time. That is massive.
โอ้ยมีโอกาส
Oh,
Tải
more
rồi đó,
damage
nào
from
thiên.
Fia looking really good. The Didding shows to be a very strong counterplay to
Ui,
Nathan
lướt bác
in
à?
this game.
XC.
Even with the Fuchu in there, he could not survive the slow and the torpo together with the damage on for the Xuan Li. Looking really good for San Shumao.
โอ้ยแต่ว่า XL
Yeah,
ส
and
กิล
he
หมด
hit the cooldown increase there, which is really important.
อ๋อมาอีกแล้ว
Keep him away from that S2 heal. And then he's got the S3 back up on the Jean Li, so he can just proc that time weave and do it
ทำวิป
all
รัว
again.
Is that GG? Because Xuan Li is done and she is under torpo, so she's not getting a turn anytime soon, and nobody's gonna protect this Nathan anymore. I think it might be over.
Well, interestingly, the S2 from the Lily is a gain turn if you already have it on, so it can ignore the torpor. So he pulled the Nathan up there to get him a turn, try and get him out of that taunt. He does have the S3 again on
เพ
the
ราะว่าอันนี้ไม่
Sylvia, though. I don't
ไม่
think
ต้อง
you
ส
go
กิล
for
นะ
it here
ตี
because
ธรร
you'll
มดาซ้ายไป
remove
เลย
that taunt.
เพราะถ้า
If I were him, I would just pump damage into Nathan.
ถ้าเกิดตีเดี๋ยว
You
บัฟ
might
เดี๋ยว
not
มันหาย
quit, but it doesn't matter.
เอ้าตายว่ะ
He will still die
And
anyway.
he got the
จบแล้วดิ
Nathan down. He just needs to get through this XC now, which still has Amber, but I don't think that that will be much of a problem because his team is still very healthy.
Yeah,
อ่ะ
and
ถ้า
he
เขา
also has
เขาแบน
defense
ตัว
buff
นะจริงเขาต้อง
from Xuan Li,
แบนดิสติ้งมากผม
which
ว่า
means the
ไม่มีตัว
chances of XC
ล้างเลย
ignoring defense is not going to be very high. And if XC can't do damage and
ผมว่า
he's
ดิสติ้ง
under
ก็
a
ค
lot
ม
of
ดีนะ
pressure from slow debuff and torpo,
โดนสปีดได้หมด
he's kind of done. What a great turnaround. Nathan dominated one game just to get absolutely control the other.
Yeah, so it was showing that, and changing that ban, taking the pre-ban of Luan, that has just kind of flipped this whole draft around. It's a
Right.
very similar draft to last time, just swapping out that Luan, and he's also picked the Deting this time into the Nathan.
Wow, look at that. We are seeing another niche character being used at the right spot with the right build, completely dominate one of the strongest meta unit in the game.
ต้องขอดูดับใหม่
Yeah, and Deting is one of those units that is always kind of, since he came out, spanning the Sharon because he didn't want, just waiting for
นี่มัน
him
คือ
to
ฟอร์
lock
แบนถูก
that
ปะ
to
ยังไงเขาก็
confirm
ต้อง
that.
ผมว่าไง
He
เขาก็
does,
ต้อง
he
แบน
locks the
ดิส
Fushu.
ติ้งปะ
So this might signal that he's actually going to be pre-banning
แบบ
or
มัน
post-banning
ยังไง
the
มันเขาเลือกอันนี้มา
Sharon
มันช
because
นะ
he
หมดแล้ว
didn't want to go for that catchy. And yeah, the Sharon is out as well as the Assault.
If he missed that onto Dow, considering like it, most folk would consider very whatever.
Yeah, and I remember a couple of seasons ago, Sean, you were one of those Ting players that was spamming him every single game. Made it to the point where whenever I played you, I just first picked him.
Hitting is so good. I think this thing at one point Hitting was pretty much the best control unit in the entire game because he has hard CC with skill 2, he has soft CC with skill 1, and the skill 3 just completely dominate. Xuanqi, Plume,
เล่น
Fuchu,
ดิตติ้งไวนะ
Lily,
ไม่ใช่แบ
all
บ
the
บาส
fun stuff, even Doki Doki as well.
Yeah, and the Ting is the key animus of the game. Running it on that Jackal with Swift, Bulwark, Swift, you do need to, if you're wanting to try out this strategy, make sure that your Ting is very fast, because the faster you are than that Nathan, the higher chance there is for you to land that Torpor, and once you land, it's pretty strong, as we just seen.
And the thing about Ditting skill 3 is that it's a double hit, so the chance of letting your debuff is actually quite high. And you can run him on like a speed defense accuracy kind of build, so that you have some sort of accuracy. I think around 100 accuracy with maybe inside is already really good, and it will land your debuff the majority of the time.
Yeah, and also that Sanctolin is super strong into things like Raymarie, just any of those big damage dealers. The Sanctolin just nerfs their damage kind of completely. We are getting into draft for the next pick and ban. What do you think is going to change? Oh, this time we're seeing the Nathan pre-ban. No more Nathan in this game.
Funny, maybe he just have enough.
Maybe,
He's kind of
but
done.
we are seeing the Luan through this time.
Ooh, Lowen is still super duper strong. We're gonna get those first picks. So over there, Sylvia is gonna get picked up together with the Lowen, but we are seeing an early Sharon. I'm not too sure about an early Sharon play here.
Early Sharon with catchy pre-ban though could be good. We do know that this Lily does outspeed though, so, and he does have that Luan again. So always the concern that he pulls up the Luan and just jumps into the Sharon, because I feel like once that happens, the game's just kind of really tough to play. It's an uphill climb from there.
Oh, we got a Xuanqi getting picked up together with Lily. That's a lot of Amber, and that is going to be extremely good into this Sharon. So I think he might have to pick up a Raymarie or some sort of counter to Amber here. But the next one is going to be Xuanli, and he's leaving the last pick to maybe a Raymarie. What do you think about the last pick here?
I feel like the last pick could even be something like an Assault and just try and steal. No, he is going for the Raymarie. He's going for that Gator Raymarie, which honestly is probably fine. If you're the one that has the Sharon on your team, you don't really need to worry about that. At the moment, if I was looking at the other
อ่าน
side,
ชื่อ
draft,
เขา
I'd
ผู้
just
แข่ง
be
ขันไม่
looking
ออก
to
แล้ว
ban the Luan, and I feel like I have enough to get
เหงา
through.
จัด
But
ลิลลี่อีกแล้วเหรอ
there's a CC pick on 5. It is the Navette, but he does have the Thea
Ben-
on lock. If this
Ben
Thea
Newitt
is
อยู่แล้วปะ
on Bulwark,
เขาเลือกมาสู้
Do
ติ
you
ด
think
4 ตัว
it's
แรก
enough?
ไงเขาเป็นเนเวตป่ะผมว่า
I don't think that's going to be enough though, because he does have 2 different AoE stripped right there. So I'm pretty sure if you
ไม่
let
แบน
the
เนเวต
Navette
แพ้แน่
say, you
หมายถึ
are
งว่า
going to get hard
ฝั่ง
CC
ซ้ายอะ
regardless. So the Navette is going
เพราะ
to be
เฟียร์
banned
มัน
out,
ล้างไม่ทัน
and
โอเค
Kethos
แบน
is going to be banned out. We
ลิลลี่
have
คอมโบเนเวตคือ
a
เฟียร์ไม่ได้
lot
เล่น
of damage coming
ลิ
out
ลลี่
from
รี
Xuanqi
คูลดาวน์
and
ปุ๊บ
Lowen,
เพิ่มคูล
but
ดาว
the
น์แล้วก็
Raymarie
เนเว
is
ต
going
แช่
to be a very strong
ล้างไม่ได้
ticking time bomb.
yeah, the Raymarie will be a ticking time bomb, and it will also be very important is he's actually able to land the taunt with the Luan. The Thea, importantly,
แต่
isn't
ว่าเล่นคู่กับ
actually on Archon.
ตัวนี้มัน
It's
หมาย
on
ถึงว่าเล่นคู่กับ
Harmonizer,
ซิล
so
เวียมันเก่งไหมผมไม่รู้อะ
big chance that it will actually land and stick.
Here we go. We got some damage out immediately with the buff from Lily onto the Xuanqi. So we want to
ตีมันต้องกด
spam the
2 อันนี้
Xuanqi
ตี
turret
ผมว่าเป็นต้องตี
as
XC ป่ะ
often as possible. And
L.
the main target is definitely going to be the
ปกติตายว่ะ
Raymarie on the Gator build, because you can kill
สกิล
her
เดียว
quickly, but can he do it?
Can he
Không
kill
có
her
đào.
quickly enough? That is the thing.
ติดปะ
Looking to just get rid of her so that he doesn't need to worry about those
ถ้าติด
S2
เฟียร์เราอัน
procs
ติได้เลย
at any point in the game, because I feel like that's the scariest thing that could happen if he can just get a terminate.
แต่ว่า
through
แต่ว่า
those
รี
archers.
เฟียร์ติด
Oh, he's
อันติได้เลย
sending
แล้วก็
the
เล็ง
S3 here.
น่าจะมาร์กเลยปะ
Doesn't quite proc the
ไม่ก็มา
Fia.
มาชาลอน
Missed one
มาชาลอน
debuff. If he had hit one more debuff, that would have procced the Fia.
มาชาลอน
Oh, proc the fear right there.
Fear proc,
Sharon
แต่ว่ายังไม่มี
did
สกิล
not get increased cooldown time by the Lily, so he has to control the Sharon because the Sharon skill 3 would be too much damage. But once again, every time you're hitting
แต่ว่า
something
เสี่ยง
that's
อ
not
ยู่
a Ray
ตรงที่
Mary, the Ray Mary is waiting
เล
to hit
มีโอ
you
กาส
back.
2 เด้งถ้าเกิดไม่รีบฆ่าซ้าย
This Raymarie is already up to 80 stacks, so she's gonna proc very soon.
โอ้แต่ว่าโดนรีเหงาอยู่แบบ
But unfortunately, her shell is being
ถ้าเกิด
blocked
ตัวซ้าย
by
ตาย
the
เลเสีย
Shuan
แต
Chi
ก
debuff.
80
So
ฟรี
she's
เลย
not gonna get any
เพราะมันจะ
free
ครบ
turn
ร้อย
or
จากสกิ
any
ล2
free healing over there. She is going to
เอ้ย
get
คู่
the
2
skill
ที่
2
คูลดาวน์เลย
out, but
เพราะว่า
I'm
ต้องรีบ
not
ฆ่า
too
ซ้าย
sure
เลย
if that is going to be enough because we are still
I-
pretty early into
ผ
the
มว่า
game.
ดึงได้นะ
I
บัฟ
actually
สีแดง
like that play. He goes for the S1 onto the Loan to try and get the vulnerable so that when the S3 procs from his Raymarie, he
อ๋อแต่ว่า
can
เอาสปีดมี
potentially
เรื่อยแล้ว
kill
ปิ
it
ดซิล
with
เวีย
the Terminate. Is it going to be enough?
Oh, I don't think that's going to be enough to kill anything whatsoever. We're still
อุ้ย
pretty
เกือบ
far away
เกือบนะ
from
เอ้ยก็ไม่เกือบ
someone dying and Loen get another skill 3, maybe a Bramble?
Oh, doesn't get the Bramble, and he also didn't get any stun on that S1 with the Raymarie. I feel like he needed the stun to come back in this game.
จบแล้วดิ
Nothing is going the Ray Mary way. Ray Mary stood there the entire game and got
Lily
absolutely
เรากลางโหด
shut
จริงว่ะ
down. No Bramble, no crazy killing machine, just a simple Ray Mary. And now with 3 Amber in the field, I don't think this Shuanli has what it takes to win the game anymore.
No, I don't think so either. That is the kind of weakness of that game.
เขากดชาลอนไวเกิน
It
ถูก
is
ไหม
so vulnerable to just being
ชาลอนไม่ได้ทำอะไร
targeted
เลย
and killed out because you don't have that survivability that the Amber gives you, that extra life.
And also, I think Ray Mary just not getting any Bramble is really unfortunate because we all know and love or hate Bramble coming out from Ray Mary that just really have to happen at the moment where we don't want it the most.
เอา
And I don't see a
Mà mới
way
thịt.
back here because they've still got the Amber
Thôi mới
on
thịt.
the Luan and the XC to get through. Do you see any way back into this, Sean?
I only see the the top right button. That's pretty much it.
โอ้
Because
โดน
there's no
แซ
way
ง
this Fee Amelia, unless she get cooldown reduction every turn and somehow survive through all of this. But look at that, the healing is already not looking so hard because of the Loan special debuff. So she can't even survive well. No matter what kind of build you have, Loan, make sure that your healing is not gonna work. And that is
จบแล้ว
GG. Oh my goodness. Look
GG.
at that.
Lucky Alun taking the game, and interestingly, both of the games that he took, the Loan playing
สวัสดี
a big
คุณ
part in it.
หนึ่งครับ
Just
ดูไปตี
super
NQ
strong
ไป
unit. Do you think
ผมยังไม่ได้
it's
ตี
the
เลย NQ เดี๋ยวกลับ
kind
เดี๋ยว
of
ไปตีกัน
low-key OP unit that we're not seeing as much?
ไอ้หน้าขวายังไม่
I
เล่น
think Loan is high key OP unit. I don't know what low key you're talking about. I picked that unit. My enemy picked that unit all the time, and it is so annoying. You spend so much time farming to put your character on bulwark, and Loan just like, nah, that Kathos you have, that thing's not doing anything. That Sharon you have, useless now.
XC ลิลลี่เอาเรื่องใช่ครับ XC ลิลลี่ XC โลไม่ใช่ลิลลี่
Ability
XC
to
ลิลลี่
just
เค
shut
ทอส
down
ลิลลี่โลวาน
one
ลิลลี่
unit
เนวิด
is unparalleled.
ลิลลี่ชาลอนได้หมดเลย
And her
โคตรเก่ง
damage
อะ
since the buff is actually
ลิลลี่ล็อกกลางอะ
really good.
ผมยังแก้ไม่เป็นเลย
Especially
ไม่รู้
if
สู้
you
ไง
can get it with another defense
Lily
scaler to
Assault
get that defense buff on her. She can put out some
แต่
serious
ลิลลี่
damage.
เลไม่ค่อยเก่ง
Yeah, she is definitely one of the scary unit. I think usually you will see Loan on Amber, which means she's going to be vulnerable to a Luvia draft. But Luvia did not show up in any of the draft or even pre-banned by these 2 players in the last 3 games. So that left Loan and Shuanchi a little bit too available for Lucky Ilun to
มัน
abuse.
ต้องเอา
them.
สปีด 1 มาใส่ให้ลิลลี่อะ
And we're seeing the key
แบบ
animus for this
395
game is that Lily running that Amber build and just using Swift with a broken set so that he can get at her
จาน
as
ลิลลี่ดึง
fast
ต้อง
as
คูณเท่าไหร่นะครับ
possible. Going
คูณ
back to the Luan build, we
0.65
have seen over
ลิล
the
ลี่ส
course
กิล
of
2 มันดึง
yesterday and now
35 เปอ
today
ร์
that there is a lot of people prioritizing her, but interestingly,
เมื่อก่อน
they
มัน
all
ดึง
have slightly
30
different
มันบัฟมา
variations
บัฟ
on the build for her. All running Amber, but some people running that Bloodbath build, some people going for Swift Strive, and others actually swapping over to that Unyielding because she gains so many turns, she gets that extra healing from that set.
Yeah, I think Loan is a very versatile unit, but one thing we know for sure that she is going to be on a faster-ish build so that she can quickly take down one of the main threat of the enemy, or she can also gain a lot of turn in between and constantly
จีน
putting
เอเชีย
pressure
ก็
back on the
กด
enemy.
ชาลอน
And
จังเลยชาลอน
she's just absolutely scary. And you can see that she is
มัน
in
สองพิก
the
แรกไม่เก่ง
first pick material, completely shutting down the enemy main damage dealer. Even when they have like 3 different threats on the field, I think he has Sharon, Shanli, and Raymary. Lowen is still a very, very good option to shut down whichever you want, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like from her buff, she's moved from a pick on 4-5 unit all the way to a first rotation unit. You either pick her on 1-2, very hard to get her through a draft when you pick her on that 4-5 slot. Because if you're picking her there, or if you're wanting to take her there, she's normally already on the enemy team.
Yeah, because so many of these OP units become completely useless in the presence of Lowen. And I think that is very, very important because you already guarantee yourself a strong damage dealer, but you are also blind countering whatever they're using. If they're going Sharon, if they're going Kethos, Raymary, Lowen got you cover, and you don't have to worry about having like a dedicated counter to these characters if your Lowen can actually take a turn.
Yeah, so we're seeing Lucky Alun through to the semi-finals. That is one of the CN representatives through and one of the Asia representatives out. So there is only one representative from Asia left in the tournament. So I think we're seeing them up next against X. So who do you think is going to take this one, Sean?
Oh, hopefully it's gonna be X, and hopefully X is gonna show us some sort of crazy cleave right there. Maybe a little bit of a 2-run dot lock in between. Ooh, that's gonna be a little bit spicy.
Maybe, or we get another 10-minute long CC game from. I thought you were the CC lover, Sean.
Hey, I love CC. I don't love watching CC. Okay, that's why I play it.
Oh, I see. You like to sit and laugh. You like to sit and laugh as your opponent's just sitting there molding, not getting to press any of their buttons. I see. I see what type of player you are.
Hey man, if the game is long, and at least I get to press my button, all right?
Yeah, so we are seeing X up against Yon Yong next from, I believe, Korea. We didn't see him playing yesterday because he got the free buy after Watchum had to step out for personal reasons. So looking forward to seeing what he actually brings to the table. Will he have one of these kind of niche counter picks that some of the players have been having, or will he just draft more standard? We're seeing that Fushu, Loan, and Kethos as his preferred animus, so I would lean to believe that he prefers a more standard playstyle.
Seeing Fuchu as a
มาแล้ว
preferred animals give me a
คู่
little
สอง
bit of anxiety
XWX
right
กับ
there. So, but
อะไร
at
นะ
least X, I think if he has to face a slow
กูว่าเล่น
player,
ช่วยหน่อย
that is pretty much like a dream opponent for CC because
ออน
for
ยง
CC, the worst thing to deal with is being outsped and cleave. But if they're slow, they're trying to turtle down, and you can be free to apply your Luvia skill to your Nevet, your Nehor. That is the dream come true.
Yeah, it is.
ออนยงกับ
the dream come true,
XWX
and I'm pretty sure that is almost every single game for X. I think there is very few people on the
เหมือนเขากด
ladder that
ลูเวีย
can
ทุกเกมนะ
actually
ถ้าจำผิด
outspeed
เมื่อวาน
him. So be interesting to see if in one of these games decides to go for a race and who actually comes out on top.
I think if you want to race, you better race with a very, very good Freya. And we've been seeing some Freya luck as well in the ladder as well as in the tournament because people are getting faster speed on their auto unit as well. Because when you want to play Freya, I believe you have to be super fast on everybody so that you can catch up to your Freya. And in the past, it was a little bit harder to do that because we didn't have as many gear. But now, with so many double drop happen, people can actually farm and catch up to the Freya. So a race might be possible. And we're getting into the drafting phase between X and Onyong here. And we got the standard pre-ban buff.
Yeah, we're seeing that Sylvia and that Nathan taken out. X opting to go for that Kethos first pick. I do like that the most as a first pick because it allows you to flex into any playstyle from that Kethos. He is just so strong in everything.
Are you like a fast Kethos or like a tank Kethos kind of vibe?
Mine's is as fast as I can make him on Bloodbath so that I can play him in kind of any format and he's still pretty tanky and hard to get rid of.
โอเค
On the other
เค
side,
ทอส
though,
ไม่ใส่บัต
going
บาน
for
นี่
that
เป็นบูวอล์ก
Zhongqi and that
โอ้โหดู
Luvia,
ไม่ทัน
the Luvia
โอ้ยทำไม
is
ไม่
on
ขึ้น
Codex, and we
ไม่
did
ขึ้นไว้
see
เลยวะ
X playing that Luvia
ใครจะไปดูทัน
twice yesterday.
ขึ้นตรงกัน
Getting
3 ตัว
2
ผม
wins
จะดู
with it,
เชล
so
ดูอะไร
maybe
ไม่
a
ทัน
bit
เลย
of a takeaway.
แทนที่ไม่ทำแบบเมื่อกี้โคตรดีเลย
Ooh, we have our first catchy the guard lock today together with the low end as well.
ถ้าไป
If
ดูใน
this
เกมได้เลย
catchy
อะ
can outspeed the Luvia, then Luvia is completely countered, and Lowen can be free to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, and it's always risky. Like I was saying before this game, taking a race against X is very ballsy. So if that is something he wants to do, oh no, he's backed out. He's gone for the Fushu unlock with
Fushu,
Archon. So going for more of that turn 2 playstyle now, locking his support healer in.
Man, that's crazy. If I were to pick Kachi the God lock as a first picker, I would get a Turandot slap in my face immediately, and I know I would lose as well. Just being able to confidently lock a unit and not being scared of Turandot lock is crazy.
ผมว่า ถ้าเกิดจะเล่นทีมลับแล้วกดลุยพิก 2 ไม่ถูกต้อง
And also going for that Fia Melia.
โดนคาชิอะ
So
ดิ
has the Fushu, has the Fia, two massive healers in terms of supports. So I would assume he needs to go for a hyper carry on 5 to round out that draft. Probably something like an Asal.
Yeah, I think Asao Shuanli to start putting a lot of pressure might be the play here. And I wonder if he's going to do that. Maybe a Sharon
AWX
as well.
น่าจะหลิงหลัวปะ
What?
Oh, are
Excellent.
we
Wow.
seeing the
Cool.
vet on 5? No, I thought we were maybe going to see something similar to
ต้องกด
yesterday.
ต้องกดลิงหลัวมา
Instead,
สู้กับ
going
นี่ก่อน
for that
เอามา
Ling
สู้
Low
เฟีย
and
เบเลีย
also going for the XL.
กลางอิมมูน
I
ได้
really like the Ling Low when
ขยายได้
paired with both the Kachi and the XL because you're able to extend all of those buffs. So if he's planning to let that Luvia through, the Luvia is never going to get any value because he has 2-turn immunity from both of the units.
เพราะว่าลิงหลัวกับโลวานก็ถือว่ามาแก้เฟียแล้ว
So
เขาแบนได้ตัวเดียว
Axe is actually
ถ้าเขาแบนลิงหลัวไม่ให้
mixing the
ฮิว
playstyle
สู้
here.
ก็
He
โด
does
น
not
โดน
wanna
มาร์ค
just go all in on going first.
เอสซอล
He still has a little bit of healing. He has a lot of buff for his team. So
เพราะว่า
if
ยังไงก็ต้องไป
the
แอสซอล
fight
ป่ะ
drags out, he is not in a bad position.
เขาไม่แบนลูเวียอยู่แล้วเพราะว่า
Yeah, and
เลือกคาชิ
as
มา
I
สู้ลูเวีย
said, goes for that Asal on 5, needs a hyper carry. I'll be honest, I would assume the Asal is just taken out, and then you look to play into that Zhongqi. You don't really want that ticking time bomb of the Asal. I don't know who you ban on the side of X, though.
แอสซอลอยู่แล้ว
Maybe he's just gonna take out. Oh, it's gonna take out a low end, and Asal's gonna go away as well. So we've got a bit of a longer game here, but the time we've proc coming out from the Xuan Li special buff is gonna potentially help this Kethos pump a lot of
And
damage
that-
to the enemy.
And that Kachi is
Kachi เร็วกว่า
faster, and it's not really even close. He was
เรารับโดนดาเมจ
7%
ทุกวันครึ่งชั่วโมง
faster
ใช่ไหม
than the Luvia.
ถ้าเกิดเจอสัก2 เกมผมลง
That's a
ลงไลฟ์เลย
whole lot of speed for this Kachi the guard here. So after he
แต่ผมว่า
buffs,
โดน UX ชนะ
there's
นะ
nothing
ดาบ
much
นี้
that
ได้กลางอ่ะ
enemy can do,
ถ้าเร็ว
and
กว่า
the fact that he has a very fast
ลูเวียก็
Kachi,
เหงาแล้ว
he can afford to not
แล้วก็
force full work on his
ผู้ฉิวจะไม่
Linglo,
เล่นผู้ฉิวโดน
allowing the Linglo to
โดนแทรก
be built more normal.
อันนี้ต้องอันติใส่ผู้ฉิวแบบการันตีให้มันถอยไปก่อน
Yeah, and interestingly, he has the option here
Don't
of
anti
trying to
Fushu.
send back the Fushu. If he lands, he'll be
Ow.
able to steal the turn away from the Fushu. Instead, opts to go for the XC,
Ow.
looking to land that defense break so he could maybe get some more damage in.
ผมว่าไม่ถูกว่ะ
Alright,
ผ
so
ม
I
ว่าเล่น
think
ไม่ถูก
both
ว่ะ
team will probably
คือ
stabilize at some point here
ถ้าเกิดผู้ฉิว
because
ไม่ได้กลางอ่ะ
they
มันจะ
can't really
ง่ายกว่านะ
kill one
เราต้อง
another
ดันผู้ฉิว
very,
ไป
very fast.
แล้ว
And even the Linglo is just gonna go for a little bit
เอ้ย
of
ก็
a
ไม่
skill
ได้
down
ได้อยู่
here,
ดีนะ
not
ถ้ารัน
going
ติดอ่ะ
to go for
แต่ว่า
the
เขากลัว
heal,
มี
just
มีเลส
saving
ถูกไหม
the extend skill 2 for later where you can extend
อันนี้
more
มันได้กลาง
immunity
เลย
and the defense buff as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see who is gonna live through the protection because catching the god protection is not forever and Fuchu protection is also not forever. So both teams are
โอ้
going
รี
to
ซิตติ้งโอเคถือว่า
try
หรือว่า
to
ทำไงบ้างนะ
buy time
หรือเปล่า
in between it because I don't think anyone is dying
โอ้
in
แต่
this
ว่า
position.
อันนี้นานเลย
Oh, and that is actually pretty big. The Luvia resisted the Kathos S2, so still has that S2 strip available. And then the turn after, he will have the Zhongqi strip. So 3 turns of strip. So actually, there might be a world where this Luvia does get to exile someone.
Probably, and unfortunately for the Sean
ต้องอันติก่อนนะ
Sean Lee, she's not gonna get this beautiful
เฮ้ย
immunity
เดี๋ยวนะ
right
ตัว
there,
ขวาโดน
but
บล็อก
she has
อ๋
her
อแต่ว่าหุบ
own
ไม่ได้มีลูกแก้วอยู่
special immunity that's gonna allow
ลู
to
กแก้วพอ
dodge
ดี
this exile. So she can't really exile anyone just yet, and Linglo is gonna get rid of the buff block very soon.
Oh, but does he just go for the S3 here, trying
อ๋อต้องอั
to
นติแล้ว
put
วะ
up immunity now? Or does he go? He can't go for the S2. The defense buff was also stripped off of this XL, which is kind of massive. He does
He
go
went
for the
there.
S2.
อ๋อ
So he's saving it
กดสอง
once
เว้ย
again for later because I'm pretty sure the Linglo is gonna cut in between at some point here, potentially in front of
แต่ว่ามีโอกาส
Nubia
ตายปะ
with the
สอง
Gigabyte.
แต่ไม่ตายนะ
Yeah, will this Kethos actually be able to get back to the S3, S2 to stop this Luvia from sending anybody away? He gets the time weave proc, so he has the S2 available now if he wants
แต่ว่า
to
จะตาย
go
แล้วว่า
for
ตั
it.
วขวา
He could be risky and go for the S3, but does he take the safer play and just go for the straight up S2?
Is it me or it's kind of funny that Fia Amelia has not taken the turn just yet? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I actually think you need to send the S3 onto the XC because he's going to take the turn if you go for that S2, and then he would just kill your XL.
Oh, this is looking
โอ้ยแต่ว่าแต่
really bad for Axe right here because
เอาทุ
he
กใคร
needs to control a little bit too many things
แต่ว่า
and he's
ตายแล้ว
not
เนี่ย
achieving anything.
XL ตายแล้วดิ
Oh, this is gonna take out the front leader.
โอ้อะจบ
Big
แล้ว
damage and the Jean Lee is
เอา
gone.
ไม่เหมือน
There's
ที่คิด
very
ไว้
little
ผมว่า
damage on the side of
จริงๆ
XL.
อ่ะเขาต้องไม่ให้
Wait,
ผู้ฉิวกลางปะ
Isn't that over? I
ต้อง
feel like that's
ต้อง
over.
ดัน X ต้องดัน
could
ผู้
just be
ฉิว
game.
ให้มันเป็นตัว
I
4
feel
อะ
Does
like
not have
the-
เราจะ
immunity
แทรกพอดี
anymore.
อย่างนี้
He's
ผู้
gonna
ฉิว
take out here.
พอดัน XL เอ้ย XC ลงไป
Suffering from the side of Young
มัน
was
ไม่ใช่ตัวที่
just
4อะดิ
too much. The Linglo gets exiled and he has no healing. It is just a lone Kethos and Kachi against the world.
ไม่มี
And
ทางอะอันนี้
Kethos will do pretty much negative damage into a Fuchu, and Fuchu still has another 25 years of skill 3s, and
เพราะว่า
nothing
เขาไม่
can
มั่นใจ
happen
นี่
to
เลย
this
แม่น
team.
ตัวเอง
And
อะ
oh my goodness,
ถ้าดันติดชนะเลย
got exiled out of the match.
Wow, we are seeing X
สวัสดี
losing
ทุกคนนะครับ
game one. I
ใครเข้า
feel
มาแล้ว
like
ฝากกดไลค์
that
ด้วยขอบคุณ
game
มาก
actually came down to
กดติดตาม
that
ด้วย
first S2 from that Kethos. If it landed on the Luvia and he wasn't able to get that strip off, I feel like it could have been a very different story because you could have extended all of those buffs
คิด
and
คิด
you
เหมือน
could have
ผ
got
มเลย
some whale prayers
คิดเหมือน
off as well, which makes
บอก
it
อะ
harder to
ถ้า
strip
เกิดว่า
that
กดอันติ
immunity
ใส่ผู้ฉิว
consistent,
ดันเกตลงไปแล้ว
but
แทรกเทิร์นผู้ฉิว
not
แล้วกด
landing
รี
that
คูลดาวน์
cooldown reset,
ผู้ฉิวไม่ได้เล่น
letting the Luvia press
อันนี้ผู้ฉิว
S2
มองกลาง
just
แล้ว
made
แบ
it
บ
an uphill battle.
มันเด้งเรื่อยๆไงเกต
For
Cam,
me,
มัน
I
มี
think
XC อะ XC
the
มัน
problem is even
เพื่อนดนตรี
before
มันก็
that,
เด้ง
the problem is the Linglo draft. It probably was to extend buff in between, but he tried to play the long game, but the team from Onyong was just much better in the long game. And the Linglo started off with a skill 1, and then he went in with a skill 2. So
แต่
overall,
จริ
the
งๆดันไม่ติด
Linglo
ก็ขโมย
value
ผู้
for
ฉิว
the
ดี
first
ออกตัวที่
5
4
turns
ก็ใช่ครับ
didn't really
แต่ว่า
contribute much
ถ้า
to
ดัน
the
ไม่ติด
game.
อ่ะมันมีโอกาส
Not
ที่
do more damage,
ผู้
he
ฉิว
could
มัน
not
จะแทรก
do
ระหว่าง
much
เทิร์นถูกไหม
better.
แบบเวลาเรา
So
เข้าเทิร์นผู้ฉิวมัน
overall,
เด้ง
I
เกต
think the
เรื่อย
Linglo
ๆอาจจะ
was
แทรกเฟียร์อะไร
sort of
เงี้ย
not
ถ้าดัน
there
ไม่ติด
the entire
ก็
time.
เสี่ยงอยู่
And
แต่ถ้าดันติดยังไง
not
ก็
able to do
ก็แทรกครับ
anything for a
แทรกผู้
couple
ฉิว
turns were just too much for him.
ผู้ฉิวได้กลางตีไหมครับ
Yeah,
สวัสดี
I
คุณปุ่นครับ
also don't know whether you should have went for the high risk, high reward play right off the bat. If you manage to land that S3 on Fushu, I feel like the game's just won. If Fushu doesn't get to press S3, the value from her is basically non-existent. We seen that in the game with UA yesterday. When that Fushu didn't get to press, the game was over. We are seeing the
แต่
key
เขาไม่
element
แพ้
though
ธาตุ
is
นะ
that
หรือ
Fia.
ว่า
Funnily
ออน
enough,
ยง
she
เขา
only took one
เขาใส่
turn,
เนี่ยเหรอ
but it was all that she needed.
ใส่อาคอนเลยไม่กล้าเล่นเหรอ
Stole her turn. She got that
ผมว่า
one
เมื่อกี้ต้อง
turn
เสี่ยงแหละ
about
เพราะว่าถ้าได้
40%
โดนกลางก็
damage, and
ถ้าจะ
he
แพ้
is
เลย
running that bloodbath build that was one of the
แถม
older
คาชิกับ
builds that we've seen,
XL
but
มัน
he's
แพ้
very
เฟียเลย
consistent.
I feel like it's pretty much the anxiety of the
ทะลุ
Archon
ทะลุหมด
icon
ทะลุโลทะลุเดฟ
on the Fuchu
Two
that
damage.
gave Axe the shaky hand. He could not press S3 onto the Fuchu because if you miss, you pretty much just lose the game immediately because not only Linglo was not going to do much, Kethos was not going to do much as well for quite some time. So having Archon on your Fuchu can really scare your enemy away.
อ๋อเขาใส่อาคอน
Yeah,
นี่เลย
it definitely can. But this is where some of these high risk, high rewards decisions sometimes come in. We are into the draft for the next game. Same pre-bans. We're seeing that Nathan and that Sylvia taken out, and we're seeing X opt for that Kethos first pick again.
So we know what happened
Kethos
last
pick แล้ว
game. Is he going to repeat the...
เอ้าเดี๋ยวนะ
he is
ดราฟเดิมแหละ
repeating
ดราฟ
the
เดิม
draft right here. He is trying to tell the opponent, you know what, man? Let's run it back. All right.
โอ้ยแล้ว
I'm gonna win this.
X4 คือไม่ได้ใช้โซยสมัยน่ะใส่คอร์สการ์ด น่าสนใจแรงเลยเน้นแรง
I hope that he probably goes towards something like that Navette, maybe another CC option alongside that. He was very good at that CC playstyle, so does he lean into that, or does he just think, you know what, that resist maybe just cost me that match. If I run that back, I think I win.
I think the match was too far from finish to decide whether one moment could really mean the match was gonna be over.
And there's the Navette and the Sharon. He is going for that CC playstyle.
เพราะว่าตัวสุดท้ายต้องเป็นดาเมจป่ะแต่จริงเขาเอาเฟียรูจะเป็นดาเมจคู่กันได้นะแล้วก็กดอีกตัวหนึ่งไปเป็นตัวล้างอ่ะผมว่ากดอาญาอย่างได้นะอาญาลิเลียมอ่ะเขาลิเลียมอ่ะลิเลียมก็ฟอร์ดแวนนะโอเค
And he also has that increase on the Kathos, so he has two different ways of dealing with the Fiamelia. I think the William is probably actually a better pick, because if you remove, in fact, even if you leave the Loan up, the damage is very low into that unit, especially with Fushu on the board.
Alright, Lilium getting last pick. Might be a Lilium ban, to be honest. And let's see if X can actually control the enemy this time around.
เพราะว่า
He
ออนยง
went
แบ
with
น
a
เคทอส
half
ป่ะ
strategy, and that did
เอา
not
แบน
work
เฟีย
out
ว่ะ
well, but he's going full send this time with
เอาแบนเนเวต
damage and control. So I'm
ไหว
excited for
ไหวกับลิเลียมไปเนี่ย
Yeah, so we're seeing the Navette taken out and the Fia taken out. I feel he's on a bit of a clock then. If he needs to kill this Lilium before she presses S3.
Here we go. Big skill 3 from Kashi the God, protecting your team from this
แต่รอบ
scary
นี้
Rubia.
รอบนี้แทรก
He
นี่
can
นะ
have 3 units taking their turn.
แทรก
If
ลิ
he
เลียม
land the skill 3 in the food shoe, it might be golden.
ตบผู้ชิวติดไหม
Is he just going for the safer play of going for the Lilium, trying to pump
ยัด
all his
ยัดดาเมจไปเลย
damage into her to take her out? He does have a Jackal on Sharon, so he does have some damage coming out from her, but I actually don't know if this is going to be enough to kill her off.
I'm not sure if
ผมว่า
right. Like,
พอลิเลียมเข้าเทิร์นแล้วหมดออกเทิร์นอ่ะตายเลยป่ะโดนตีทีนึง
to do one skill and that's
มีโอกาส
take out your Kashi the
ถึง
God as well.
อ๋อแต่ว่า
after that.
ผู้อยู่ได้การแต่มันจะได้โล่แค่20เปอร์อ๋อเล็งซ้ายเหรอ
just kill out this Lilium with the Loan, but he realizes it isn't going to be
อ๋อ
enough, so
แทรก
pivots and
แทรกเลียม
goes
อยู่แล้ว
onto
ไม่ต้อง
the
รีบ
XC instead.
Oh,
ให้ผมรู้สึกว่า
S3 Lilium gonna lose a turn right
ผม
there.
รู้สึกว่า
So
แทง
it's gonna be able to
ลิเลียม
play
ดี
for
กว่า
a couple more turns, but this Lilium might be unkillable at this point, which is very, very scary.
Yeah, so he's on a bit of a clock now, but that Lilium is pretty slow compared to the rest of the units in this game, so probably will get cycled. It's just, even if he's trying to kill it, who does he kill it with? The only person that really deals damage to Lilium on his team is Loan.
ยังไงก็ต้อง
Yeah, he
ผ
might
มว่า
go straight for the
แปลกๆว่ะ
before
ไม่ต้องแทงลิเลียมอ่ะ
going
จริงเหรอ
straight into the Swan Chi. Maybe he's
ลิ
gonna
เลียม
get
อย่าง
a
นี้
Swan Chi.
พอไม่มี
He's
มาร์ค
gonna be able to get a
ไอ้นั่น
Swan
น่ะ
Chi.
มันไม่มีตัวฆ่าได้
I
นะ
think
ชา
he'll
ลอน
take
กับ
the Sean
เคทอสมัน
down,
8ดีบัฟ
but
ไม่
then
ได้
he's going to go into Amber,
กดเกรด
and
ไม่ได้
while he's in that Amber state, he will still heal up with the Fushu, and the Sharon's actually going to be
ชาลอน
healing him
จะเข้าเทิร์น
quite
แล้ว
a
ยังไง
lot while he's in that
X4 ได้
state.
ฮิลจากฟู่ฉิวแน่นอน
Don't think
เพ
he's
ราะว่า
going
มัน
to be
ตี
able to take him
ทุก
out.
ตัวตีหมู่ทุกเทิร์น
Oh, and here comes
เนี่ย
the
ตอน
Lilium
กระจาย
getting
อ่ะ
a turn.
มันก็เลือดเด้ง
His damage is nowhere near enough to bring down, but it's gonna be able to heal the Swan Chi instead.
ตายเลยนะเนี่ย
Swan Chi getting a turn here. Might
รางวัล
send
ตายเลยนะเนี่ย
his Lowen home.
โอ้ยทีเดียว
Oh,
เรียบร้อย
Loan survives with 1 HP.
เอ้า
The Tiger Yin actually
อ๋อ
procced Amber. Now
เพราะว่า
he has the S3
มันลบ
here.
บัฟ
Who
มันเลย
does he go for? Does he go for
เอ้ย
the
มัน
Sharon?
ลบบัฟ
Does he
ดี
go
บัฟ
for
เลย
the
ลบด้วย
Kashi?
ไม่โดนใบเชล
Here we go. Big skill 3.
อุ้ยเกือบตาย
Almost
Oh, he
one
sends
shot
it
the
onto the
Kethos right there.
Kethos. I didn't think he would send it on the Kethos because the Kethos was below that 60% threshold, so it probably wasn't killing. But just wanting to get him low enough that he can kill off with a different unit.
Man, he really needed Sharon to actually perform some magic here, but it's just so hard that now the moment you press your Sharon skill, you're giving the enemy so much turn value and you just
ที่ผมมีทริค
can't
นะถ้าเกิดว่าอยากให้
move
ลิเลียม
anyone
สับ
fast
แรงๆอ่ะ
enough
ต้องกดดูหลอด
and
เลือด
get
ด้วย
to move
ถ้า
him
เกิด
to do things to your
เลือด
team
ฝั่งตรง
and
ข้ามมัน
X
เหลือ
team is
น้อยกว่า
only
60
too
เปอร์
YOLO,
มันจะแทง
no
ไม่ค่อยแรง
healing whatsoever
อืม
and they are
ต่างกันเยอะมาก
dying
ลิม
one
ดา
after
เมจ
another
ถ้าสมมติว่ามีตัวหนึ่ง
They
เลือด
are,
40 เปอร์
and
ตัว
he
หนึ่ง
has
เลือด
this
70
S2
เปอร์
coming. He has
เลือด
the
60 เปอร์อะไรเงี้ย
S2 XL here,
ถ้าแทง
and
ตัว
then
เลือด
he has
60 เปอร์มีโอกาส
S2
ฆ่าได้
on
เยอะกว่า
William, so he can just stun whoever he wants.
เพราะว่าส
I
กิลลิเลียม
think
ถ้า
he
เกิด
just holds it and
ตี
presses
ตัว
S1
เลือด
here, goes for the healing.
ต่ำกว่า
Next
สูงกว่า
turn
60 เปอร์
round,
มัน
he
จะแรง
can
ขึ้น
stun this
50%
Loan, and this is looking like a quick 2-0.
เข้าแอมเบอร์พอดี
Oh
คม
no,
จัดครับ
our hidden Korean player who was supposed to fight Watchroom yesterday but got a free buy is now getting another quick W against
อ๋อ
our
แล้ว
global
คนนี้คือ
representative.
เรียกว่าอะไรนะ
Man,
รอบ
this
เมื่อวาน
guy
เขาไม่ได้
is a
โชว์ของ
crazy
เลย
dark horse in the
ชนะ
tournament.
วัชชุ่มชนะบาย
He
มา
definitely
ชนะ
is.
วัช
Do you
วั
think
ช
it had much to do with taking away that Luvia? X really favored that Luvia yesterday, getting both of his wins on that unit. Taking it away in the first rotation, do you think that's just what's made the difference?
Maybe he was too overconfident in the Kethos, and I feel
Right.
like he was really scared of pressing the skill onto the Fuchu, and it always boils down to Fuchu pressing S3, and then
เออ
the
นี่ขาด
entire
ไม่
team
คี
of
นะ
X
6,000
just
อ่ะ
struggle to do any real
เดฟ
damage
เยอะกว่า ตี
whatsoever for the
ทะ
entire
ลุเดฟ
match.
50%
Once that Fushu gets S3 off, it is
จบแล้วดิ
very hard to kill anything without any form of wound. And
ไม่มีสายล่าง
the
นะเนี่ย
range units
แพ้
that
คือ
we
แพ้
have
เล
in
ย
the game just aren't really meta at the moment. We aren't seeing that. We aren't really seeing that Mio, and we don't really see that Heinrich. But this is looking like the Sharon could potentially die here. I don't think he worries about the Loan.
I think Fuchu might be a better pre-ban for X. I feel like his team can beat Nathan if just Fuchu not in the field. The Fuchu completely shut him down twice in a row because all his plan failed
ผมว่า
to do any real impact to the enemy team.
เอ้ย
And
ยากอยู่ครับ
Sharon, even though she's very, very strong, she has to be able
แต่
to
ที่
do
ผมว่า
damage
คา
on
ชิเก่ง
Fuchu
อะนะ
to stop him
เพราะว่า
from
ฝั่ง
doing
นู้นเขาเลือก
anything.
นี่มา
And the XC had actually cycled enough that he got
เขา
another
แค่แบบ
amber off. So
เล่น
two
เล่นพลาดใน
ambers
ใน
on
เกม
from
ปะ
that
ผม
XC.
งงว่ะ
I
รู้สึก
do
ว่าดับ
think I
สอง
agree
เกม
with
ไม่ได้
you, though.
ไม่ได้แพ้กัน
When
อะ
you're as fast as X is, it should be easier to make up that speed differential to be able to hit that Nathan. So I feel like the Nathan probably doing him a bit of a disservice there in the pre-bans.
ไงต้องรีบฆ่า
Indeed,
ลิเลียมให้
because
ได้อะ
if you pre-ban the Fuchu, they have to go with either Fia Lock or some sort of Valerian, and I feel like Valerian is going to be much easier to control than a Fuchu, because Fuchu gives
Yeah.
so much turn value compared to Valerian protection, and especially combined with a decent or strong build Lilium, it's just kind of impossible for like a control player to take down too many targets at the same time.
Yeah, but we are seeing X taken out, and we are seeing Yong move on to the next round. We do have one Asian representative made it through to the semi-finals. He is the last hope for the Asia region, so nice to see
ตอนนี้
another
เอเชียเขา
one
เป็นหนึ่ง
moving
จีน
on.
เขาเป็นหนึ่ง
Ooh,
Look,พี่เก๊ก
say goodbye
คนเดียว
to
ปะ
another
ใช่ปะ
global
อ๋อ
server
เก๊ก
gamer
เก๊กกับไมท่า
taken down by another Asian server player. Unfortunate, but good try. We made it far. It's just the competition can only get stronger, not weaker.
This is true. We do have two global representatives coming up in the next couple of games, though. So still two chances for global to make it to the semi-finals.
Yep, we have our biggest hope. Okay, I have to put all my chips into Kecker at this point. So Kecker better perform, my guy.
Well, we do have Kaker and we do have Mithra. So looking forward to seeing what they do. We did see yesterday Kaker pull out the 4 support draft and win. So maybe we see something like that again. But the key animus in this game was the Lilium running that Tiger Yin build on the Gladiator, going for Bloodbath with Harvest and Fury Edge. Gives him that little bit more tankiness, and you still get that big damage from that S3 if you're running that Harvest.
I'm glad that Lilium is still very relevant in the current meta, because in most gacha game, the unit that get released later would dominate what we have early on, and we still see Lily, we still see Lilium unit that we had back in the very, very early season of Etheria restart, still being very strong, and that can only be done with balance patches. And seeing Lilium being buffed is very, very cool.
Yeah, I feel like she's going to be one of these units that always comes in and goes out of the meta since she's received her buff. Because if debuffs are meta, then Lilium will also be meta because she is the best counter in the game to debuffs. Sharon can do literally nothing to Lilium, so it is basically a forced ban if you're picking Sharon.
Indeed. Like I feel like Lilium could potentially be countered to Nathan as well. It's just that Nathan one tap her, so that is a small problem right there.
Yeah, a little bit of a problem. I think the other thing is you need to build your Lilium fast enough to be able to hit him, which is challenging. Very challenging.
So maybe next crazy ban is gonna be Lilium type unit, but scale with HP or defense to actually deal with Nathan then.
Oh, you're cooking up something there, Sean, and I don't know if I want any part of it. that sounds like it would be terrible to deal with.
If it's gonna happen very, very soon, you never know about that. So the next match is coming up right now. Oh wait, we don't have Keka. We have Mithra first against
Mithra,
if I'm not wrong, Piggy.
It is Ming.
Oh, Ming from the China server. So
หมิง
let's
เจอ
see
ไม
if
ทรา
Mithra,
มิทรา
our next global representative, can actually take down this giant from the Chinese server to move on to the semi-final.
Yeah, I believe that Ming yesterday was one of the players that we've seen locking Lily every single game. We were looking for him to play that Messiah because Messiah is his favorite unit, but instead he was locking that Lily every game and going for that turn one. Mithra was, on the other hand, going for that more tank-orientated playstyle. He was the only player yesterday that we seen pull out that Tiamat and got that crazy Raymarie 3S3s in a row into double turn with Tiamat.
Man, if you're going in with big damage, then nothing's better than locking in the Tiamat Tuchu. So we might be seeing a
แบบ
speed
มิทรานี่คือ
and steal situation here and see
ร่างทอง
which
ของ
one's
ทีม
gonna
แท้ง
be able to hold the other back.
เหมือนตอน
Well,
ผม
who
เจ
do
อ
you
เขา
think
เขาก็
will
กด
come
แทง
out
มา
on
2
top?
เกม
I
ผมดับ
know
โคตร
who
โหดเลย
you're rooting for, but who do you think will win?
Hey, I'll be lying if I say I don't want to see another Tiamat moment. I mean, it's kind of satisfying, you know. I'll be damned if
ลิลลี่
I'm the receiving end of the Tiamat, but
ห
watching
มิง
it,
ไง
it's kind of satisfying.
คนซ้าย
It
ชื่อหมิ
is
ง
very satisfying. Maybe one of these days it'll actually convince you to finally build out your Tiamat. Maybe one day on ladder we'll get to see Sean B playing Tiamat.
Hey, I am asking for my guild for the Tiamat dupe copy, and I'm working on my first Tiamat dupe. Okay, so maybe I'll get to the 3rd copy, then I will finally build a Tiamat.
Looking forward to it. Which build do you think you're going to go for? Are you going for the forced wellspring, or will you go for something a bit off the wall?
maybe just a couple, unyielding oath, bramble kind of thing. A little standard Tiamat right there. I think should be good enough.
But yeah, we're seeing on screen at the moment the favored units. As I was saying, Ming is really liking that Lily. We seen that Lily yesterday in both of his wins. So Mithra's obviously seen that as well. They both seen each other's games, so they'll know what to expect from each other. Would you actually pre-ban Lily?
Ooh, that would be crazy. But I
Pre-ban
think
Lily
Lily
เลยเหรอ
is really strong thanks to the unit that she is paired with. So I think Lily used to be a good pre-ban, but I would probably not pre-ban the Lily at this point, but rather pre-ban the one that you want to enable with the Lily. I think that's gonna be more important.
Do you think we'll see Nathan getting through this draft? I feel like if you've got a slower player playing more tank orientated and you've got a faster player, I feel like the slower player can never afford to give over to Nathan.
Oh, never mind. Nathan is not getting through. Nathan is being pre-banned. The draft is starting right now, and we're seeing a Nathan and a Xuanqi pre-ban.
Okay, and then we're seeing the Kathos first pick from Mithra. And on the side of Ming, we're seeing that Sylvia and Luan. Luan kind of going through first rotation every game so far today, whereas yesterday we seen her falling to 4-5 a bit more. I feel like the priorities just kind of skyrocketed.
Oh, Mithra is going for that slow defensive playstyle with a Archon Fear and an early Raymary pick. Early Raymary is something that we don't see very often nowadays. Raymary has sort of become a 4th, 5th pick at this point, but an early Raymary, that Raymary has to be extremely well built.
Well, I feel like an early Raymary is actually a very good pick if you know your opponent only plays an aggressive playstyle, because it gives you that, okay, I still have that S2 pop damage that's just going to come out, and we're seeing the Plume and the Tiamat again. So
ไม่แบนลิลลี่เหรอ
full defensive on the side
ไม่นะครับ
of
เทียแมท
with that kind
เทียแมทคนเดียวใน
of
ที่กดมาเมื่อวานเลยปะ
S2 proccing with
Etheria
the transform. Last, we're seeing the Navette pick, so hard CC taken. Who do you ban here?
Oh, that's tough, man.
แบนใคร
I
วะ
think Navette
ผมว่า
has
ต้อง
always
แบน
taken
เน
the
เวตนะ
ban, and Navette will
ไม่
be
มีทาง
taking the ban
แบนตัว
once
อื่น
again because there's just so
ยัง
much
ไม่ไหวหรอก
AoE strip that no matter what you ban, you will get Navette on your face. So banning Navette is always safe. And the Kathos getting banned now, which means he has to deal with a lot of healing. And let's see if he's gonna be able to break through all of that healing.
Yeah, and Mithra is running Amber on both his Raymary and his Tiamat as well as the Plume, so does have that counterplay
3 Amber
to Sharon. So not as concerned about the Sharon as if they were on things like a Gator build
ก็
or
คือ
the Plume.
แก้ชาลอนหมดเลย แต่ว่าถ้าเกิดแบบ
That Plume is
ลิล
also
ลี่
really
เลีย
slow, but
รี
it's
คู
a
ดาวเป๊ะ
tanky
ตอน
Plume
ที่
right
แบบ
there. Plume will get some move,
จะ
but
ทิกเกอร์
she
ดอท
is
พอดี
not
อะ
gonna be able to
ก็
provide
อาจจะ
any
สู้
value
ได้
right there. And I think Sharon is gonna be able to land a whole lot of dots on the enemy team after the strip
Oh,
of the
but we're
Luvia.
seeing that Bramble come out from the Raymary. She's already at 34 stacks. So if this all lines up perfectly
ผมว่าอันนี้
for
ดี
the
นะ
side of
กด
Mithra
พลู
and he
มา
gets a
มาสู้ซิลเวีย
transform on the
ใช่ไหม
Tiamat
ซิลเวียมัน
as well
เกรด
as
มัน
the
จะ
proc from
ตอน
the
รีเซ็ตมันจะได้
Raymary,
แบบฝั่งนู้นมันจะเด้งสู้
Cypher
มา
Ming could
ถ้า
just
เกิด
get
มี
fully
พลู
deleted.
Here we go. Let's see what's gonna happen. We got more damage coming out. Lowen getting a turn, and Sharon's gonna get a turn. That's gonna be a whole lot of debuff. Oh no, not
ผม
using
ว่า
S2 just yet.
ไม่ไหวกับเลบ้างอย่าง
But
งี้
I feel like you could have S2
แถม
and
มี
then
ทั้ง
there will be anti-cleanse
Fear
anyway, so you get to keep the slow debuff on the rest
อั
of the
นนี้
team.
ก็
But
กดฮิลทีหนึ่ง
I guess
ฮิ
he
ลเสร็จ
didn't want to risk getting double Bramble into his
มีโอ
face.
กาส นี่เลยปะเด้งเลยอะ
and the thing is,
ไม่เด้งดิเรียกว่าอะไร
Raymary keeps brambling. She's already at 79 stacks.
เนี่ยเด้งเลยเนี่ย
Hits the 100 now.
Oh, big damage. Number
แล้วก็
one.
อันติ
Big
And he's
healing.
got the
And
S3
Tiamat is
แล้วก็
coming
Tiamat
through.
here.
เท่าไหร่
Tiamat's coming.
อ๋อยัง4อยู่ แต่ว่าตอนเขาเทิร์นน่าจะดีเลยน่าจะแปลงร่างเลยผมว่า
Already
much
with
เพราะเขา
that
เทิร์นแล้วมันจะ
scary on the side
มันจะ
of
เลือดลด
Mithra, and the Fia's already at 7 stacks, so she's about to proc again.
Oh, is that gonna be enough to proc the Tiamat with another heal?
It might be. I don't know.
Oh, wait
Oh,
a
he lands
minute. He
lands
landed
the
the taunt. That's funny, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because the Fia didn't have skill anyway.
บึ้ม
He gets the S3 here. Is he
ผม
going
ว่า
to be able to kill
ซิลเวียกับ
anyone
ลิล
off
ลี่
with
มัน
this Tiamat
มันหน้าที่มัน
as
ขัด
well?
กันปะ
Oh, we got
Feel
a
like-
cooldown increase.
Oh, the cooldown increase is kind of big. She's
ตี
going to
ชาลอนแล้วก็แปลงร่างนะ
If she S once, she
ใช่ไหม
should be able to transform.
ชาลอนแล้วแปลงร่าง แปลงร่างแล้ว
He could not
ปั่นหนึ่ง
use,
ที
the
อ๋อตีนี่เหรอตีซ้าย
little
อ๋อ ตี
moment here
ตี
with
ซ้ายแล้วมันเด้งไง
Amber's on cooldown. Oh wait, the Amber's actually not on
เอ้า
cooldown. Raymary.
That
Oh.
procs the Raymary, and now you get
อ่ะ
the
แล้วนี่
S1 coming
ตาย
in
แล้วก็
here
เด้งต่อ
too.
นะเนี่ย
Oh,
แต่ว่า
this is
ฝ่ายไม่ตาย
looking so bad for Ming. He's proc both the Ambers and the Sharon is super low.
How's the Sharon alive though? That is a very tanky
เอาตาย
Sharon.
เรียบร้อย
Oh my god, look at
Oh, and the Raymary's
another one.
procking again.
The damage is crazy.
And the concern for him now is both of the Ambers on the side of Raymary and Tiamat are back up, so he has to get through all of that before he's actually able to kill anything. Who do you send the S3 on here?
I don't know. I think where I'm setting the S3 does not even matter anymore because that is so much damage coming my way, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, he sent it onto the Raymary. Oh, and the Raymary still crits through the exaltation. 20% chance to
โอ้โห
crit,
โคตร
and
แรง
it
อะ
just hits it.
แต่ว่ามีโอกาสชนะอยู่ไหม
That is so toxic.
มีโอกาสอยู่นะ
20% crit, still got it anyway, and he got to kill
ย
this
กเว้นว่า
Raymary, and then he got to somehow
โอ้ย
control
ตายแล้วเนี่ยเลตายนะ
Lowen and this Fia Amelia at the same
เล
time.
ตาย
So the Fia does have
Ete.
S3 up, so he needs to taunt the Fia.
ผมว่าเขาตีธรรมดาไม่ได้เลยปะ
The Raymary.
I think he has to try and hope that he just cycles back quickly enough with the Loan.
อ๋อเพราะว่าเฟียมีอันตินะ
Oh no, that's gonna be
Oh,
really
the
really hard.
อ้าวแล้วเลจะไม่ตายดิไง
He's
จบ
not
แล้ว
gonna
แพ้
be
แล้ว
able to do it.
Don't
He's
execute.
not gonna. And the terminate, the Loan's taken out.
You know what? That Raymary second pick was absolutely on point.
Yeah, whenever you're playing against people that play this more aggressive playstyle, picking the
ผมว่า
Raymary
ลิลลี่นี่
on
แพ้
two
ปลูก
is
นะ
always a good pick. It can be punished if they
เดี๋ยวเรา
pivot
แก้
more
บ้าง
towards
หลัง
a
แพ้
slow
ลิลลี่บ่อยเกิน
playstyle, 'cause in that kind of turn 2 versus turn 2, I feel like it
แต่
is
เขาแปลงตัว
easier
เขาแปลง
to
เคทอส
punish
นะ
this Raymary pick, but if they go
ผม
all
ว่า
in
ผม
on
ว่าดีเค
aggression,
ทอสแล้วก็เล
Raymary's just pretty consistent.
ตอนนี้ไม่มีคนอยู่ XC ด้วยซ้
Wow, that was crazy. The damage, like I think Mithra barely pressed any button, and he got so much damage out from just Tiamat skill.
ำถ้าเก็บเลก่อนได้ลุ้นใหม่
That's
ผมว่าเขากลัว
absolutely
โดนลดเดฟ
crazy.
ถูกป่ะ
I think this is when
เก็บ
you
เลเหรอ
need like hard CC. Like even though Sharon is one of the best debuff unit in the game and she can do crazy damage, but not locking down.
เก็บต้องเก็บเลนะผมว่าต้องฆ่าเลก่อน
Just
เมื่อกี้
let
โดน
these
ไปกี่โดดอ่ะ
runes
4-5 โดดอ่ะ
a little bit
โค
too
ตรว่า
wide.
อันติเลยอ่ะ
Almost wonder if a Heinrich would have been good
แล้ว
in
พอ
there so that you could get the S
เลมันได้โดดบ่อยเวลาเทียมแมตช์เข้าเทิร์นมันก็เลือดฝั่งนู้นเหลือน้อยแล้วก็ได้เป่าอีกรอบ
None of them can be healing. Good way to deal with the Ambers, because he could have went something like that Heinrich with the Navette on 5. And we're seeing here the Raymary is the key animus of the game, not running that forced wellspring like a lot of people are running. Instead, going for that more tanky option, going for Bloodbath with Bramble and Swift Smite.
มาถึงเลตอนอยู่ในเบอร์เมื่อกี้
I
ด้วย
think that build is still
ใช่ผมว่า
more than good enough
อ๋อแต่ว่าไม่ได้
damage and you
เพราะว่า
also save
เมื่อกี้
damage.
เฟมิเลีย
Even
เขามีอันติ
Wellspring
แล้วไง
is great for, like,
ถ้าเกิด
rated
ฆ่าเลไป
damage,
ถึง
but
ฆ่าเลได้จริง
Wellspring
ยังไง
is
เฟ
still
มิเลียมันเป่าก็แพ้อยู่ดีครับ
So that's a trade off right there and maybe he just
แต่ผมว่า
Raymary
ถ้าแบบว่า
faster with
จังหวะ
the
นั้นคือแพ้นะ
Swift Smite
ถึงจะล็อกเลจะล็อกเฟียจะล็อกใครก็แพ้
It's actually
ฆ่าเลได้
another
ก็
thing
แพ้
that
อ
a
ยู่
lot
ดี
of people overlook with
จังหวะ
that
นั้น
Swift Smite. Getting that little bit of accuracy could be the difference
เอ๊ะ
between
ห
you
รือว่า
actually
โอ้คิด
landing
เป็นไง
those S1 stuns or not. And when you get an S1 stun, sometimes that can just
เอ้ย
be
ไม่ดิเพราะว่า
Yeah,
ตอนนั้นจังหวะเนี้ย
I think
เดี๋ยวผมย้อนไป
I've seen many times where Sylvia skill 3 just to get stunned in between.
the Raymary. Oh, and the Raymary still crits through the exaltation. 20% chance to crit, and he just hits it.
That is so toxic. 20% crit, still got it anyway. And
ไหน
he
นี่
got
จังหวะเข้า Ember นะ
this Raymary, and then he got a
เนี่ยจังหวะเนี้ยผมว่าเขาเอาลิลลี่ตีเลน่าจะตายปะมีโอกาสไหมลิลลี่ตีเลเสร็จถ้าเลตายก็มาร์กแต่ว่าก็มีโอกาสไม่ตายนะเลือดมันไม่ได้ปิ่มอะเลือดมันไม่ได้แบบ1% 2%อะถ้าตีซ้ายสมมติเลตายสมมตินะเราก็จะได้มาร์กเฟียต่อเฟียจะนี่ไม่ได้เฟียจะอันติไม่ได้
now control
แต่อันนี้เหมือน
this Loan and this Fia Amelia at the same time.
So the Fia does have S3 up, so he needs to taunt.
อ๋อ
the
ไม่
Fia.
ตายรอบนี้ไม่ตายแต่เหมือนมีอีกรอบนึงนี่
If he
But how does
doesn't
he
taunt,
get the Raymary?
ไม่ตายว่ะใช่ไม่ตาย
I think he has to try and hope that he just cycles back quickly enough.
แพ้อยู่ดี
with
ครับ
the
แพ้อยู่ดี
Loan.
มาร์คใครก็แพ้เพราะว่ามาร์คเลเสร็จยังไงถ้ามาร์คเลอันนี้มันจะได้อันตินะเลือดยังไงแพ้เลยอะเป่าเสร็จแล้วก็อันนี้ได้เล่นต่อ เพราะว่าเขาเข้าแอมเบอร์แล้วเนี่ยอืม
It's actually another
Really not.
actually pretty good when drafted in the right scenarios. We've seen UA picking it yesterday, and I think we also seen another player trying it, as well as the Santic coming out yesterday. So there is still the option to pick it, but a lot harder to do. And Mithra not changing from his draft, not needing to. He was the player that won, so he's basically saying to Ming, "Show me what you got. I won the first draft. Come get it."
ลูเวล็อกกลางเหรอ
Sharon Luvia, I think the Lily was great, but would probably need more counterplay to Amber. So the Luvia getting picked up for the anti-heal S2, but the Lilium getting picked up by Mithra to
ผมว่า
counter
พิก
the spell coming out from the
5
shadow.
เอาเลียนเก่ง
And
นะ
he is going back with another Tiamat draft. He is probably the only Tiamat enjoyer left in the entire tournament, and he's making sure that everybody knows Tiamat is a destruction.
อ๋อเขาไม่มีตัวฆ่าแอมเบอร์
I
ไง
think it is a lot harder to do in this draft though, because that Luvia is there. that dot that she applies reduces the healing, so it will be very hard to actually get that
ยังไงก็ต้องแบนส้นหลีปะ
consistently transform.
เพราะว่าโลวานกับชารอนมันเบิร์ดลิเลียมเธอแรกไม่ได้อะ
Lilium removed from the side of Mithra, and then I
แต่ว่า
think you
พลิก
have
ท้าย
to remove the Loan.
ออกเลยโลวาน
It does remove the Loan, and it is the Kathos taken away. So
อ๋อ
I think
จะได้
this
เอา
is
มาล้าง
gonna
ชารอน
be
นะ
a very interesting game. I think it will be pretty quick.
แล้วเขาคิดว่า
Having
Lilium
the
โดนแบน
Shrine
เขาเลยต้องแบน
allowing you to
โล
kill
วาน
the Lilium also allow you to protect the team with the defense buff. So maybe it's gonna do enough. And here we go. We got somebody being sent away by Luvia, and that is going to be. Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
big damage from the Tiamat.
เธอแรกก็สวดอีกแล้ว
Already half HP on the Luvia.
แต่ว่าซิลเวียเล่นกับลูเวียดูดิ
Bramble
กลายเป็น
from
ว่า
the Tiamat.
เลเข้าเทิร์นไวเลย
Sometimes she
เพราะว่า
can
รี
just
เซ็ตไป
decide to
แล้ว
pop
ตัว
off
โดน
and
หุบ
win
มันไม่
your
มัน
game
ไม่
by herself.
รี
You
เซ็ต
don't
เกตมา
really want to hit the Luvia, but the thing is, this Lilium is still there. And
Oh.
Brambles again.
What
จะตายแล้วนะ
the heck with that Bramble? Two Bramble in a row almost send the Luvia home immediately. I think
โอ้3แล้ว
Bramble in a row.
3 Bramble
What is going on with this Tiamat? Oh my god.
This Tiamat does not want to go home. She is trying to win this game
แต่ว่า
quickly.
ลิเลียมตายปะ
But you can see the difference
ผม
between
ว่า
playstyle.
ไม่
The
ใช่แมตช์
guy
ถูก
being
ต้อง
aggressive has so much more speed than the guy being defensive, and he lapped the entire team with the Sylvia and the Sharon. They get to move another turn
ตายนะ
before Mithra
ลิเลียม
can take his first turn.
ยกเว้นว่า
If
เทียแมท
there
เอ้ย
wasn't
อ๋อมัน
another Bramble coming from
เฟียร์มันเด้งดิ
Tiamat, I
ถูกปะ
think Mithra is
เฟียร์มีโอกาส
not
เด้งอยู่
so hot. But right now this
เด้ง
Lilium
ไหม
is
หรือว่าไม่เด้ง
under
อาจจะ
so
สัก
much
เจ็ด
pressure.
สแต็
Is
ก
he gonna take? Oh no, that's barely enough.
โอ้ไม่ตาย
Hold up.
ตายอยู่ดี
He got
เด้งมา
another turn with the Luvia. How is that even
He's
possible?
been
The
lapped
speed.
so many times.
2 เด้ง
But this Tiamat now, will he have enough to transform on the Tiamat? And even if he does, is that going to be enough? This Tiamat's just getting lapped. She's going to get lapped for a 3rd time.
Oh my god, this
แต่ว่า
Tiamat has negative speed. And I think if she get a turn, she's going to get
She
the
should
dot.
transform.
Wait,
เอ้า
hold up.
เอ้า
The Raymer is out and about.
อย่างนี้มีโอกาสเด้ง
The Tiamat's getting to play as
โอ้ย
well.
แล้ว
She's got S
แล้วเฟียร์อันติอีกแล้ว
to the S1 from the Tiamat. And then if the Ray procs off of that,
เรียบร้อย
that's
เอ้า
risky.
Oh
The
my
Ray's going to
god.
proc. Is it enough?
จบแล้วดิ
Oh my god.
มีรีเซ็ตปะเหมือนรีเซ็ตนะ
So
เอาไม่มี
much
จบแล้ว
damage.
I think that S2 from Shanley just steal the game.
เพราะว่าลูเวียหุบต่อไม่ได้
And
แล้ว
sold the game for
เลกับ
Ming
เทียแมทมันยังไม่
because
เข้าแอมเบอร์เลยอะ
he let this Fee Amelia move to take off the dots from the Tiamat and also allow the damage to be enough to kill. Oh my
โดนสวยอีกแล้ว
god.
Bramble on the Raymery now.
But how's he gonna
does
kill
still
2
have-
Bramble unit without Luvia though?
He does still have the ambers on both of the units as well, though. But the Fia is pretty low.
Ê,
He could
điên
just
quá.
kill off the Fia here and then try to focus down the
อ๋อยังนะ
other
เด้
two.
งไปแล้ว
It's just, can he do it before he takes too much
อันนี้
damage? I feel like if this Raymery procs one more time, it's game over.
Oh no. Here comes the Bramble.
โอ้ย
The-
การันตีพ็อกว่าอย่างงี้โอ้ยมันมีเขามีอันติอีกรอบแล้วว่ะ
Yeah.
อุ้ยทำวิ2ออฟติดเหรอ
Good reduction from the Sylvia came in clutch, allowing the Xuan Li to get another layer of shield up. Maybe that's gonna be enough to deal
He
with
gets
the
the S1
damage.
Ow, tan.
stun. The S1 stun's huge.
กดอันตินี่เด้งเลยปะ
I think he's gonna send this Raymer into Amber and slowly work on the
เด้งก่อนปะ1 ที
I think she procs first, though.
เอาไม่พ็อก
She doesn't.
Oh, she does not.
Oh.
Is this gonna be enough?
อะไรวะเนี่ย
He still needs
she
to
is
get
Keep it
through
pick
the
ma.
amber. He still needs to get through the amber on the Tiamat as well, though. He's just
ผมว่าเขาดวงเขาดี
ignoring
เว้ย
the Tiamat and dealing passive damage to the Tiamat by
X-
hitting the
XL
Raymer.
มัน
Very
เป็นตัวให้
smart
โคตร
there
โคตร
because
ใช้
he
ดวง
doesn't
เลย
want the Bramble
จังหวะ
to
ระยะ
proc.
ยาว
The
อะ
Bramble
ถ้าเกิดว่า
proc would be in a
มันได้กลาง
scary
อันติ
position.
เรื่อยๆแบบอันติไม่หมดอะมันใครสู้ได้วะ
Look
โกง
at
เกิน
that. He is toying with
เนี่ย
Mithra
กลารว่า
now.
ได้บัฟเดฟ
He
อีกรอบ
is
บัฟ
just
โลอีกร
so
อบ
fast compared to his
เล
enemy
โดด
that
ไม่
he
เข้า
is allowed
ไม่เลไม่โดด
all
สแต็ก
this
ไม่ครบ
free turn doing
เข้า Ember ก่อน
so much damage to enemy and if you're
เนี่ย
not
มันตี
brambling
เรื่อยๆก็
you're not doing any real damage to Ming at all he killed this thing through Amber and take the W taking 90% of the turn
อ๋อ
in
สกิล 1
battle.
ซิลเวียรีคูลดาวน์ให้ส่วนหลี
Wow,
ใช่ไหม
and
อ๋อ
that is game 2
ว่ะผมนึกว่า
going to Ming.
ผมนึกว่า
It is
ซิลเวียเล่นกับ
1-1.
ส่วนหลีโคตร
Tournament
เก่งอะ
life on the line for both of these players now. Ming
ผมรู้สึกว่าถ้าเกิด
adapted very
เรารู้ว่าฝั่งตรง
well
ข้ามไม่
and
เล่น
for
ที
a
มบุกอะ
super
เรากดลูเวีย
fast
ล็อกกลาง
draft
โคตรเก่ง
and
เลย
just lapped around
กดลูเวียแล้วก็มีโลวานอะ
What
กลายว่าเรา
does
ตัดได้ 2 ตัว
Mithra now do to change it up? He's
เขา
the
เขา
one
รู้สึก
who
ว่าเขา
needs
ไม่ไหว
to
กับ
take
โล
the
วานเพราะว่ามันจะมี
initiative
ทั้ง
and
โลวาน
change
ลูเวีย
something
เขา
for
ก็เลย
this
ตัด
draft so
นี่ไป
that
เลย
he can come out on top.
แบนโลวานไปเลยไม่งั้นโดน
And the amount of speed buff and
โดนปิด
amount of
2 ตัว
turn
เหงา
that Luvia could take. I think the fact that Luvia managed to sneak right in front of that Lilium to take her out
ส่วนไว้ก่อน
was
ที่
the
เขา
key
เล่น
to
เล
the
แอมเบอร์คือ
I
การ
think
ไว้
it was. Maybe
การ
just
คือ
a little bit more speed on
เอาไว้
that
แก้ตัว
Lilium, and it would have been a different
ใช่ไหม
story.
เวลา
But
ผมว่าหลักๆคือเอาไว้แก้ชาลอนครับ
and unfortunately for
ถ้า
Tiamat
เป็นเค
she
ชาลอน
lost
มันจะ
too much health
ชนะ
to
จัดเลย
deal any real
เพราะว่า
damage
มัน
and
ตาย
the
คือตายเลยไง
Shanli
โดนพิษ
surviving
อะแต่ชาลอน
allowing
มันไม่มีตัว
Ming
มันไม่
to
มี
deal
สกิลฆ่าแอ
enough
มเบอร์
damage on
ถ้า
the
เกิดมัน
enemy
พิษเข้า
because
แอ
if
มเบอร์ไป
Shanli just died
ก็ถือว่าได้รีเซ็ต
randomly out of some
สแต็กอะไร
Bramble and
ที่แบบ
Rayberry
หักเลือดไว้ก็
top,
หาย
that
หม
would
ด
be really bad.
yeah, and it did get scary for a bit of
แต่
a
ผมว่า
second there.
ยังไง
You had
เค
the
เก่งกว่า
Tiamat proccing with the Raymarie
มัน
proccing and the
แต่ว่า
Fiat
ถ้าใน
all
แข่ง
at
อะ
the same
เรารู้ว่า
time,
เขาชอบเล่น
taking
ชา
out
ลอน
that
อะไรเงี้ย
Luvia, but just
แต่ผม
wasn't
ไม่รู้ว่า
enough
เขา
to
แก้
take
ของ
out
ได้ป่ะ
any
เมื่อ
of
วาน
the
เหมือน
other
จะ
units.
เป็น
I feel like
แอมเบอร์เหมือนกัน
one
นะ
more unit had fell
เหมือนจะ
there,
แก้ของไม่ได้แล้ว ถ้าเกิด
different
เข้าไป
game,
ออมมาแล้ว
but managed to survive. And we're seeing
เมื่
the
อวาน
key
ใช้ไง
on
วันนี้ก็
this
ต้องใช้กัน
is that
น่าจะ
Sharon
แก้
dealing
มาสู้เฉพาะคน
51%
ไม่
of
ได้
the overall damage, running a very fast build on Swift Bulwark Swift Raid with Swift Smite, sorry, with that Jackal. So cycling super quick, as we seen, took 6 turns. I think Tiamat only took 1.
If Tiamat didn't have the transformation, I'm not sure if Tiamat would have taken any real turn, to be honest. That was a lot of turn being taken and absolutely crazy. He switched from Lily to Luvia so that he could send this taking time bomb Rayberry out of the match so that he can afford to do that kind of damage, because if Rayberry was still in the fight, all that damage on Lilium would have triggered Rayberry twice.
Yeah, I think it was a very good draft adaptation because it also gave him a way to deal with the Ambers on the side of Mithra. Because as you've seen in that last game, Mithra had 3 Ambers and he didn't really have a good way to deal with it outside of the Loan. And Loan can only really deal with 1. So switching over to that Luvia, getting those dots down allows him to deal with it a bit more consistently. And we are into draft for game 3. Same pre-bans, we're seeing the Nathan and the XC out, and on the side of Ming, we're seeing Kathos first pick. This time we are I've got the draft wrong. It's Kathos on Mithra, and then Sylvia and Loan on the side of Ming.
I think we're seeing the same draft pretty much, but no longer an
ไม่แล้ว
early Rayberry. This time he is not giving the key animals Luvia to the enemy and
ตัด Luvia เลย
in the second pick. But
แต่ว่าตัดลูเวียเคทอนอย่างนี้โดนวาเลลิเลียมปะ
and Fia once again, or is he the one going aggressive this time around?
Maybe he does have it in his back pocket that he can be the one that's actually playing the turn 1 style. No, instead decides to go back to that tried and true Fia lock with Archon. Very consistent. Waiting to see what happens.
อย่างนี้ยังไงก็ต้องพูดฉิวกลาง
I
นะ
think it might be like a Xuan Li situation, Xuan Li Sharon, but I don't know which one is he gonna lock because he really need the
ผู้
Xuan
ฉิว
Li
กลาง
damage
แล้วก็
in case of
แต่ว่า
Rayberry. I mean not the
ตัว
Lilium
สี่
comes up, but he
Goes
went
for
with the food.
Fushu.
ผมว่าแล้วต้องยังไงก็ต้องพูด
You
ฉิวอะไม่
kidding
งั้นไม่
me? He's switching it up as well, but he still go for the Sharon.
Do we just see on 4-5 here a Raymarie and a Tiamat from the side of Mithra? Because if you know that, what can he pick on 5 that actually able to deal with that? There is the Tiamat, the Fushu there, which is pretty good into both of them, so it might dissuade him, but it's not. He is going for that Raymarie and that
ตัด
Tiamat.
เทมแมท
He's
เลย
just
นะ
saying, I
ผม
have
ว่าถ้า
enough
เกิดเจอ
damage
เทม
to
แมท
get
พิก
through
5ก็
that
เหนื่อยอยู่
Fushu.
เพราะงั้นต้องตัดไปเลย
Wow,
แล้วก็เรา
that is
เก่งแล้วเรา
crazy. I
เพิ่ม
think
เป้า
that's gonna be a
มี
Xuan
แอมเบอร์
Li last pick potentially, so that he can actually survive this insane amount of damage while also doing some damage himself.
It could be, or we could potentially see
ถ้า
something
ดาวอย่างเงี้ย
like an
ไงเขาต้องแบน
Assault
ลู
and
เวีย
just
ปะ
try
ลูเวีย
and
น่าจะเร็ว
chip
กว่า
away at
ซิล
the
เวีย
health from those units, and we are seeing the Assault locked in. Wow, this is a very different draft
Bad
from
leave
the
there.
previous games. Who are they going
อ๋อ
to
เพราะว่าไป
ban
เปิด Assault มา
on
ไง
each side? I feel like you need to take away either the
เพราะ
Kathos
ระ
or
วังก็
the
ไม่ชอบแอสซอล
Luvia
ไม่
if
ชอบ
you're
เล
on
อยู่
the
แล้ว
side of
เลแอม
Ming.
เบอร์อีก
And I would honestly
Look at
look
Assault มาแล้ว
to
ก็
take away
Bot
that
badly.
Assault or the Loan on the side of Mithra. I feel like they just offer too much pressure to your team.
I think it's probably gonna be the Luvia here because Luvia staying means Loan or Assault is gonna be able to play, but no,
Luvia.
it's gonna be
Both wrong.
Rayberry and Sylvia getting banned out.
เพราะว่า
Surprisingly,
เรา
That
มี
is
ทั้ง
maybe
ลูเวีย
why
มีทั้ง
we're
เล
too
นะ
shown
เขา
and
คิดว่า
these
ถ้า
are
แอ
the
สซอลแบน
players
ตัวตัวหนึงอะ
playing.
มันโด
They
น
see
อีก
something
ตัวหนึงอยู่แล้ว
we do not. So
แต่พอเป็นซิลเวียมัน
but the Sharon is
let's-
going first. The Sharon outspeeds the Luvia.
มันวนไว
and
เกินดิ
it's not really that close. 2%.
อุ้ยชาลอนเร็วกว่าเหรอ
But it doesn't really matter though because the enemy has 2 Bulwark and 1 Moon Bunny, so she doesn't really get to do a whole
งั้นก็
lot here
หุบ
besides
ไปก่อนนะ
going for the skill 1. And Luvia is going shopping.
เอ๊ะจริงๆผมว่ากด2นะ
Or
อันนี้
does he take the risky play? Go for the S2 here.
ผมว่ากด
so that
2
he
แล้ว
can
จะได้
go
รี
for
คูลดาวน์หมดเลย
the cooldown increase on the Fushu.
เพราะว่าไม่อยาก
Because as we've said
ถ้าหุบ
in
ไป
the
อ่ะ
last
หุบไปตัว
couple
หนึ่ง
of
เดี๋ยว
games,
ฟู่ฉิวมัน
if
จะได้
you
กลาง
hit the cooldown
แต่ถ้าเราไม่
increase
กด
on
3อ่ะ
Fushu, I feel like the game's
กด2
just
ไม่ติด
over, and he
แต่ไม่
went
เป็นไรนะ
for it, but he missed.
โอ้ยผมมันแซงขึ้นมา
my god, he did not have enough
แต่ว่าแซงโลวาน
accuracy
ว่าอย่างงี้
for this Archon
แซงโลวาน
Fuchu
ถือว่าสวยอยู่
that completely dodged the strip, popped the skill
เฮ้ยแต่ว่า
3, and he
ดาเมจ
is
พอไหมเนี่ย
now
เหมือนจะไม่พอ
stabilized.
นะ
He can also potentially go straight into killing this Luvia because what can Luvia really do at this point anymore?
It was a high risk, high reward play, and it
ลมไม่ติด
did
เลย
not pull off for him. He's going to be playing on the back foot now. He does
แต่อันนี้
still have the S3 next
อันนี้
turn,
ยัด
so
นี่
he
ได้
could
นะ
send the Fushu away if he
ยัด
decides
ชาลอน
to
ปะ
do that and just
หรือ
kind
ว่ากด
of
2 ก่อน
negate
2 ก็
the
เซฟนะ
S3 anyway.
แต่ว่า
But
กดตีชาลอนไม่น่าตายปะ
would have liked to hit there.
He doesn't have skill yet. Ming doesn't have skill yet on the Sharon, so that's
ก
gonna
ด
be
2
big.
นะเซฟอยู่
And he probably gonna send the Asao maybe, or he's
ไวกว่า
gonna
เฉย
send
เลย
the
ครับ
Fuchu away here. Either way, he is not looking so good at the moment because
เมื่อไหร่แปลงร่างเนี่ย
this
ใช่ไหม
if you don't send the Asao away, she's gonna start chipping down on all of your unit.
And the thing with the Asal into Luvia is it's very hard
เหมือน
to actually
โลวานโดนรีคูลดาวน์อยู่
with
นะ
the
เพราะงั้น
team that Mithra has.
เพราะงั้นหุบ
Because Mithra
หุบไปซ่อ
doesn't
ไป
have that terminate
Ah.
anymore. So he needs to kill everything else before he can kill this Asal.
All right.
เอ้าแบนผู้ฉิวอ๋อแบนผู้ฉิวก็
So he want to start killing everything else.
เข้าใจได้นะ
But
แต่ว่าอย่าง
Asao,
นี้
at least he got like the
แอสซ่า
slow
มันจะเก็บ
buff
สแต็กเลย
going on over there so that he can sort of slow her progression down
แต่ว่า
a
อย่างนี้
little bit.
แอสซ่ามันก็ไม่ตายดีนะ
I
มันต้องเอา
think
ผู้
what
ฉิว
the
ออก
plan
ออ
from
ก
the side of Mithra is
Oh,
he's
Antti,
going to
Vanguard.
try and kill
Yeah,
off the
Asal there.
Sharon and the Luan, and then he wants to send the Asal away and then deal with the Fushu. But will he be able to do it?
แต่ว่าอย่างนี้ชาลอนน่าจะตายละ
Lucky for him,
Wow.
Loan does not have any skill quite yet, but Sharon will start popping off with the skill 3
อย่างนี้
here. And
Ui.
this Luvia does not have the survivability that she needs to survive this amount of dots, even with extra healing
เพิ่ม
coming
ค่า
out
คูลดาวน์
from
เพิ่ม
the
ติดหมดเลย
Amelia. Ooh,
โอ้ย
this
สวยสวย
Thanos doing a very good
Ni-
job
ni padi.
keeping this Loan out of the way.
แต่เรียตายดิ
Yeah,
my
this
God.
seems to be a high accuracy Kathos, but the Luvia taken out. I feel like that's massive because this Lasalle's just going to have
Oh,
free
it-
reign
it-
for the rest of the game now.
Funny
โอ้แล้ว
enough,
เลือดน้อยดิ ไม่
the
แรงแล้ว
Fuchu didn't even need to play. Like she's just kind of there, but she doesn't
ไม่สอง
have
สอง
to
เด้ง
do anything whatsoever for the team.
เชื่อชาลอนตาย
And
ปะ
the team is still doing really well without her.
ไม่ตายวะ
Yeah, and the Asal is just getting so much work done. He needs to try and make it so that the Kathos steals the turn away from the Asal, because then he might actually be able to kill her through the different lives that she has.
But unfortunately,
อั
for
นนี้
him,
จะ
Fuchu
จะ
is
แทรกนี่
coming
นะ
back
แทรกแอสซอล
very, very
ก็
soon.
ดี
And
อ
I
ยู่
feel like the moment Fuchu comes back, he will not be able to kill the Loan whatsoever.
อ้าว
And if you can't kill Loan, then you can't kill Asal.
So she has one life left. He needs to just go all in on this Asal and try and take her
Oh,
down.
oh,
If he
hi,
can't
Asal
get
เลยเหรอ
her out, I feel like there's no way back for this.
I
ผม
think
ว่า
it's
แพ้แล้วว่า
over.
มิทรา
Oh no, this Asal, it's too tanky now. It's 15 stack with Fuchu on top. She is literally unkillable. Even if you have Raymary at this point, I think that's GG for Mithra. He's done
Yeah.
for.
I feel like the ban was either the Asal or the Loan. Giving that through just puts too much of a clock on your draft, and giving both through is just GG. And Mithra is out. We're seeing
ยิง
Ming
หูแบบเศร้า
move
ผมก็
on
ต้อง
to
ปกติ
the
ผมหูแบบ
next
เศร้านะ
round.
ผมไม่อยากให้มันเข้าเทิร์น
there's
ไม่ได้เทิร์นเดียว
only
ยิ่งเข้าเทิร์น
one
มันยิ่งแบบ
hope
สแต็ก
left
เรื่อย
from Global to make it through,
ๆ ถ้าเรา
and
หุบไปเลย
it
มัน
is
ก็จะ
Mithra.
นี่ไง
It's
ไม่ปวดหัว
actually
แถมมัน
crazy
ลดส
that
แต็กเราด้วย
Ming, the turn 1
Stat.
player
ลดเดฟลด
switch
แอต
to
แทก
a
ลดเลือด
Fuchu lock just to just to take it away from the enemy so that he could be allowed to pick Asal last and actually just use it against this very, very tanky player and destroy him.
Have we actually seen Fushu lose a game today? I feel
Fuchu
like
might be
she's
the best
been.
in the game. Who would have
I
thought?
think she might. I think she might be after her buffs.
แต่ผมขอ
Super strong yet again. I know she got nerfed a few seasons back. They basically just reverted that buff, and she has came back. Look to take away.
Much wow.
เอ้ย
Also,
คือเขาดามาสู้สีตัวนี้ใช่ปะจริงกดแอสซอลมา ถ้าเกิดว่า ไม่อยากคิดเยอะก็แบนไปเลยนะเพราะว่าเทมแมทมันก็สู้ไม่ได้อะเทมแมทสู้แอสซอลไม่ได้ไม่จริงๆผมว่าเทมแมทไม่ดีตั้งแต่แรกแล้วปะถ้างานตัวอะไรเก่งตรงนี้ลิเลียมเหรอลิเลียมก็ไม่ไหวนะไม่งั้นโดนแบนเลยอยู่ดีผมว่า XC ป่ะ XC ก็เก่งนะXC เก่งป่ะผมว่าอ๋อ XC แบนไปแล้วเขาพี่แบนไปโอเค
She might be after her buffs seasons back.
All one advice, unbelievable.
Even my Fushu isn't 555. What do you mean?
What is that? What is this? Not 555 in the big 26? Unbelievable.
No, she doesn't need it.
อย่าสแต็กรัวเลยแอสซอลครับเลือกก่อนยากเสมอ
Again, we're seeing a bit of a theme here. Every time Sharon's picked, she seems to be the key enemy. She just deals so much damage. And again, on that Jackal build with Swift Bulwark, Swift Smite. But yeah, back to Fushu. Just 113, man. You don't need more than that.
I think the key about Sharon is that if you're picking Sharon, just make sure that you also maybe have the Fuchu with you so that you don't have to deal with it on the enemy team. And that's going to be incredible.
นี่ไม่ใครกดวาเลเลียนเลยเหรอ
That is a
วาเลเลียนคือ
very wise
ผม
word
ว่าเขาโคตร
for
เก่งเลยนะวาเลเลียน
Sean. Just always pick Fushu
แค่แพ้
so that you
XL
don't
แพ้
have to
เฟีย
deal with Fushu. I remember a few seasons ago there was a couple of Cleave players who used to run a top speed Fushu at like 350 speed. It was kind of funny, and they would just first pick it every game and then go into full Cleave.
We might be seeing another Fuchu nerf in the next balance patch. Who knows? That she's so strong that they have to like adjust her like how they did back then a little bit once again.
I don't know. I think Fushu is a pretty wholesome unit. Everybody likes Fushu. I know you love it, Sean.
I say a Fushu at 113. The minimum investment that Bob advised, and never move an inch on that unit.
That's what you want, though. You want her to stay in her S3. You want her to never move. Press S3 and then forget about her for like 20 turns.
Unbelievable. We need to move on for this healing, okay? But soon we will see Ariel in that slot. Very, very soon. Maybe after a couple more banners where Ariel can be let loose. Oh my god. It's gonna be one hell of a healer.
Yeah, but the next matchup is actually the
Oh,
last
yeah,
hope
that-
for Global. It is Kecker versus Aha Swift. So far, we have one from Asia through into the semi-finals and two from CN. Now, if
Kecker,
Aha
Last
Swift
Hope,
makes
Global,
it through, I believe
Global,
there
Last
will
Hope.
be another Asia representative. So all of Global will be out, and it will be 2 CN versus 2 Asia, I believe.
Kind of crazy how a couple months ago the final of the tournament were just all global player, and now we have to pray for one global player to make it through. And Kaka, the world champion, AWS.
แต่คนนี้เขายังสู้ผมไม่ได้นะคนเนี้ยผมเจอในแรงค์บ่อยก็ชนะอยู่แต่เกเกอร์อะคนละเทียร์เลยผมว่าเกเกอร์ไม่น่าแพ้ปะ
Maybe, and sorry, I got that wrong. Aha Swift is actually from CN, so if he makes it through, it will be 3 CN and 1 Asia in the semi-finals. So a lot of Global's hopes here riding on Kecker. We are seeing on the side of
โลวาน
Aha
เกเกอร์
Swift
เป็น
likes that Lilium
เป็นโลวานที่แรงสุดถ้าผมเคยโดน
more aggressive kind of playstyle.
โคตรแรงอะโลวาน
Kecker
งงเลย
tends to
40
pivot
อะ
more towards the defense scalers with Luan and Jean Lee. Who do you think is going to come out on top, Sean?
Kaka is the king of turn 2. I think that's for sure. And we saw that Mithra, even though he was a very, very strong turn 2 player, he got absolutely demolished by his enemy, going 3-4 turns before he could even get one. So I think being a bit too slow might be a big disadvantage. But Keka is not only just the king of turn 2, he's also very good at adapting on the fly. So we saw that he lost his first game in his last best of 3 and won
เมื่อกี้
the next 2.
จังหวะแรกด้วยจังหวะแรก
You can trust
ผมว่าสวยปะ
Keka is gonna
กด
pull
2
something
มัน
out of his
มัน
butt
ลบ
today.
ฟู่ฉิวไม่ออกแต่ฟู่ฉิวเหมือน
and
ถ้าเกิดใส่ออ
he's
คอนก็
not scared
เข้า
to
ใจได้
pull
นะ
out a
ใส่ออคอน
slightly
เลส200อะไรเงี้ยแล้วแบบว่า
unorthodox draft,
ถ้ามัน
as
ต้าน
we
ได้ก็
seen
เข้าใจ
yesterday
ได้
with the 4 support draft that worked
เพราะว่าลูเวียก็แพ้ธาตุ
Freya comp.
ลดแม่นไปอีก50เปอร์
How is Freya able to deal with 4 supports? She's not.
I think Keka is definitely the one to think, you know what, let me pick 3 healers. There's nothing wrong with that. and he've done that many times throughout his professional Etheria start gameplay career. And we are going to the draft, and we have a Nathan and Lowan pre-ban. Seeing very similar first pick from these two players as well. We got the little Kathos and
เนี่ย
Sylvia
เอาจริงได้เนี่ย
Strategy.
เขาแบนโลวานเฮเกอร์เลยเฮเกอร์โลวานโคตรบ้า
pretty staple first and second picks from these players. Then
อุ้ย
on the
อัน
side
ย
of
ดิงโอ๊ต
Aha Swift
เฮ
opting
เกอร์
to go for that
XC
John Lee.
ผมว่าเก่งนะ
What
อัน
is
ย
he
ดิง
gonna
โอ๊ต
lock?
XC
Because
เพราะ
this
XC
is
เขา
the
เทิร์นบ่อย
time
จัด
he goes for the Fiat, so opting into more of that turn
ยังไง
2
ก็โดน
playstyle
ผู้ฉิวตรงนี้
allows Kecker though to lock that Sharon if he wants.
เอ้าชาลอนเหรอ
Because on the other side, that Catchy the guard, if you were wanting to take it, will no longer be in the locked slot, so you would just be able to remove that.
There's Sharon lock right there coming from Kecker, and maybe another strong damage dealer or another support because he only got 2 damage dealer. And the
Iron.
support is going to be Iron coming out
I
from
like
Kecker.
that. I like that a lot. It gives you the option to cycle your Sharon back super quickly if you want to do
แต่ว่า
that.
ตัว
You
5 ผม
can
ว่า
go for
เน
the
เวทแน่เลย
S3 with the Sharon, pull her back
ต้อง
down,
รอดูก่อน
and
ว่า
you can
สอง
basically
ตัวท้าย
pop
เขามีล้าง
someone
ป่ะ
before the rest of the team
ถ้าเกิดโดนลิเลียม
to move on
ก็
the
หนักอยู่
side of Aha.
ก็กด อันนี้ไม่ได้
Some the Iron is on Alicorn because I think I haven't seen Alicorn being used on anyone for quite some time now.
So yeah, and then on the side of Aha Swift, he's
Lilium thing.
opting for that Lilium on that Law build. Not as big of a fan of that build into the Sharon because it's just going to get stripped anyway. So what is he opting for on 5? I feel like he either needs to go for some sort of cleanser or more damage. Instead, he's opting for
น่าเท่น
that
คนเนิร์ฟอะไรดี
Delirium.
ครับ
So
บังคับแบ
looking
น
for
คือ
that
ผมว่า
shielding and
ควร
then
เนิร์ฟไปที่แบบว่ามัน
Kecker to go
มัน
for
มี
the vet on 5 to
รีซิต
counter
เริ่มต้น
both
20 เลยอะ
John Lee
ที่แบบว่ามันเหมือนมันต้านทุกอย่างอะอันนั้นควรเอาออกไปเลยถ้าเกิด
That's
ว่าเราช
not
นะส
looking
ปีด
so hard
นา
for
เท
the
นอะ
last pick,
เราควร
to be honest.
การันตีว่า
but it
ไม่
is
ได้การัน
gonna
ตี
be
ดิ
what he chose, and
เราไม่ควรโดน
Valerian
พาสซีฟ
locked
นาเทน
in.
อันนั้น
The
อะ
vet
ที่
is
มันเด้ง
going to
แล้ว
be
แบบว่า
in the match as
ไม่โดน
well
ซีซี
because
ไม่โดน
you
ทรี
can
อะ
counter so many different things, and we
เราจะได้ควบคุม
have
ได้
the Sylvia for the strip,
อันนี้ถึง
the
ชนะ
Sharon for
ส
the
ปีด
strip.
ไป
There's a
ก็
whole lot of strip
โดน
going
20
on
เลย
to prepare the vet for
ผม
the
ว่า
battle.
แค่นั้นพอละ
So I wonder if on the side of Kecker he just takes out this Lilium, or does he think that he'll have enough damage to get through anyway? Whereas on the side of Aha Swift, I feel like he removes the Sylvia, so he's wanting to get rid of that 100% guaranteed strip. And Kecker does think he has enough damage to get through that Lilium with the Valerian taken out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
Not sure if that's gonna work out too well, but
เขา
here
เขา
we
ไม่คิด
go.
ว่าจะแบน
First
นี่ปะ
turn
เขาคิดว่า
belongs to
ฝั่งนู้นจะ
Sharon.
แบน
Maybe
เนเว
he
ต
wants the
ก็เลย
Sharon
แบน
to
วาเล
actually
เรียน
ban her strip because if there's Valerian on the field, then the Sharon strip become a little bit shaky due to the fact that there's
อ๋อแต่ว่า
no shield on
เอ๊ะ
top
ไหว
of
ไหม
the immunity. We get the petrify,
ต้อง
we
รีบ
get
ฆ่า
the
ขวา
block,
ปะ
and the damage
ว่า
will be on the Lilium. Can he finish this Lilium?
แต่ว่าอันนี้โดนแทรกเลย
So this is the other thing that's interesting about the Aaron. He has the option here of he can S2 and then get the turn stolen, or he can S1 and let someone else turn be stolen. He gets to choose who Kathos is stealing the turn from.
โอเคขโมยตัวเองว่านี้
Oh, I guess he's the one getting stolen. Kathos getting a turn right there. Skill all available. But which one is going to go for? It's going to go for the skill 3. And I
ชาลอน
think
อั
it's
นติไป
gonna
ยัง
be on
นะ
the Shuanchi. It will be on the Shuanchi. Landed the defense break. Looking
อ๋อ
really
ยังไม่ได้อัน
bad
ติ
for the
เอ้ยอันติ
Shuanchi.
ไปแล้วเหรอ
Yeah, that is actually pretty massive because it means
อ๋อเธอแรก
I think
อ๋อเธอแรกไม่ได้อันติ
Shuanchi
กดตี
won't
ธรรมดา
have
ใช่ไหม
enough damage to kill
ผมงง
off this Lilium. The Lilium is actually going to go before anyway.
Ooh,
I
that
think
might
he
be
could
a dead
probably just
Shuanchi.
straight amber him, yeah. And he does. And it's a full seal. So 0 health. If anything touches the Shuanchi while he's in amber, he's going down.
Oh, but
เอ้าลิไม่ติด
oh, he
เอ้ย
could
ใช่
not
ไม่ติด
petrify the
เอ้าแล้ว
Filia.
ทำวีฟ
They are
God.
resisted.
เอ้ยใช่ปะแม่ทำวีฟดิเพราะว่า
Over?
เพิ่งอัน
Is
ติ
that
ท็อปแรก
GG? Who is gonna kill Lilium now?
จบแล้วดิไม่
Nobody
ไม่มี
can
ใคร
kill
ไม่มีใคร
Lilium.
ฆ่าลิ
I
เลียมแล้ว
don't
อะ
think he
ลิเลีย
has
ม
any way of dealing with this Lilium now.
สาม
He
ตัวนี้มัน
may
ฆ่าลิเลียม
kill
ไม่
the
ได้
rest of the
จ
units,
บแล้ว
but the Lilium's just going to have free reign.
อะไรวะเนี่ย
Oh no, that Archon Fiamelia.
เขา
Oh
เก็กเกอร์
no,
เขากด
Petrify misses on the Fiamelia
เขากดไอ้
completely
นี่มา
shut out the
หมาย
game
ถึงว่า
for Keiko.
กดเนเว
I
ตมา
don't think he
ทำไมเขา
has
ถึงแบนวา
what
เล
it
ย
takes to win the game anymore because
เขาว่า
there's
เขาสมอง
no
โต
way
เกิน
he's
ปะ
gonna be able to kill
เขากดอะไร
this
มาเขาควร
Lilium, and Lilium
เขา
can
ควรไม่แบนตัว
literally
ที่เราเขามา
spam
กดมาแก้
skill
ตัวท้าย
1 to never die if it boils down to Lilium soloing the match.
คือถ้าเกิดเขารู้ว่า
The
เขาอยาก
only
แบน
saving
วาเล
grace
อยู่
for
แล้ว
Kecker
เขาต้อง
is that he does
เลือก
have
ตัวมาแก้
Jackal
วาเล
on
เอ้ย
his Sharon, so he will get some damage coming out from her.
เฮ้ย
But I'm
เดี๋ยวนะ
surprised he's going for
ตาย
that.
ไหม
I think he needs
มี
to
โอกาส
just
ตายอ
try
ยู่
to
เนี่ย
get this Lilium, because
เฟีย
otherwise he's
เฟีย
never
ตาย
going to kill it.
Oh, but he's definitely killing everyone surrounding the Lilium right there. So he might get it done, but it is gonna be a tough situation to be in for Keka because this Lilium, I don't think it's gonna be going down that
เฮ้ย
easily.
แต่มีโอกาสชนะอยู่ครับ
He did actually steal the speed buff off of the Lilium, which is allowing him
ไม่ตาย
to cycle a bit faster. The
มีโอกาสชนะอยู่
Vet is on
มีอัน
bloodbath,
ติ
so survives the S2.
อ๋อนิวเว
Imagine
บัด
if
บาส
the vet died, that's gonna be a free stun.
หรือว่าเขา
onto the
กดมาล่อ
Sharon.
เหรอ
That's gonna be very, very cool. But Keta's
เอาไม่อันติ
probably
ด้วย
gonna go down to the dot damage
อ๋อตายอยู่
as
แล้ว
well. Look at that Lilium against the Whir at this point.
ผมว่าอย่างนี้
Is
อย่าง
he
นี้แพ้
able
นะ
to deal with it?
ลิเลียมสู้ไม่ได้หรอก
Is he able to kill here? I feel like that stun might be game
อันนี้
winning.
มาร์ค
Does he go? Does
มาร์ค
he
เนเวต
switch
ปะเนเวต
over
มัน
the
มี
S2
ดาเมจมันแรงอยู่นะ
onto
กด
the
สองอะ
vet, tries to keep her alive.
ยังไง
He will get a
ยังไง
little
เกอร์
bit
ส
of a
กิลเขาเต็มอยู่แล้ว
shield
ดิ
if he
เนเวต
does
อะ
that and give her some extra tankiness with the buff. I think that's the right play. I think that's your only out if you're able to
ถ้า
do
เนเวตไม่
this.
ตายอ่ะมีไหวอยู่
No,
เทิร์น
no,
นี้
I've
เขายัง
been
ไม่มีอัน
in
ติ
this exact situation
Lilium
before, and
อะไร
I've
ผิด
lost to a couple of Lilium in my days because
มี
my
เทิร์นหนึ่ง
Sharon could
ไม่
not
ตายอยู่แล้ว
do much.
ปัด
And
บาส
oh, he
จบไว้ได้
went
ชนะ
for
แล้ว
the vet.
อุ้ย
He
ชนะ
hit
ได้ไง
into a
วะ
shield, so he couldn't heal at all.
I think that was the wrong play. I think he had to
เอ้า
hit into anybody else if you're Aha
แล้วไม่กดสองอ่ะ
because you don't heal through shields when you hit them with that lifesteal. So he didn't gain any healing, as you say.
Oh my god, he kind of threw right there by not trying to heal himself, hitting into a shield of the unit that's on bloodbath and extra damage reduction coming from Iron.
สวยจัดครับ
Oh,
แต่ว่า
wow. Kecker
ราชา
lost
ก็ยังเป็น
the
ราชา
Quan Chi immediately to still win the game.
กลายเป็นว่า
That
เนเวต
is
ไหวกับลิเลียม
Don't know if
คือ
the
จะบอก
heal would
เหมือน
have
กับว่า
been enough. I
สาม
think
ตัว
it
นี้
would have
มัน
been
วนจ
very
นลิเลียม
close.
ไม่
He
เล่น
had
แล้วเรา
the
ตี
S3
ดา
coming
เมจ
up next turn
ดาเมจ
on
ดิบ
the
ไปเรื่อย
Lilium.
ไม่ต้องตอด
So
ไม่
would
ต้อง
have been
ตัน
able to
ไม่ต้อง
kill
อะไรฮะ
something off, and then
เฉ
he
ย
gets
เลย
that speed buff, which
ดีบัฟ
allows
ไม่ต้อง
him
มี
to cycle even faster.
เหมือนเล่นกิววอลเลย
We'll never know. Hit the shield, so didn't heal.
In my experience, a good Lilium will just start spamming skill 1 until the end of the game, trying to heal whenever he moves because Iron do pretty much negative damage, and I think the vet couldn't really do much damage as well, except for the skill 2. So if he managed to just heal a little bit here and there, he might be able to do it.
I feel like
ดาบอ
the
นาคต
key
ครับ
target
เออ
for him
เป็น
should
ผม
have
ไม่กล้านะ
probably
เว้ย
been
กดเนเวต
that
มาแล้วแบน
Sharon.
วาเลอะ
I know she doesn't
กดเนเวต
do
มาแก้
any
วาเลแต่แบน
damage
วาเล
with the debuffs,
คือแบบสมอง
but
โต
that
เกิน
Jackal
แบบ
actually
มั่นใจ
did
ว่าไงเขาแบน
pretty
เน
good
เวตเนี่ย
damage, and that was probably the main source of damage coming out from Kecker onto the Lilium. 81% of the total damage coming from that Sharon. Running that Swift, Bulwark Swift build, we're seeing that a lot, and he is running on that Sentinel, so takes reduced damage from crits.
Man, Sharon is just everywhere. Sharon is everybody key enemies at this point.
Yeah, it might actually be whoever has Sharon or whoever has Fushu wins the game. That seems to be what's happening today, and that seems to be the trend.
Yeah, I think Fear Miller Lock is just not as valuable as Fuchu Lock because the Lilium with Fear is just not as good as the.
คือเฟียมันจะไม่ดีอย่างตรงนึงคือ ถ้าเราล็อกเฟียไม่ล็อกเฟีย
Yeah,
หมายถึ
because
งว่า
if
ฟู่
he
ฉิว
had
อะ
that Fushu here, then the
ถ้าเราล็อก
Lilium
ฟู่
would
ฉิว
have
กลาง
been
มัน
cycling
เก่ง
even
จริงถ้าเจอ
faster,
แทงด้วยกัน
so
อะ
would
แต่
have
ถ้าเจอ
just
ทีม
let
คลี
him
ปแล้วบอกว่า
kill off the units on
เป็น
the side
มันเป็น
of
เล
Kecker.
เอ็กซี่อะ
But
ฟู่ฉิว
what
แบบ
is
ไม่ได้ทำอะไรเลย
Swift gonna change
ถ้าไม่ได้
for
กลาง
this game too?
ก่อนแล้วเพื่อน
Probably
ตายไป
needs
แล้ว
to
ก็ไม่มี
adapt
ความหมาย
slightly to the draft that Kecker brought out, and we are into the draft
ผม
now.
ว่ามัน
We're
มันดี
seeing
คนละ
the
แบบผมว่า
Nathan and the
เทียวพอกัน
Sylvia pre-ban,
วาเล
and then on
เฟีย
the side
แล้วก็
of
ฟู่ฉิว
Kecker, we're seeing that Kethos
เก่งพอกัน
first pick.
Ooh, we got the Lowen first pick
แค่ถ้าเกิด
coming
เป็น
out
แทงชน
from
แทง
Aha
ฟู่
Swift
ฉิวจะ
right
เก่งสุด
there. Together with the
แต่ถ้าเกิดรวมทุก
Shang-Chi
ดราฟเลย
as
อะ
well.
มัน
And
คนละสถาน
they're
การณ์
drafting pretty fast because Keka back with the Luvia, but this time locking in the Fuchu.
Yeah, so taking that consistent healer that also gives him that turn meter push, pretty good into Loan and into XC. Just gives you so much versatility in what you draft on that 4-5. But Swift going for that Asal, putting a
Asal.
clock on the match now. So what is Kecker gonna go for on the 4-5 to be able to deal
ไม่
with
ผมมันจะ
that
กด
Asal?
วาเลล็อกกลาง
Sharon at the
ไม่เป็นไร
moment.
วาเลล็อกกลางแล้วก็ลิเลียมแล้วก็แบน
And
แบน
putting
เฟีย
Asal
เขาแบน
up
เฟีย
with
เขากดเฟียมาแล้ว
I'm
พิก
not
ซี่
sure if that's gonna be a good idea. And his team is a little bit vulnerable to being pushed back as well as increased cooldown time coming out from Gethos and Sharon. So overall, he seems a little bit unprepared for the debuff that's coming up from Kecker.
กดเหลี่ยมแล้วก็เลยังไงต้องแบนสักตัวหนึ่ง ไม่งั้นโดนคอมโบ
alongside the Sharon. The Tiamat here probably the best pairing with Fushu just because of the way that the damage share interacts with Fushi healing. Whenever one of your units gets hit, Tiamat is going to heal as a result
ออก
of
ไม่ได้
that,
นะ
helping
ถ้าเกิด
her
กด
push
รีบ
and
กดวิลเลียม
also
โดน
helping
เฟีย
her
กับ
transform
เทียแมต
more consistently
4-5
and
ก็
quicker.
เหนื่อยอยู่
Celine on 5!
เซลิน
The first Celine we're seeing. Celine's actually very good into most of the team on the side of Kecker.
ผมว่าแสดงว่าแบนลูเวียใช่ไหมโอเค
Luvia, but it will shut down the Kathos. It makes the Fushu come out of S3 faster. It stops Sharon's dots on the S2, and it also stops the Tiamat transforming. I really like this pick on 5.
อุ้ยดีนะเซลินแก้ผู้ฉิวได้นะเพราะผู้ฉิวกลางอันติไปแล้วอะปกติเวลาศัตรูเข้าเทิร์นมันจะลดเกรดตัวเองเรื่อยๆแต่ถ้าเกิดเราใบพาสซีฟผู้ฉิวมันจะเข้าเทิร์นบ่อยเข้าเทิร์นบ่อยขึ้นคาชิกลางดีกว่าผมว่าก็ดีนะ
So the Celine's is going
คา
to
ชิ
get
กลาง
a
ใช่ไหม
lot
คาชิกลางแล้วก็พิก
of
4 โลอะ
on
เป็น
board
ฟิมิเลีย
and he's able to
ไม่
get
ก็
his S3 off.
อะไรอะเลอะ
But what if she gets
ไม่ก็
destroyed
XL
by
อะไรเงี้ย
Kathos, though? Because I don't think she's gonna be able to escape.
ผมว่าคาชิดี
Interestingly, the
ยกเว้นว่าเขาไม่
Celine is
ทำสปีด
actually
มาดิ
on
ถ้าคาชิ
Archon,
ช้ามันก็
so
ไม่
I wouldn't
ไม่
be
กด
surprised
ไม่กล้า
if
กด
he's running some res on it to try and resist this Kathos for this exact type
สวัสดี
of
คุณโซ่ครับ
Oh my god, that Celine's on Strive, and he accidentally put the Jackal Guard onto the Celine, so the Celine's getting
Oh, he's
so
gonna
much
get on
per
everybody.
meter. Oh, he's getting so much
ติดไหม
value out of this
เอ้า
Celine
ตัว
right
ตัว
there.
ซ้ายไม่ติดเหรอ
Everybody except for the Fushu. The Fushu still having
ถ้า
that
เคทอสติดปะ
immunity,
ขอดูไง
but the Kathos and everybody else is going to get nothing from their passives for so long. 3 turns onto the Sharon because of that buff that Celine's got a couple of seasons ago. He'll probably be able to cycle back to the S3 before it actually meaningfully drops off anybody.
ว่าถ้าจบแล้วได้อย่างเงี้ย
Unfortunately, Kathos did not get the
ไม่
forgetfulness
เมื่อกี้
debuff,
รอบที่แล้วก็
so
อย่างงี้
Kathos still
พี่เคยังกลับไม่ได้เลย
enjoyed the passive. Sadly, he actually
เซลิน
missed
โคตรโหด
the
เลยครับ
Kathos.
แต่ว่า
Oh, it
มัน
was
เขาใบพาสซีฟ
resisted.
เคทอสไม่ติดเหรองงว่ะ
Wow.
ติดไหมมันไม่ขึ้นข้างบนอะ
But
Feels
at
bad.
least it's
เพราะว่า
not
บัฟ
bad
เยอะ
for
เกินมัน
Sharon
เลย
and
ไม่
the
เห็น
Tiamat, which is very impactful
ต้อง
and
ดู
important
ถ้า
in
จบ
this
ตอน
game.
นี้มันเป็น3ป่ะ
Yeah, I think that just changes the priority for who he needs to target with the Assault. I feel like if
เนี่ย
the
โอ้เนี่ยมัน
Kathos
แบกไม่
still
ติดจริง
has
ว่ะ
a passive,
โคตร
you
สวย
can
เลย
go on the Kathos and try and get him out of the
ผม
game.
ว่ายังไงเขา
and
น่า
then
จะ
you
ทำแม่น
can
อยู่แล้วนะ
deal with the
เคท
other
เคทอส
two
มันไม่มีนี่หรอก
as and when you
อุ้ย
get the forgetfulness back up on them.
ออกมีอันติ
Alright, look at this. Celine's being this budget Nathan pretty much, doing the forgetfulness and everybody.
Budget
But look
Nathan.
at this damage on the Tiamat. But Tiamat, without her passive, is so much weaker than what she should be doing right now. Because she is not
Go-
getting any value
Ow,
out
why?
of anything happening on the field.
The Silence did run
เอาแต่
the
แต่เซลิน
silence here. He
ไม่มี
can
แต่เขากาด
still go for these S1s to
แต่เขา
try
กาด
and
ไม่เก่ง
land
ว่ะ
forgetfulness with the Silence, so it's not out of the question for him to land on Kathos yet. He does have the S3 here. I would assume he just goes into the Kathos again and tries to get him out.
Yep, he needs to get his Kathos out quickly, but he's giving a lot of turn to this Kathos, and Kathos is definitely going to be enjoying those and providing the team with
อ๋อ
pushback
แพ้ธาตุ
with
ด้วย
a
ครับ
reset
เอ๊ะ
to buy time
อ๋อ
for
แพ้
this
ธาตุเคทอส
Tiamat to come out of the
แต่เคทอสก็ไม่น่า
forgetfulness
มี
debuff.
ต้านเยอะขนาดนั้นผมไม่น่าถึง
Yeah,
80
the
เคลิน
Tiamat
เขาน่าจะ
still
ใส่แม่นปะ
has
เม็ด
a
หนึ่ง
couple of
ปกติ
one turn on
แม่น
the
เม็ดหนึ่งก็หักกันพอดี
forgetfulness, and so does Sharon. So will he be able to get back to the Celine's S3? He's still 1 turn away from it, so it might actually fall off as he's able to put it back up. Gonna
Oh,
be a
but
close
Kathos-
one, Sean.
Wait, Kathos did not S2 in that position? I wonder why.
โอ้ดีนะไม่โดนใบ
Either. I think he
ถ้าโด
could
นใบ
have
นี่
S2'd and then just
พันิ
tried
ดเลย
to
นะ
kill
ไม่ยอม
off
กด
the
ได้2เมื่อกี้
XC without
ไม่ยอมกด
proccing
รีคูลดาว
the Amber.
But anyway, that just happened, and we have the Sharon skill 3 coming out. That's gonna push the Tiamat in
อ๋อ
front,
ผมเข้าใจแล้ว
in front.
เพราะว่าเขา
And
จะรอ
Tiamat actually will get out of the forgetfulness,
อ๋อแล้วโดน
so things might start
lang.
looking pretty bad for Aha Swift.
But he's got the forgetfulness now onto the Kathos, so the Kathos won't be stealing any turns anytime soon. He has the S3 coming back up on the Celine's now, so but he does still have that S2 on the Kathos. So if it lands, he's probably fine. But if he gets the S3 down with Celine's, I feel like Kecker is probably in a bad spot.
โอ้ยรีซิต
And it was resisted on the Celine's.
เซลินได้ล้างได้ดี
Celine's
ดิ
get another-
Gigabyte proc.
จบแล้ว
She's
ดิ
gonna
Oh
get
no.
forgetfulness on
โอ้แล้วไม่ตายด้วย
everybody.
That is not looking
XC ไม่
good
ตาย
for Keiko once again
โดน
because even though it seems like the
ติดแล้วรอบเนี้ย
Xuan Chi is
ติดแล้ว
dying,
ผมว่ารอบที่แล้วสวย
the
อัน
crazy
นี้ติดแล้ว
time bomb that is Asao is getting stronger and stronger every time.
โคตรโหดเลยว่ะเซริน
The passive to stop her is gonna be
ผมเพิ่งรู้ว่าเซ
pretty
รินเอามา
bad.
แก้
Look
ฟูชิว
at
ได้
that. She is getting strong
อ๋อแต่ไม่ติดอยู่ดีว่ะ
quicker than
น่า
ever.
ใส่ต้านมา
Yeah, and this time he
May I
did
say that,
actually land the forgetfulness on the Kathos, so hurt on everybody except for the Fushu. The Fushu probably super high res, so not
โอ้โห
that
เดี๋ยวนะเคทอสเลือดเด้งอะไรขนาดนั้น
unexpected, but he's in a tough spot now.
เกือบครึ่งหลอดเลย เด้งเยอะเกิน
Not being able to steal turn, Tiamat being absolutely useless. I'm not too sure with this Tiamat pick.
โอ้
anymore.
แล้ว
I thought he was
เรา
gonna
ว่า
go for like a
แอ
Ray
สเซล
Mary
มา
because there's Amber.
ยังไงเลดเกมก็ชนะ ถ้าเกิดได้เก็บสแต็ก
As you can see, this
เซริน
Tiamat is
ยื้อ
not
ไว้
providing a whole lot
ยื้อ
of
เข้าเลด
value.
เกม
And this Celine's pick is getting so much out of the skill
เอ๊ะ
3.
โอ้ย
Incredible.
เดี๋ยว
Yeah,
เคทอส
I thought the
ส่งดี
Celine
บัฟ
was
กลับมา
actually a force ban
ให้
on 5. 4 units with
ให้ XC
passives that he can
XC
shut
เก็บไม่
down.
เด้ง
I thought it was just too much to be able to handle, and
แล้วอย่างงี้
it's
แทรกเทิร์นด้วย
looking
นะเนี่ย
like it potentially could be. Also, maybe not pressing that S2 on that turn and trying to kill off that XC, bit of a misplay.
But funny enough, the Kethos actually transferred the debuff back to the Axie, so he got
Oh, he's
out
got
of
the perfect-
forgetfulness, and he put it on the Axie, so there's no turn beater for him.
แล้ว
That
คือ
is so crazy.
โอ้ย
Kethos
เฟรมเบียโดนแทรก
you
เฟร
go.
มเบียไม่ได้อันตีเนี่ย
Kathos is OP. Imagine Bramble Kathos just transfer it but without his turns.
I swear my Kethos on one accuracy slot, and I rarely see this
เค
transfer.
ทอสเล่น
happen.
เป็นนะครับ
Like there gotta be like a trick to make it work like that.
เอ้าเข้าไปเบอร์
So
ไปเลย
the Tiamat is still pretty healthy. The Fushu is almost out. Well, she has one more turn of the Moonlit
ต้องกด
Veil. So then
แอ
the
สเซลไป
healing
ก่อน
will
นะไม่ให้
finally
อย่า
run
อย่าให้
out.
แอสเซลเล่น
How close is this Celine to her S3 again? She's one turn away.
But then I don't think Swift actually scared of this game going for longer because this Asao is just so tanky at this point. He needs to do something about her. But before that, there are 3 other tanky units that he has to get through.
Yeah, but he
แอส
does
เซลมี
still
บัฟส
have
ปีดได้
this
ไงวะ
Amber on the team.
ขโมยมาเหรอ
So
โคตรดีอวง
big damage coming in from
โอ้
the
โหแล้ว
Asao, and he gets a battle will proc onto the
ตี
Sharon.
ตาม
Oh no, that is not good.
ดีคูลดาวน์
He is
The
getting
Asao's already
so
at
tanky.
ค่าแอสเซลยังไงวะ
17 stacks, only 3 away from max, and she's only going to get stronger as the game goes on because of the way that the
เขาเจาะ
scaling
ผิด
works
ตัวไหม
with
ทำไมเข้าเค
turns.
โทสรัวๆ
And
เหมือน
the
เขาอยาก
Sharon's
ใบ้เคโทส
gone.
ถูกไหมครับ
I think that's
อยาก
over because
อยาก
Tiamat
ใบ้
is
กับไม่ก็ใบ้
not
พาสซีฟอะนะ
exactly in the game for most of the time. Like
แบบตี
she's
หนึ่ง
not even doing
เซรินมันใบ้ได้
anything. Kethos has been trying
แต่
so
ว่าผม
hard to do something
หรือว่า
for the
จ
team.
ริงๆเขา
And it's just
ลดส
not
แตท
really enough
เคทอส
because
ไว้
he's
เวลา
not
กด
like
ส
a
องมันจะได้
damage
ลิมิต
killer,
เหรอ
unfortunately.
เดานะ
So
หรือเพราะว่าไม่
at
มี
this point,
แอ
he
มเบอร์
is
ด้วยอะไรอย่าง
so
งี้ป่ะ
weak as well with 17 stack down from the Asao. So I think that is kind
เนี่ย
of
ตายเลย
over
สแตทน้อย
for Kecker in this
โดนลดส
match.
แตทมา
The Tiamat's probably going to get to transform here, but no, just gives up. GG. Game 2 going to the Aha Swift. That Celine's putting in so much work there. That forgetfulness basically shutting down
คือ
the
รอบ
whole
รอบที่แล้วก็
side.
เหมือนดับแพ้ แต่ว่าชนะ
That's
รอบ
what we
นี้
love about
ดับ
this
ชนะ
tournament
ดับแพ้
is
ก็
when
แพ้เลย
the player try to overcome the enemy gear quality with strategy, pretty much like picking the Celines. And also, Kecker might be underestimating Celines quite a fair bit because you don't really get to see or play against that unit very
ใน
often.
ใครไม่เป็นตัว 5 โดนทุกคนเลยปะ
I-
เมื่อกี้
I don't
เซรินก็เป็น
respect
ทิก
that,
5 ถูกไหม
and then
เนี่ย
now
เซรินทิก5จริง
he has to
เขาไม่
live
แบน
with
ตัว
the
อะไรแบนโลวาน
consequences.
เหรอ
Well, not just that. He maybe thought that with the Kathos, he can just cooldown increase and ignore the Celines. But the Celines being on Archon and resisting the cooldown increases from that Kathos came up huge.
Indeed. He could not control the Celines, and the Celines went in and took down
แอสเซลเลย
so
เก็บ
many
บอก
opportunity for
เทียร์แมตช์เหงาจัด
Kecker
เจอ
to
เซริน
real
ไม่ได้เล่นเลย
value. The
ชาลอนก็
Tiamat
ไม่ค่อย
pick
ได้
was just
ไม่
not
โดนใบก็
it.
เหงาเหมือนกัน
It did
เพราะว่า
not do
passive
anything for so
พาสซีฟ
long
อยู่
the
สกิล
entire
2 แล้ว
game.
แบบไม่ได้ใช้ก็คือ
I feel like the Tiamat was
ดอทอีกน้อยลงเย
okay.
อะ
I feel like it was just
ลด
that
บัฟก็ไม่ได้
if you're picking the Tiamat there, I feel like you have to ban the Silence. It just gives too much value. You're seeing the Silence as the key animus, I think rightly so. Gigabyte on there with Archon, Bloodbath, Swift, and Evil Guard, looking to get higher shielding from that. I would assume it's a bit of a mix in terms of HP, accuracy, and res, but not sure. I actually want to go and play about with some Silence after that.
อ๋อ
Funny
ใส่
enough,
อา
I
คอน
used
ด้วยเหรอ
Silence
แสดงว่า
Smith,
มีโอกาส
I
ที่
think
จะ
2
ใส่
seasons
เลส
ago,
เม็ดหนึ่ง
and
แม่นเม็ดหนึ่งเลือดเม็ดหนึ่ง
low-key
เนี่ยเหรอ
feeling kind of bad, but that was just beautiful
ผมว่าแม่นมัน
display
เขาไม่ได้เยอะ
of
ขนาดนั้นนะแต่
keeping
แปดดู
your
ไม่ค่อยติด
niche draft
แต่ว่า
build
แบบ
just so that you can get a cheeky win in between
ขาดแปดไม่ติดเทิร์น
is
แรกเนี่ย
absolutely incredible strategy, and maybe Aha Swift has another surprise for us in the next game.
Maybe, and this is
เก๊ก
also
ช่วงนี้
something
เห็น
that
เขาคุยกัน
Kecker
ฝึก
is
แต่
going
ค
to
ลิ
have
ป
to keep in
พอเก๊ก
mind
แพ้
in
คลิป
this
ครับ
draft now. He knows that that Silence is there. He's going to have to draft with that in mind. That
อยากเห็นลาหูอะลาหูไปไหนรอบที่แล้วลาหูยังเยอะเลย จำได้
And
แพทที่แบบ
I
ว่า
don't think Kecker probably has Silence
คอน
steal
เก่งๆ
from
อะ
the
ใช่ไหม
enemy, and I wonder if stealing it actually matter at all. But we are going into the third game between Kecker and Aha Swift. Kecker is potentially getting disqualified here today, and can he make it through to the semi-final?
So we're seeing the Cathos,
มาอีกแล้วว่ะ
Luvia, and
คือผมไม่ชอบ
Fufu
เคทอกับ
taking
ลูเวีย
on
2 ปิก
the
แรกเลย
side
ว่ะ
of
มัน
Kecker.
มันดู
Aha
ไม่
Swift
เก่ง
has
ไงไม่รู้อะ
opted for that
ผมไม่กล้ากด
Luan
เลย
and that Jeonchi. So this is very similar to the last draft that we've seen, and will we see the same result? We're seeing that
เล่นเหมือนเดิมเหรอ
Asal unlock.
อ๋อ
What
เขา
is
จะ
Kecker gonna
จะลอง
change
ดู
this
ว่าถ้า
time?
แบนเฟลิน
Because he
ชนะไหม
basically
เนี่ย
has the same draft. He's taking that Sharon. Is he going to go for the Tiamat on 5, or is he going to go for something different so that he's not as susceptible to that Silence? So he's switching it up and he's going for the XL on 5.
Yeah, I think Sean-Lee really care about Silence too much, so that's gonna be a pretty good switch up for Kecker, saying that you can't Silence me, but Aha Swift going into the Iron so that he can steal all of the Sean-Lee
โอ้
goodness.
ไอรอนเก่งนะ แบนอยู่ดีปะ
No,
Swapped
It
over
is
instead
gonna be Lilium,
of the Lilium.
ลิ
Just
เลียม
kind of
โอ้ยแสดงว่าแบนซุนหลีดิ
Oh, no,
ยังก็ต้องแบนอยู่ดี
baiting us all.
กดตัวอะไรมาแบนอยู่ดีครับ
To the A-Rod.
ตัว 5 ถูกป่ะ
I feel
ปก
like
ติ
if
อะ
he was going for that Lilium, he's kind of telling Kecker that he's
เราแค่เดาได้ว่าเขาจะแบนตัวอะไร
have no damage on the
แล้วเราก็
side
ต้องแบน
of the team. But now I feel like the bans are more up in the air. Goes for that Aaron and goes for the Luvia. So who do you think has won the draft here, Sean?
we are
เชลซีลิน
not
เมื่อ
too
กี้
sure
เม
right
ทิก
here
หลังเป็น
because
อีโว
if the
เน้นโล
Luan
อาจจะท
can actually
ำเลือด
perform, but
ล้วน
first
นะครับ
turn definitely gonna
แต่ผมเห็นเขาใส่
Luan, the
Wait.
fastest unit!
โลวัน
Oh my
โลวัน
God,
โคตรเร็วอะ
that is a giga speed
resisted.
Lowen.
เอ้าแต่ว่าทอนไม่ติด
on Sharon.
ทอน
But
ไม่
you
ติด
know
เฉย
what? We don't know
เดี๋ยวนะ
anything anymore. We
อย่าง
thought
นี้รู้เลยดิ
Lowen
บาง
could
จัดเลย
win the game, but she fumbled the bag, and now the Sharon's gonna move
ผม
and
ว่า
put on so
รอบนี้
much
เหมือน
damage
เกเกอร์
to
รัช
the
ชนะนะ
enemy team.
มี
And
เอล
that is looking pretty bad for
อุ้ย
us.
อุ้ย
But the
but
buff
land-
block
the
เดี๋ยวนะ
block
ถ้า
as well
เล่นโคตรเร็วเลย
is
นึกว่ากดออโต้
Because now the Fushu's not going to be able to put the shield up either, so this Zhang Li is super vulnerable.
ผมว่ายังไงก็ต้อง
But I think the moment Fuchu buff into
เอ๊ะหรือว่า
the damage coming out from Charlie, even without the
ผมว่า
defense buff, still gonna
ต้อง
be
ทุบเลป่ะ
quite
ต้องทุบเฟียป่ะให้
Swift will have to kill the enemy
กด
too
สองเลย
fast,
โอ
or
เค
the dot's gonna get to him.
เพราะว่าอันนี้มัน
I
มัน
feel
จะฆ่า
like
ในแอมเบอร์ไม่ได้ดิ
Sharon with
ฆ่าแอมเบอร์ไม่ได้
the Asal buff on or debuff on her, if you start focusing the
โคตรคม
Asal
อะ
into the Sharon,
buff
she's just going to take
XL
so much damage so quickly, and then you can start pivoting in towards dealing with the other units. But the Kethos stealing the turn from the Asal
Wait,
is
no.
pretty massive there.
อันนี้ตายเลยเนี่ย
Not letting him start
XC ตายปะ
step away.
Yeah,
ตายเลยนะ
When being really fast, actually
อ๋อไม่มี
cut
วับ
in
เล็บไม่มีวับ
front,
เล็บเลยไม่ตาย
allowing the Keta to steal the Assault turn
ตาย
is
ดีป่ะอันนี้เอาไม่
really,
ตายว่ะ
really big.
เพราะว่ามันโดน
So this
You are-
Loan has a lot.
เฮ้ยตายดิเขาเทิร์นตายเลย
Oh,
X-
because
Etheria.
it's Swift, it might actually
เขา
just
เทิร์นตายเลย
go down before it gets
เอ้า
to
ไม่
do
ตายแล้ว
much.
เขามันฮิวขึ้นมา
Amelia has something
Familiar
to say
Menti.
about that. We're gonna see a little bit of healing here. This Xuan Li
จบแล้วดิ
is in trouble because she does not have anything to protect her. and
XC
she
ตาย
might
เอ้ย
go
เอล
down.
ตาย
Oh my god, the
Oh,
damage!
so
ตายแล้ว
close.
ปะ
Does he just go for the Sharon here? I feel like you just
ผม
target
ผมว่าไม่ตาย
Sharon.
ว่ะ
You
เออ
want
ไม่
to
น่าจะ
get
ไม่ตาย
that taunt on and you want to cycle fast.
ไม่ตายดิ
No, he's going for
เด้ง
the
ขึ้นมา
S2, getting the
แต่ว่า
down on everybody.
Yeah, he really wants his Assault to actually
Oh,
take a turn here because she hasn't taken a turn just yet. But if she can take a very good turn, she might be able to finish off this.
อุ้ยได้อยู่ได้อยู่ได้อยู่
Oh,
XC
hold
ตาย
up.
อะอย่างงี้เอ้ยไม่ดิอ๋อ XC โดนรีคูลดาวน์ใช่ตาย
S2 should kill off or Amber at the very
อุ๊ยไม่
least
ตายว่ะ
this Jean Chi.
หรือว่าตาย
Amber would do a lot.
ตายโอเค
Oh!
มีแต่ตายไม่ตายตอนนี้
The Kathos has
Oh,
been
that
putting on that
fast.
แรงจัด
increased cooldown time on the Amber, and Amber's gone.
อ๋อเพราะตัวซ้ายมัน
So
มันบางนี่
She
ลืม
is done. Oh, hold up. The situation is
Oh.
looking really good for Keka once again.
อุ้ยโอ้
And
Tái
the
ơi.
Luan's
ตาย
done.
เลยลูกอันบางจัด
That might be
Just
GG.
that is looking like GG. That Kethos landing at
Oh.
the perfect time, coming in clutch. This was looking rough for a little bit there, but
ผ
just
มว่า
in
อัน
the
นี้
round.
ยัดเซ
Do
ล
you
นะ
think that missing the taunt in the
เอ๊ะ
first turn
เปล่าวะเนี่ย
led to this, or
เมียน
would
ติ
it matter at all?
แต่ว่า
I
ถ้า
feel
เฟีย
like
เมียน
the
ติเรา
Shawnee
เหนื่อย
and
ไหม
Kethos kind of
ไม่
carried the
ไม่
game.
ให้เราดีไปถึงคิกเกอร์
I feel like missing the taunt is still pretty big though, because it pushes back the rest of the team and pushes your team up. So I feel like it
โดน
was
อันติ
a
ปะ
lot of
เฟี
damage
ย
as well from those dots.
โอ้โห
You can
สอง
see
เด้
the
ง
amount of health seal that is on both the
เฮ้ยแต่
assault
แซงรอบ
and
สองนะ
Etheria, but we'll never know. The
เอ๊ะเดี๋ยวนะ
kills off the
แปะ
Janchi.
อ๋อ
Can this assault do
ห้าม
it?
ล้างมันนี่ไปแล้ว
I
มันหลุด
don't
ไปแล้ว
think so. She has no more of her special buff to survive.
อ้าวกดไม่ติ
Oh
ด
wait, she's getting a turn. The
กดไม่ติด
pushback fail. Oh, hold up. But I
Oh,
think the Fia is gonna die to the dots though. So I mean, not much that you can
เออ
do.
ผมว่าตี
though.
ขวานะ
if
เอา
he
ชัวร์
had battle willed there, he might
Ah.
have got another stack and then been able to do it. But no, it's
โอ้โห
GG.
พี่เก๊ก
Kecker
ทำเสี่ยวอัน
going
เนี้ย
through with the 2-1. That was a super close set.
Wow, Kanka keeping the hope
คิดว่า
for
MVP ครับ
global
รี
server
คูลดาวน์
moving
แอมเบอร์
on
ฆ่า
to
ไป
the
2 ตัวเนี่ย
semi-final. Will he make it to the final round? We don't know just yet, but we saw Kanka put up a pretty good show here for us today.
We definitely did. And who would you say was the MVP of that game? Would you think it's the Jean Li, or is it that Kethos with that cooldown increase that kind of took the
แต่ถ้าวัด
edge
จาก
away
ดาเมจ
from
น่าจะ
the
ส้นหลี
side
นะ
of
ถ้า MVP
Aha Swift?
แต่ผมว่าถ้าเกิดแบบความสำคัญน่าจะเคทอสแหละ รีคูลดาวน์ แอมเบอร์ 2 ตัว
and then died due to not having Amber. And then Kethos also stole the turn of the Assault at the right moment. So Assault played one turn the entire game. So she couldn't really do a whole lot right there. And the increased cooldown time also allowed the Xuan Li to kill off the very fast but squishy Loan through the Amber. So I think overall Kethos just completely destroyed Aha Swift right there.
Yeah, Kethos still looking super strong, especially if you compare him alongside other super strong units like that Fushu, Zhangxi, and Sharon, all seeming to do very well at the moment. So we have our 4 people through. Is it 4? No. Yes.
1 global
4 people
2
through
จีน
8
1 เอเชีย
can't count.
เกือบแล้ว global เกือบ
We
ต
are
กหมด
far left, Bob. We are
ถ้าเกิด
far
มี
left.
แบบ
And one of them from
16 คนมี 6 คน
one
แล้ว
of them from
รอบ
Asia,
4 คนคือไม่เหลือสักคนที่
specifically, I think
เหงาอยู่
Korea server, and
Yeah.
2 from China. So China looking like they might bring home the champion title once again.
Yeah, and
เพื่อส้นหลี
interestingly
MVP
though,
แต่ว่า
I
มัน
think we have it's global versus CN on one side of the bracket and CN versus Asia on another side. So we could see an all CN final, or we
ผมว่า
could
จุด
see
ที่
a
สวย
bit
ก็
of
คือ
a mix-up.
จังหวะ
Maybe,
โลวานไว
the player
มาร์ค
from Korea
ชาลอน
server
แต่ชาลอน
actually
ไม่โดนทอน
make
เฉย
it
เลย
to the final and
กลายเป็น
make
ว่า
it
ได้อัน
very
ติรอบหนึง
intense because that could be their first champion title in Etheria Restart.
I think that would be pretty exciting. If we've had global champions, we've had CN last time. Do we get an Asia representative winning this time from Korea? Who knows? We'll need to find out in the next couple of games. But all of these players now have seen multiple games from each other. Do you think there's something that some of these players have taken away that they're maybe going to change up for playing against specific people?
I think maybe someone gonna finally put some respect on pre-banning Sharon at some point because she has been absolutely working on different kind of draft right there for sure.
I will say, I'm very surprised that with the amount of Sharon that we've not seen all that much Catchy the Guard played into her. Most people are opting for different things at the moment, and it just surprises me because on ladder you're seeing a lot of Catchy the Guard lock into those Sharon picks, whereas in this tournament you're not really seeing it as much.
I feel like they just really like the comfort healer lock and they are racing to always lock Etheria or Fuchu. But I think that is why Sharon has been super popular because these players they refuse to lock Catchy the Guard.
เพราะกดคาชิมา มัน
because
แพ้
Catchy
เฟีย
the
ดิ
Guard does not
เหนื่อยอยู่
provide any healing, so maybe it's not very comfortable for them to
กลายว่าถ้าเกิดเรา
put the unit in
ผ
the
มว่า
lock position.
จะกด
And we also saw
คาชิ
that
ตอนที่มี
X actually lock Catchy and
ชื่ออะไรนะ
lost.
ซิลเวีย
So
พิก
maybe
แรกอะ
Catchy
ถึงจะ
might
เก่
not
ง
be
ผ
as
มว่า
good in the lock position for these players.
หรือไม่ก็2 ดาเมจ พิกแรก
So these are the
2 damage
matchups that
มี
we're
เคทอส
seeing
มี
coming
โล
up
วาน มี
next.
XC
We
อะไร
have the 2 semi-finals, and it will be between, is it Lucky Loon versus Yon Yong? And
Lucky
then
Loon
we have
on
Ming
Yong
versus Kecker. The winner of both those matches will
Ming,
go into the
Kecker.
grand final place, whereas the loser of both those matches will be playing for third place. So just a reminder that first place will be taking home, I believe, $3,000. Second place will be taking home $1,500, and third place will be taking home $500. So a lot to play for, Sean.
Yeah, you are pretty much almost guaranteed yourself some money on the line at this point, so that's gonna be a comfortable feeling. But it is Etheria style; it's competitive, so we want to play for the champion title. And Keka, I think, will definitely want a revenge. He went out as a third place in the previous Hyperlinker Cup, so
Yeah.
I think he wants to regain that champion title this time around, especially with the last time champion and runner-up gone. So technically, he is the strongest player of the ball in this bracket that we're seeing right here.
He is, but we have seen a lot of the games go all the distance. We are going to go for a break now, and we will be back in 5 minutes. So
โอเค
see you
พัก 5
guys
นาที
with
ครับ
some more exciting games after that.
เดี๋ยวผมไปนี่ก่อน เข้า ID ผิดเฉย ไปเข้า ID ที่แบบว่าเคยรี ID ไว้ผมยังไม่ได้เล่นอาทีเลยบอสก็ยังไม่ตีขี้เกียจจัด แสนอันนี้พักอยู่นะครับน่าจะ5 ทีตอนนี้เหลืออีก3มั้งเดี๋ยวถ้ามาแล้วเดี๋ยวผมสลับจอไปเอ้ายักษ์ไหลคุณว่าตรงนี้มีโดกิไปก่อนเฮ้ยมาแล้วเหรอมาแล้วโอเคผมปิดเสียงกันมาไวจังก็ดี
You will see pick very early, or they don't even know Luvia exists for some players. Kind of funny, but for these two, Luvia Lily are going to be very early picks.
Yeah, so instead of going for the Fushu this time, opting for that Fiamelia. The Fiamelia is on Archon, so looking to resist some of those debuffs. At the moment, on the side of Lucky Loon, only really has that
Lucky Loon,
damage, but you only really need one damage dealer when paired with that Lily, because you have the option of linking up with them and getting 2 turns for the price of 1.
Oh, Sharon getting picked up as well, and the Lilium immediately getting picked up to counter the Sharon, and we might see another strong damage dealer in the last slot here, because when you go Lily, you gotta go quick. I don't think you can afford
ผมว่ายังไงพลิกท้ายก็
but we also saw that this exact draft when Lilium getting abused by AoE damage, which means there could be a Rayberry last pick from the enemy, but Rayberry is being picked up by the Lily player.
Yeah, but it's Raymarie on Gator into Sharon. I don't know if I really like that, because it's just basically putting a clock on your Raymarie. As soon as that Sharon presses S3 and gets those dots down, the Raymarie is effectively dead. So what is he going to pick here on 5 to round out this draft? Does he go
Maybe
for another damage dealer or more supportive unit?
Maybe just mean
Valerian.
Lilium gotta
แสดงว่า
finish
Valerian
off
อย่างงี้
quick
ทำไม
or the Lowen has to permanently lock down this
เพราะว่า Valerian แล้ว
Sharon but the Valerian's gonna be there to buy the Sharon Tam so that she can shut down this Raymary.
Yeah, I kind of like the Valyrian here on 5 is pretty good into both the Lilium, Raymary, and Loan. So kind of has options in terms of who he wants to ban here.
เนี่ยต้องแบนลิเลียม
Who would
นะ
you ban if
ไม่งั้น
you were on the
สู้ไม่ได้
side of Lucky Loon?
Man, this is really, really tough, and we have
ไม่รู้ว่าได้
achieved
แต่ผมไม่
the
ชอบให้แบบ
ban,
ลิเลียมกับ
and
ต้องแบนลิเลียม
Lilium's gonna be the ban. I think
ถ้าลิเลียม
this
อยู่กับเลมัน
Raymary is gonna
มันไม่กลัว
struggle
วาเลเรียนเลยซ้ำ
killing anyone
มัน
over there,
execute
even with the support
ทะลุ
of the
โล่
Lowen.
I will say though, I think that the side from Yongyong is on a bit of a clock here because the Sharon, will it be able to deal enough damage to get through all of this? I would assume so because the Raymary is on Gator, but the Loan is there.
Oh, I guess the Luvia is pretty much gone from this round, and
กดสองนะอันนี้
everything is on that Sharon at this point. So, is this Sharon's gonna be able to do enough? Unfortunately, this Sharon is not on Jackal Guard, so that's gonna nerf her ability to turn cycle quite a fair bit compared to a Jackal Guard build.
Yeah, but the one good thing about being on the Moon Bunny is if the Loan ever swaps the S3 over to the Sharon, there's a good chance that by that time she'll have some of those stacks. So she might be able to still get some S3s off, even if the Loan was to target her.
Wait, is this Luvia lagging?
อ้าวทำไม
I
ลูเวีย
mean,
ไม่
I think
you don't really have an
บั๊กเหร
option,
อ
right? You can
หลุดเหรอ
only
หรืออะไร
steal
อะ
one into one thing.
เพราะว่า
So, not too sure about that.
มัน
But
มัน
Luvia
บังคับไม่ได้
gone
นี่
from
ถูกไหม
the field.
มัน
We have
โดนทอนอะ
Sharon dropping the S3
นี่กดหนึ่ง
here,
นะ
but
ดีกว่า
you can't really do that due to the immunity coming out from this Sylvia.
Do you just go for the S1 here then? Try and strip off those immunities on the side of Lucky Loon? Or do you just send the S3 anyway? Try and cycle back around. What would your play be, Sean?
ไม่ดิกดอันติก็ไม่มีผลดีป่ะมันมีโล่หมดเลยอ่ะมันดูดเก็บไม่ได้
From the turn meter
ต้องหนึ่ง
gain
เท่านั้น
of the S1 and not wasting the multiple dot opportunity.
ดูเวโดนยั่วอยู่เล็งอะไรจริงบอทมันต้องตีให้เลยถูกป่ะมันข้ามเทิร์นเลย
Sharon lose a
ผมงง
lot
เลย
of value because she can just take all of that debuff
ก็
off.
เหมือนเคยเจอในแรงอยู่นะหมายถึงว่าแบบ
The
อย่างเงี้ย
Fia's
ไม่รู้
still
เพราะอะไร
doing pretty decent
แบบโดน
damage
ทอน
into
แล้ว
this Loan.
กลายว่าฝั่งนู้น
Almost half HP
มันได้
here
คิดเฉย
with
เลย
that one
แบบมัน
S3. The
มัน
Raymary
ต้อง
is
นับ
here,
เว
but
ลา
the
ยังไง
Raymary's
ไม่รู้
not going to be doing all that much through the Valyrian. I don't know whether he just goes for goes for the S3. I thought he might just go for an S1 and try and land a cheeky stun on somebody, but instead decides to opt for that S3, trying to stack up those Raymary stacks early.
I think he's trying to get this Luvia out of the game as quickly as possible, and definitely achieving that goal right there with this Lowen constantly
net
putting a lot
gap.
of pressure, and maybe one more turn, and this Raymond is going to be able to finish off the Luvia.
And got the cooldown increase on the Sharon, which is pretty massive for him. So it's going to
Reset
be
ได้นะ
even longer before he's able to deal with this Raymary. The
รีเซ็ต
Raymary
แล้ว
is
ก็
at 80 stacks, and he's able to get
รอ
rid of all
SDQ
the shielding here with that Sylvia S3.
แต่ยกเว้นว่ามันจะครบร้อยก่อน
this
อะ
Luvia not looking so hot
ดึง
right
เล
now
ป่ะผมว่าดึงเลนะ
because one more
ไม่ต้อง
hit
ดึงอะ
and she's going to be off the Valerian. Valerian does not have the skill 2 to protect her
หลับอะ
any longer, and
ต้องหลับ
Fia Amelia does
ต้องหลั
not
บ
have
นี่
the
ป่ะ
skill 3
ต้องหลั
as
บเลยป่ะ
well. So there is
ไม่รู้ว่าหลับ
no
ว่า
way to protect this Luvia from being one shot, and the
ไม่ติด
Sharon is going to be the next target
resist.
for the Lowen.
The Raymary resisted the sleep coming out from the Valyrian. I think you just go for the S. Oh, I would have probably went for the S2 there. Just tried to do as much damage as possible and proc the Ray.
I think he's probably just don't want to give like the Fia Amelia more ammo, but oh my
Oh,
god!
and a stun!
The only
Stun
chance for the
on
Sharon to do
Sharon.
anything.
Oh, the
That is
Sharon's
so
not getting
sad.
to play the game.
ลิลลี่
But
ระหว่าง
now
คือ
the
โคตร
Loan just
ดุ
gets to put the S3 on the Sharon, and that is just kind of GG. Oh, instead
ไม่ติด
opts to go on the Fia, just because he's already landed the S1 taunt on the Sharon, has that kind of little bit of leeway and where he
โอ้ย
goes.
โล่ไหมเนี่ยไม่ติดเลยทอน
I think this was pretty much over. I think Sharon alone is going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, especially with the 2-turn immunity and the bunny on 2 unit. And the two unit that does not have immunity have Amber, which directly counter the Sharon.
And he
Oh
lands
my
the
god!
John
โดนถอน
again. I wonder if this Loan
แล้วคือเป็น
has
ตัวที่ไม่โดน
any
มาร์ก
form
แต่
of
ว่าถอน
accuracy, 'cause
เรื่อย
he is
ๆ
hitting
แต่ตัวที่โดน
everyone.
มาร์กคือไม่ติดถอนเลย
Yeah, hitting the accuracy
ตายปะ
off
15ปะผมว่าเกินปะอันนี้
randomly like that is pretty crazy. And I
เกิน
think
นะ
And the
oh my
stun
ตัน
god!
อีกแล้วเฮ้ย
Oh
เล่
my,
ตันทุก
making
เทิร์นเลย
fun of this guy at
เล่
this
ตันโคตร
point.
บ่อย
Oh my
โลวัน
days.
ถอนโคตรบ่อย
Wow.
He's
This
not
Sharon
getting to play the game. He's playing a CC team with no CC.
is playing a season
ไม่ได้ที่เล่นทีมแทงค์แต่ว่าเล่นทีม CC นะอันนี้
proc chance. That
ชาลอน
is
ไม่ใช่ชาลอน
insane.
โลวานเล
Unfortunately for
กดหนึ่ง
Young,
CC
he is
รัว
off to a great start in this round, and game
Wow.
one goes the way of Lucky.
ๆภาพไม่เท่ากันมันเลยต้องรอครับอ๋อ
I wonder what he's going to mix up for
They are
that
ping
game
up.
too. That looked pretty convincing. I feel like he maybe thought that his Luvia was faster than the Lily, and that's why he opted to go for that Fia. But as soon as you get outsped and you're letting that Loan through, you know your Luvia is not going to be doing much for the whole game. She's just going to get controlled and killed, and that's what we've seen happen. So I feel like if you're playing that Luvia, you either need to be fast enough to go first and take control of the game, or you need to have some way of dealing with something like Loan.
Yeah, it's just tough because Loan is so hard to deal with when your main CC unit gets CC by Loan. And that is how Loan started off in the meta as an anti-CC unit. The moment she back in the day controlled the vet, the horror meal, and now she's moved on to controlling Luvia and Sharon, and she is just perfect for that job.
Yeah, she is so strong. And I think before the game, you were talking about some players, we see Luvia all the time. Other players, we barely even know they exist. I feel like that's one of the things that kind of differentiates. If you're fast enough to play
Lily
Luvia,
Kang
I feel
โหด
like
จริงครับ
she's a super strong pick. But
ผมว่า
when
ลิ
the
ลี่กลาง
opponent's
แพ้
faster than you,
แพ้พ
I
ลู
feel
ปะ
like her priority goes
มัน
down.
ต้องลดบัฟสปีดให้ออกเรื่อย
Maybe I think you just have to put it on Moon Bunny at least, so that you
Have
get
Boom
hit by
Editing อะไรเงี้ย
Loan, at least you can still exile somebody before you get
แต่ว่าเราต้องไม่โดน
permanently
เบิร์ด
controlled
ตาย
by
ก่อน
the
อะ
unit. And the Codex of Magic, we saw that in the stat yesterday, was very popular for Asia server, but not very popular on the global or the CN server. Maybe for that exact
ลิลลี่คัม
reason,
แบ็กบุยซีอ่ะ
Loan
บุยเซอร์บวกซีซี
Mm.
you have to be on Moon Bunny.
Yeah, Moon Bunny would give you that option, as you say, to get that S3 off. You can send it on anybody else except for the Loan. But Codex, if you're able to get that first turn, just offers you so much more pressure. So it's that kind of trade-off. Are you going first and want to run the Codex because you get that value from it, or are you going second, in which case Moon Bunny's just better?
Indeed. And I think we saw that right there. Then Codex is just so much riskier unless you are very confident in your speed. In this case, he was not. So if he was confident in his speed, I think his last pick would not be a Valerian, but it will probably be some sort of Doki or Turandot in the last pick. But he went for a Valerian because he wants to survive.
I wonder what he's going to change up for this game too. I wonder if we'll see a higher priority on Luan or a lower priority on Luvia, because those are the things. Oh, instead we're seeing a Lily pre-ban. I like this, because in the last couple of games we've seen from Lucky Alun, he has locked that Lily every single game.
Oh, he took away
ถ้า
the
แก้ไม่ได้ก็
top
ต้องแบนไปเลย
set
นะ
of Lucky Illusion right
ถ้าเกิด
there.
เราก็
Unyoung's
ไป
gonna go
แบ
for
นอาเทนใน
the
เกมเอา
top
ไม่งั้นตัว
first
ลิลลี่
pick.
กลางทุกเกมแล้วแก้ไม่ได้มัน
What
สู้
is
ยาก
it
อะ
going to be? We've got
Come
a
on.
Sylvia coming out from Lucky Illusion. Is he going to try now speed Oyon now, knowing that his top speed set is in the pre-ban slot?
Maybe we might still see that Luvia come out then if he is confident.
ไม่เจอแมสยา
that
เล
he
ยแม
doesn't
สยา
have
ไปไหน
another
วะแมสยา
unit
โคตรเก่งเลย
that
เว้ย
could
ไม่เจอคนเล่นเลย
potentially speed it. There might still be a Doki hiding there in the background, and there's always that Turandot that's potentially lurking. He is going for that Luvia, and then he's going for the Catchy the Guard. Some people are running top speed Catchy the Guard, so it may
ผมว่า
be
คาชิ
even faster
เจอซิเวียไม่ค่อย
than
เก่งปะ
Luvia.
มัน
Oh, we've got a female
มัน
Amelia
รีเซ็ต
locked
หมดเลย
right
อะ
there.
บัฟที่บัฟ
And
มา
he's giving up turn
Reset
one,
gate,
going for the
reset
turn
buff.
two with the Swansea and the Fia. Swansea in this situation is being picked very late in the draft. It's kind of interesting to see what kind of
It's very
OP
interesting.
unit people prioritize. And this for these two, Swansea is not it.
I feel like Sharon's not really good in either of these drafts. You have the
หน้า
Capture
ตา
the
น่าจะ
Guard,
โชว์
but
เช
then
ล
you're
คนดูได้
having to get through
จะได้คิด
two
ตามครับ
different ambers
จริงๆโชว์แต่มันโชว์
one
แบบ
of
ตอน
them
นิดเดียว
being
อะ
Loan.
ตอนที่เลือกตัวแล้วมัน
I
ขึ้น
don't
นิด
know
เดียว
if I like
ต้องดูให้ทันเนี่ย
But
เนี่ยประมาณเนี้ย
opting to go for the Sharon here, what does he pick
Ah,
on
แล้วนี่มัน
5 to
นี่
round out his draft? I feel like
มัน
he
ขึ้นแป๊บ
either
เดียว
needs a healer or some other form of damage to just go
I think
all in.
I think he needs a Rayberry at this point.
I
So
feel like
either get
Rayberry is
through the
actually
Amber.
a very good pick. No, he's going for the Asal.
So I think the better pick for Sharon would have been like
แบนลิเลียม
Rayberry
100%
or
อย่างงี้
Asal.
โด
I
น
think
ฟอร์ส
that would be pretty
เพราะว่าถ้าแบน
good
แอสซัล
into this
ลิเลียม
potentially longer fight here. But
ลิ
the
เลียม
Sharon
ลั่น
seems
เลย
to be
งั้นก็ต้องแบนลิเลียมถ้าไม่แบนแพ้เลยวะ
underwhelming into 2 healers and a Lilium.
Yeah, we'll need to see how this plays out. Who are the bans going to be? The Asal does put a bit of a clock on the game if it gets through the draft. So I don't know if that would potentially get removed. And I feel like you either have to remove the Luan or the Lilium. The Lilium is removed and the Asal is removed. So that clock is no longer there. And he does still have the Ambers as a bit of safety against the Sharon.
All right, here we go, guys. First turn belongs to Kachi the Guard and Sylvia. I mean, not Sylvia, Luvia. So
Kachi ออกก่อน
there
นะ
will be some unit gone from the field for a long duration of time.
Yeah, and who is it going to be? I would assume it's either the Luan or the XC. It is
Luan.
the Luan, so not wanting anybody to get S3'd
แต่ว่า
probably
มัน
allows him to try
มัน
and
จะฆ่าได้
work
ไหมเนี่ย
down this XC over time
มัน
while
มี
the
ทั้งเฟีย
Luan
มีทั้ง
is
ไอ้
in
เนี่ย
exile.
กายมูลเนี่ยมันรีเซ็ตเลยอะ
We got the strip from
คาชิบัฟ
Sylvia.
มาหายหมดเลย
That's gonna allow the XC to start doing some crazy damage as well. Unyong team does not have any healing, so that's gonna be a small problem over there.
He does steal the turn
ก็ต้อง
away from the XC. I would
ก็ต้อง
assume
ต
he
บ
needs to go
XC
for
ปะ
the S3 here to get the
หรือว่า
death
ไม่
break and then go
ตบไป
all
สี่อยู่
in
ดี
on
ถึง
him.
เกตจะไม่สูง เพราะว่ามันจะได้
does
ลด
the
เลือด
Layer from the Kachi.
เว้ยแต่เอ็กซียังเฟียยังไม่ได้อันตีนี่
So
Big
if
skill
he
two
get
coming out.
ลบไม่ออก
I'm sorry about.
This is,
ลบ
this
ไม่
is
ออก
where the Codex will actually come in very clutch because he has that option as soon as the Luan comes out
ถ้าลบ
of
ออกนี่
the exile, he can just send
เฟีย
it
ล้างตัวเองไม่ได้
straight
เอ้า
back
มัน
in
สอง
again.
เด้งนะ
Or if it's at the point where he
สอง
just
เด้ง
needs to get rid
อั
of
น
the
ตี
Fear
ก่อน
to
แล้วก็ได้
get
เธ
rid
อ
of
อี
the
กรอบ
healing,
หนึ่
he
ง
can then choose to get rid of her.
เว้ย
Because
แต่ว่า
now all the
คาชิ
immunity
เลือดเยอะอยู่
and the Moon Bunny is gone
เธอ
on
หน้า
the
ได้
side of
นี่
Lucky
ละ
Loon.
ได้อันตีละ
And let's see if the damage is going to be enough to bring down this Swan Chi quickly enough. Unfortunately, he is still kind of healthy, but at least the defense break is going to stay on him for a long duration of time. And that nerfed the damage of the Swan Chi quite a fair bit.
ผมว่ารอบ
And
นี้
that
ต้องนี่แหละ
strip, unfortunately, also give the enemy a
ต้องหุบ
lot of turn meter
หุบใคร
with
อะ
the Catchy the God
หุบ
passive.
เฟียโอ้เฟียปะ
Yeah, and
รอบ
now
นี้
does he choose
เพราะว่ารี
to
คูลดาวน์นี่ไปแล้วนี่
exile the
รีคูลดาวน์
Luan again,
โลวาน
or
ไปแล้ว
does he go for someone else? Potentially look to remove even the Fia to remove
ผม
the
ว่า
healing.
หุบ
I
เฟีย
feel
นะ
like you have to get rid of the Luan though, because if she's ever able to press S3, I feel like the game's just over.
เพราะว่าโลวาน
I
โด
think
น
we'll
รี
get
คูลดาวน์
a
แล้วนี่
Fear here and try to
bit of
do
fear off.
even
Oh.
more damage because everything is kind of open right now because the Sylvia does not have any skill for quite some time. And if you want to kill the enemy team, maybe now is the time. And you have a pushback from the Kachi the God as well. So Lowen is not moving anytime soon.
Yeah, and he did actually land the cooldown increase as well onto the Luan, so he does have a bit of a window there where she's not able to do anything. But we did see in that last game, every single S1 she sent, regardless of whether they had the exaltation, was landing taunt. So maybe this is a bit of an accuracy Luan.
ต้องรีบฆ่าโลวาน
Oh, we got the Sharon skill 3 coming back soon, but not
อ๋อ
quite
แต่วันนี้
yet.
จะตายแล้ว
But she might be able to do enough damage to finish off this Sylvia, and that is going to be huge for Onyong.
Yeah, and next turn, the Kethos will have the S3 back into the S2 combo. If he can try and sync up the Kethos cooldown increase with
จะฮิว
that
ขึ้นมา
Sharon S3 popping the damage, he
ไม่
could
ตายสักที
potentially be able to get rid of these ambers
โอ้ย
without
เจ็บ
propping
นะ
Oh, almost killed the Sylvia.
เผลอๆตายเนี่ย
right
เธอ
there.
นี้ไม่ตายว่ะ
Lowen
มีโดน
is
เด็บ
actually in
ไม่ตายไม่
a
ตาย
very rough spot. She does not have any skill, and her HP is pretty low. But there might be a small window to come back here, unless the
โอ้ย
Kethos
จะ
completely
ถอนเหรอ
shut
อัน
his
นี้เม
team
นตี
down.
ละ
He didn't land the taunt, so he's going to get the S3 off here. And then if the Kethos is able to get this S3, S2 off, it's looking kind of rough. I will say, though, on the side of Yongyong, his Luvia and Kachi are both pretty low. So when this Fia
ต้องฆ่า
eventually
ต้องฆ่า
does
ซิเวียก่อน
come
นะ
out, I feel
ซิเวีย
like S3 might just finish both them.
โอ้ยโอ้แต่ว่า ตายไหม
I think
เหมือน
that
จะตายนะ
Sylvia
โอเค
is done for
Oh,
and
Sylvia's
he
down.
has
เลือดโอ้โห
He's
เลือดนิดเดียว
so
looking good
ตายปะซ้ายอ๋อเข้าเทิร์นตายอยู่แล้วนะ
And
เว้ย
the
เล่น
Loan's
เล่น
gonna
เปย์ไหม
take a massive
เว้ยแต่
chunk
ไม่
of
ไม่ตาย
damage here.
นิดเดียว
He got
Oh,
out of the
Swansea.
amber. He has a chance
อุ้ย
here.
แรงจัด
Oh, the comeback might be
Oh.
possible
เอ้า
oh
อ๋อ
the
อ๋อ
amber
โดนห้าม
oh
ฮิว
he
อยู่
has no
โอเค
HP and that might stop the healing
And
and stop the damage from
he
the
lands
Swansea
the
as well
he lands the cooldown increase as well onto the Fia, which is massive.
คายซีนะเอ้ย
Okay,
อีกซี
all
ไว
gonna
จัง
be
วะ
Sharon now can she
บาย
finish
บาย
off the Swansea because
คา
if
ชี
she
ปะ
does
คาชีไปก่อน
I think the game is over I don't think Fia Amelia alone can
so
beat 2
close.
HP scaler
But this Zhangqi is going to cycle super quickly with this Sharon hitting her.
อุ้ยไม่ตายนะ
Sharon
อีซี
has
ยังไม่ตายนะ
still
เข้าเทิร์นนี้
Is
she
it
will
enough
probably
damage?
live through this I think this might
Wait.
be enough
Oh, it's so close.
the damage is crazy here comes
But I
skill
feel-
3
I feel like she dies. He doesn't send it.
Ui,
He
lên
doesn't
đi, lên
want
đi,
to
lên đi.
send it.
he did on
Oli
straight
cooldown
up
mớiได้
with
ว่ะ
Fia and that's very
Đi mà
very
nè.
smart but unfortunately I think the Fia is gonna go in front no he get
No.
เอ้าแซงขึ้นมา
out before the Fia gets
ตายปะ
to move oh
That
that
is
might destroy the Fia
massive.
completely
สาม
I
เก้า
feel
สแต็ก
like the S3 from the Fia was going to kill off the Sharon there.
เก้าส
and
แต็ก
will this
ตายเลย
kill? It
โอ้
does.
โหโอ้ทำมันโคตรเร็วเลยอะ
Massive
แซงขึ้นมาได้ไง
comeback there from
ตาสปีดก็ไม่มีอะ
Vanguard.
เมื่อกี้
It's
ผมงง
going
ว่ะ
to game
แรง
3.
เร็วจัด
Both of these players trying their hardest to make it to the final, and it is coming down to the wire.
มีคนชอบเล่นแมสนะ แต่ตกรอบแรกไปแล้ว เกมไม่งปล่อยให้เฟียร์ดิ้งขนาดนี้ได้ไง
dot damage is kind of unpredictable with the Sharon on the field because with the bloodbath interaction you don't really know if you're gonna live but
แต่ดูจากข้างนอกก็
sometimes the damage is
ไม่รู้
more
บอกไม่ได้นะ
than
ว่าใครชนะ
you
ใช่ไหม
you and especially for a unit like
ถ้าเกิดเล่น
Fia,
พลาดเพลงหนึ่ง
if
ก็
you live you might turn the game around but if they
ออน
just
ยงก็
do
พลิก
enough
มาแพ้ได้
damage
เลย
for you, it's immediately over
Yeah, you seen there that final pop.
ช่วงนี้
from the Fia,
XL เขาใส่ของกันยังไงครับ
56,000 damage. Probably some of the highest
ก็
damage numbers
มาตรฐานครับ
you're ever gonna
ไอ
see in
อี
it.
กา
But
สวิฟ
Dot,
8
before the
ปัด
release
บาร์
of
12
Sharon
แล้วก็
was
ซีรี
kind
ส์
of
6
one of these things that just tickled and did
เท่าที่
nothing.
เห็น
With Sharon
หลายคน
on the
ใส่อย่างนี้
field,
หมดเลยนะ
it is
เก็กเกอร์ใส่
insane damage.
อย่างนี้
Indeed.
ใส่อย่างนี้กับหมดเลยยกเว้นมีคนหนึ่งเขาใส่ 12 สวิฟแล้วก็ 12 วัตต์บาร์ ผมว่าอันนั้นมันจะเร็วจริงแต่มันจะไม่คีเลทไม่ร้อย
So with Sharon on the field, the dot become 10-11%, and it is so deadly into all these bruiser unit. And Sharon, wow, what an absolute treat! Look at that damage number.
77% damage in the whole match, and she dealt 77% in 7 turns, so 11% damage every single turn. Kind of crazy. And the other thing is, she's also cycling your
77%
team
ดาเมจ
because she pushes back while also pulling up your team. She's just a completely loaded kit.
And he also drafted Sharon together with Kachi the guard, and that took away the counterplay to Sharon. We were kind of doubting the
อันนี้คือ
Sharon
1-1
pick a
ถู
little
กไหม
bit
โอ้ยนานอีก
because we saw Amber, we saw Sylvia, but turns out Sharon was more than just Dot. She is the main damage dealer for the team the entire time.
Yeah, she did insane. And I really liked the adaptation there from Young Young. Removing that Lily, which was a bit of a comfort pick for Lucky Loon at the moment. And then he could just deal with a more kind of standard draft. I wonder what the adaptation, if any, is going to be from Lucky Loon that we see in
อย่าง
this
นี้
final
แผ
game.
ดหน้าบัฟเฟียครับทำไมพวกบัฟแดงเล่นได้อยู่
Planting is about to happen. Is he going back into the Lily? He will pre-ban the Lily, but Nathan is open. We have a Lowan pre-ban. So first pick for On Young is going to be the Amber Nathan.
ผมใส่
Amber
8 สวิฟ
Nathan
แล้วรู้สึก
taken,
ช้า
and
ๆ แอ
then
บ
he gets the
คิดว่า
Kathos
จะทำเร็วอยู่
alongside. What is he going to take?
มัน
Loan is
มันต้อง
actually taken
ถ้าเกิด
out
ใส่
in this
8
game, so
มันจะ
taking
หยิบ
the
พัมเพื่อนไม่ได้แต่ถ้าเกิดแบบ
Sylvia
ไม่มีตัว
alongside
แก้
the
มัน
Kathos.
โคตรเก่งเลย ถ้าเกิดมันเคลี
Which
ยร์
also allow the enemy to lock the Luvia maybe.
ตี
Or
คลี
to go
เรื่อย
like Luvia Kachi the guard so that he can have Sharon open in the last 2, and that's going to be quite scary for Lucky Loon to deal with.
Yeah, maybe he has a plan though, letting this Nathan through. Because if you let Nathan through, you have to assume the opponent is going to take it. So maybe going to pull out something here just as a bit of a surprise. Could potentially be something like a turn dot and then look to go into cleave, or could even lock a Messiah.
I think
K
it's gonna lock
toss
Choo-Choo
Sylvia.
into something. But he steals Sharon for
Locking the
himself.
Sharon.
ๆ นาเทสหลุดเหรอ
Taking the Sharon and then also going with
Oh.
the XL. So sees the Fia unlock, knows he can't lock the Catchy. So and already has one of the good answers into Sharon with that Sylvia. So if the Catchy's now picked on 4-5, could just potentially remove it.
Wow, look at that. A lot of damage, but
ว่าคาชิแล้วป่ะเพราะว่าเมื่อกี้เขาก็หยิบคาชิ
there,
คนนี้
maybe into a Tiamat or Ray Mary for the last pick, or even a Sao as well. A lot of different kind of option for him right there. But we also have to think about the Nathan first pick being there. Just
แสดงว่าจะแบนอะไรอ่ะจะแบนเคทอสเหรอ
if you don't
กด
ban
ฟูชิว
him.
มา
Yeah, so at the moment,
ผมว่าไง
it's
เขาต้อ
a
งแบน
bit
5
of
ป่ะ
a
ถ้าแบบตาม
going
คอมม
for
อน
the
เซน
Lilium on 5. So answering into that Sharon, trying to force the ban on the Lilium. I will say on the side of Lucky Loon though, he has that XL, which gives him a lot of options to actually deal with that Lilium. So I don't even know if it's a forced ban. And then also goes for the Asal.
เขาไม่แบนลิเลียมได้อย่างงี้นะไม่แบนลิ
Putting
เลี
a
ยม
bit of a timer on the game, especially when you have people like Fia and
ยังไง
Fushu on your team
ยังไง
who
ต้องแบน
aren't
แอสซัล
actively
นะ
dealing damage, just
ถู
trying
กไหม
to keep your team
แล้ว
alive.
สปีด2 ตัว
Asal loves
ถ้าแอสซัลได้ยืน
playing
คือ
with
วนยับ
Yep, and that's
แต่
gonna
เพ
be
ราะว่าจะแบน
perfect
ซิลเวียไปก็มีบัฟ
to deal with.
สปีดส้นหลีอยู่ดี
So, what is going to be the ban here? Is it going to be Nathan ban, like usual, or is he going to let the Nathan stay? The Nathan
ว่าไงต้องแบน
will
แอสซัล
not
นะ
stay, and Sean Lee
ไม่มีตัวฆ่า
as well.
เอ้าแบน
So
ส้นหลีเหรอ
both team have the healer, have the damage dealer, and a sounds can make sure that we will not go to 100 turns in this match.
อ๋อ
I
เพ
feel
ราะว่า
like the
สาม
side
ตัวนั้น
of
ไม่มี
the
แอม
Sal
เบอร์
is
เลยถูกป่ะ
slightly favored here.
อ๋อ
I
ถ้าไม่
feel
มี
like
แอมเบอร์
the
แอสซัล
Sal
จะ
can
ไม่เก่ง
just
ขนาด
kind
นั้น
of
นะ
run away with this match, but I could be wrong.
But starting off strong with a strip into a Sharon, into a Kethos skill too, looking really, really good for Lucky Loon at this point.
แต่อ
Okay,
ย่างนี้
so
มันต้อง
he's
รีคูล
going
ดาวน์
for
เลย
the
นี่ฟูชิว
S3
ก็ไม่ได้กลาง
here.
ผมว่าฟูชิ
I
วไม่
don't
ค่อย
know
ดี
if
ว่ะ
the
ตอนนี้
XC will cut. Normally they
ถ้าโดน
do
รีก็
after
คือจบเลย
Sharon
อะ
moves. Not quite. So he can go for the S3 here, probably onto the XC, get that death breakdown and push him back. And then he can probably go for the S3 here on the Asal. If he gets a battle will proc with the batter, he probably just kills Lilium. He didn't get a battle will proc, so she will get to press. Maybe.
ไม่มี
With
ลาว
the
ต้องติ
price
นะ
of
ตรงนี้
going slow is that they can
ติโร
go
บัฟ
4
ก่อน
turn before you
มันไม่เล่นละ
actually take one and put your team under so much pressure. Lilium lost 6 stacks of stat, and this Swan Chi could die in the very next turn being resetted by the Kethos.
Yeah,
เพ
he
ราะว่าต้องติ
definitely
ป่ะล
could.
บอัพ
I
สปีด
don't
อะ
know if this Fushu is going to be fast enough to get up to actually press S3. And
แถมแปะเป่าบางเขาไม่มีล้างอันนี้
go next
อันนั้นล้างไปแล้ว
and just reset.
Sylvia
I feel like this is going to be super close. Does she push enough? She doesn't. Does she resist?
อ้าวลิติด
She doesn't resist either.
จบเลย
Oh
ผมว่าจริง
no.
ยังไง
And the
แต่จริง
Fushu's
ฟูชิวไม่ดี
basically
ตั้ง
a
แต่แรก
dead
นะ
unit. He needed the Fushu to get the S3 off here. That could
คือ
just
เขาอยาก
be
ตัด
game
เกินป่ะ
shown.
แต่ว่ากลัว
that
ฝั่ง
is
นู้นหยิบ
game
ฟูชิวไป
because the reset hit on everybody, which mean oh wait, the Fia still have skill 3, so there is still a little bit of comeback if possible, but I don't think
แต่
I
จริงถ้า
don't
ฝั่ง
think
นู้น
there's
มี
a chance anymore
เอ็ก
because
ซีเอ้ยมี
the
ซิลเวียเรากด
Kethos
คลิป
turn
สู้
stealing
โหด
is
เลยว่ะ
here. The
ตายเลย
Swan Chi is pretty much gone,
โดน
and
เพิ่ม
Lilium
คูลดาว
is still gonna get a turn.
เว้ยนี่เมียนติ
Yeah, and even if Lilium does get, Lilium is going to get a turn, but she's already down 6 stacks.
เอ้า
And
ไม่ได้
the Kethos
Maylin.
steals the turn, adding insult to injury.
Yeah,
Go,
that
Lale.
is pretty much it. 9 stack now on Lilium. Even if she gets to move, what good can she bring to the table without any real damage whatsoever? I think this game is pretty much over because the Sylvia will soon. Oh, not. Not and soon the Sylvia will do it right now and allow the Asal to tap this Lilium one more time, and there's nothing you can do about it. The Sylvia turn manipulation is ridiculous in this game.
There's just so much turn
เพราะไง
manipulation
เมื่อกี้ก็ต้อง
on
แอ
the
ร์เศร้า
side
ป่ะ
of
แต่ว่า
Lucky
เหมือน
Loon.
ดาร์
He
แพ้
has
แต่
the
แรกนะ
Kethos
จริงไม่ควรหยิบ
stealing
เหลี่ยมมาด้วย
turns,
ซ้ำอะ
pushing back. He has
เพ
the
ราะว่า
Sharon pushing back
4 ตัวแรกเขามี
and
ทั้ง
giving him turn
เขามี
meter.
XL อยู่
And
แล้วอะ
here's
เรา
the Sylvia
ลิเลียม
also
มันสู้ไม่ได้
pushing back and giving him turn meter. It's
ถ้า
just
กด
so much
โดนแอสซัล
manipulation
พิก
that's
5 ก็คือเหนื่อยเลย
allowing him to move so many more times than the side of Yon Young. You've seen his whole team move multiple times before this
2 เกม
Lilium
แรก
taken
ดู
turn
ดาร์พอ
as
กัน
well.
แต่เกมนี้เหมือนดาร์แพ้จัด
Yeah, and even this Fia has gotten 2 heals out. It doesn't really matter because of the anti-cleanse of the Sharon and healing coming out from Sylvia for the rest of the team. So the damage from Fia Amelia is pretty much negligible for Lucky Loon.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just a matter of time now. once this Asal gets to hit this Lilium, I feel like she probably just kills. She's up at 9 stacks and the Lilium's weakened 9 stacks. He might just decide to kill someone else instead, though. He's killing the Fushu. Oh, not quite.
ตาย
Oh, the S1 kills.
ก็ปล่อย
He's
ปล่อย
actually
เลียมไปก็
leaving
ไม่
the
เป็นไรนะ
Lilium for
เลียมก็
last
ฆ่าไม่
just
ได้
to
หรอ
add
ต้อง
salt
ฆ่า
to
ตัวเองก่อน
injury
จะมา
because
สับ
he
แอส
knows
เซล
that
หมด
this
หลอดก็
Lilium
ไม่ตาย
is far from doing any real work without any stat on her and oh my god he let the fear die as well
เอ๊ะบั๊กเหรอ
that
Wow.
is over
เอ้าเฟียตายแล้ว
And
นี่
that is
Man,
game.
man,
We're
couldn't
just waiting for this Lilium to finally die, I feel like.
แต่ว่า
but
เอา
wait the
it's
fear
just a
died but not really
เฟียตายไปแล้ว แต่
the
ว่าสกิล
fear
ยังอยู่
actually
อะไรวะเนี่ย
died but the game decided that you're gonna be here for a little bit longer but we already know the outcome of this game the turn 1 manipulation from Sylvia Sharon Kathos was unbeatable in this position where he pretty much abused the enemy
ถ้าเจ
team
อ
for taking
เจอ
turn
ชาลอน
2.
เจอซิลเวียเจอเคทอนแล้วเราแพ้
he
สปีด
did,
อะสู้
and
ยากจัดเลยนะ
That's the
แต่ถึง
downside
จะ
to
มี
going
บูวอล์ก
slow
มี
in
กระ
the
ต่ายอะไร
current
ไป
meta. If
ซิลเวีย
you're
มัน
able to
มันรี
draft
เซ็ต
these
ชา
fast
ลอนแปะ
units
โอ้โห
just
ล้าง
to
ไม่ออกเทิร์นหนึ่ง
outcycle the opponent, a lot of the time you can just win. And hitting that cooldown increase on the Fushu, although it was important, I don't feel like it even changed the game that much. I feel like it was
ถึง
still in a state
ถึง
where
ฟู
if
ชิว
you
จะ
can
ไม่โดน
hit
รี
it
คูล
on
ดาวน์ก็
this,
แพ้อยู่
you
ดี
can
ผม
still
ผม
win from
ผม
there.
คิดนะ สู้ไม่ได้หรอก
Beautiful display of Sylvia Sharon Kathos and Lucky Ilun will move on to the final going for the champion title. Onyong's gonna go to the 3rd place match trying to win $500 and last time we have Lucky Sunny, this time we have Lucky Ilun. So
Yeah.
CN still very much on top and it is extremely scary for Keko.
Yeah, and that was the representative from Asia who is moving down into the 3rd, 4th place match. So we won't have a winner this time from Asia, maybe next time. But looking forward to this next match, we have Kecker up against Aha Swift. Who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm not too
Oh,
sure,
it's
but
Ming,
I'm definitely
it's
rooting for Kecker.
I know Ming is another one of these players who is it Ming? I'm likes
Kecker
to
กับ
lock
มิงนะ
the
มิงหรือ
Lily.
เม้งนะ
I'm pretty sure. So we might see another Lily pre-ban in this matchup, or Kecker might just stick to his standard pre-bans. I think we've seen Nathan pre-banned in most of his games.
Maybe we're gonna see Nathan in the game potentially, because
Maybe.
these players have been letting Nathan through. They've been kind of experimenting with the draft a little bit. Instead of banning like the default ban Nathan, they're banning the comfort pick of the enemy, and that allow you to draft knowing that you actually ban a very good unit that people actually use instead of just blind banning the Nathan.
Yeah, and we're seeing the key animus here from this game was that Sylvia running on the Moon Bunny with Swift Strive Swift. Just a super powerful unit at the moment, giving you full team cleanse, turn meter manipulation, healing, and a speed boost on top of immunity. Actually pretty good into Nathan because it gives you that speed boost on every single one of your turns, helps you to hit into it.
And it's crazy how she is a normal RGB unit that in Etheria restart is the same as being free, and she does not need extra dupes to be extremely useful. She can be used at P0 if you want to save summon, and she is as powerful as P0 compared to a P5. P5 they just make her like a bit tankier.
Yeah, and she's a super meta relevant unit. One of the things that you'll see about a lot of the RGBs in this game is that when they release, a lot of them either fill a super powerful niche or are just very strong all round. And Sylvia fits one of those very strong all round units. She can do a little bit of everything very well.
And we can't even forget about Azo, who is always there if you happen to be tanking down, you think you can actually out-sustain the enemy, and they pick Azo, suddenly the game is not very comfortable anymore, even though you might have 2-3 healers.
No, even after her nerf, Asal is still one of those units that puts a clock on the match, and if you're not able to win very quickly with Asal in the game, 9 times out of 10, she will come out on top.
Yeah, very scary unit and very hard to control as well. And moving on to the next round, we are seeing Ming against Keka. Ming representing the China server, Keka representing global. Back then, Keka would be easily winning every opponent from whatever server. We saw that in EWS, we saw that in previous tournament. But recently, the rise of every other server has been very, very scary. And global is no longer the top server anymore in Etheria Restart. Can Keka help us reclaim the throne? And here we go. We have Keka actually pre-banning the Lily from the enemy.
Yeah, so that was something that we've seen a lot of yesterday from Ming. He was locking that Lily in every single one of his games that he could. So I really like that adaptation from Keka. It shows that he was watching the games and didn't want to deal with it. Wanting to see, in this game one, what else have you got prepared? Because you have that little bit more flexibility with game one. Because you have game two, game three to go, you can afford to try a different ban. And going with that Lily, I really like it. So he's opting for the Sylvia and Luan on the side of Ming. Keka is going for Kathos and Zhongqi.
What is he going to lock? Is he going Fia?
เอ้ยซิลเวียโลวาน2ปิกแรกนี่คือดาร์บิลลี่ถูกป่ะ
Maybe he even switched to catch the guard kind of thing. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what.
เพราะถ้าเกิดเรามั่นใจว่าชนะสปีดก็กดโลวานได้เลย
Go for a healer lock this position.
I would assume Keka does. He goes for that Fushu on Archon, trying to get that consistent healing and turn push across his whole team. He's got 3 units so far that manipulate turn meter in some way. So he should be able to get plenty of turns regardless of what Ming picks here. Now, with the Lily out from the side of Ming, does he still opt to go for that turn 1 playstyle, potentially locking something like a Doki? Something we see a lot on ladder, but we haven't really seen so much in this tournament. Or does he go for something like a Turn or potentially go back to turn 2 playstyle? No, he's locking that
ไม่ดีนะเพราะว่ากดนี่มาแล้ว
Yeah, the moment you see a healer focused gamer, you want to pick up the Asal so that you can punish them for healing and not doing damage. But he definitely need more support here because the only support he has right now is the Sylvia, and that is not exactly amazing. There is a Fia open, but I think Fia Azo just doesn't really do too well together for some reason.
I feel like potentially an Aaron just to give her some survivability plus helping her cycle, but instead takes the Sharon here. Sharon is another way of pushing the turn meter as well as pushing the enemy back. But Keka
ชาลอนดีนะเพราะว่าถ้าเกิดกดชาลอนมาตัวแก้มันจะมีลิเลียมแต่เรากดเอซอลล็อกกลางไปแล้วอะลิเลียมกลางลิเลียมมาจะไม่ค่อยจะเล่นยาก
If Keka is seeing the CC coming his way, I think he might last pick like Lilium to counteract that early.
แต่เรื่องมันจะสู้ซิลเวียแอสซอลไม่ได้นะ
With the Asal on lock, Asal's just normally able to kill out the Lilium pretty consistently. Instead, he's going to go with that Tiamat on 5. I think you are right. I think we will see a Navette here on 5 from the side of Ming. I think it's just got too much value into the draft.
เทมแมทโหดจัดไม่แมทเนเวตพิก5โหดจัดเลยหยิบมาฟอร์แบงค์เดียว
Instead, he's hovering the Nahor.
นาฮอ
Let's go! We got the whole pick, baby. I was thinking, wow, what if he picked like a Celine's here? That'd be mind-blowing. But him is being picked up by Ming right now. This is the second appearance, but unfortunately, Nahor is gonna be gone. And Kathos is actually gonna be the one getting banned out, which means the Luvia will have opportunity to outspeed and take away 1 unit. Or maybe Sylvia is gonna go.
Yeah, but I think there is a bit... How do you
น่าจะ
deal
หู
with
ไปอะ
Asal?
ซิลเวียเขาได้รี
Oh,
เซ็ต
he's
อยู่ดี
faster. He is faster on the side of Luvia, so he can
ถ้ารี
choose
เซ็ต
to
เสร็จ
send away either the
ผู้
Asal
ฉิว
or the Luan.
โดน
Which one
โด
is
น
he
เปิด
going to
หัว
go
นะ
for?
แล้วก็ชาลอนได้แปะ
He's opting for the Luan.
ในต้อง
Doesn't
ตีอยู่แล้ว
want that exaltation to go on any of his units. Now, with the Sylvia here, the Luan's going to get out of it pretty quickly. This is probably where being on the Codex is slightly better because once this Luan comes out of exaltation, he'll be able to put the S3 up and get back into that exile state straight away.
Oh, he did not want to put on
อันนี้เล็งใคร
any
ผมว่าเล็ง
immunities. Yes, saving the healing for later. And if you are Ming,
เราแอสเซลเล่นกับซิลเวียเก่งได้ผมว่าเพราะว่ามันได้บัฟสปีดตอนจบเกมกลายเป็นว่าเราไม่ต้องมีแต่เข้ากาดเราก็ได้บัฟสปีดก็คือได้แวลูทั้งเบสบอลทั้งบัฟสปีดพร้อมกันโหดจัด
No, I think if I was... Yeah, you need to just go in on the Luvia though.
แล้วพอเขาไม่ได้อุปแอสเซลอะกลายเป็นว่าแอสเซลก็ได้เล่น
pretty
แกะสแต็ก
huge already at 8 stacks on the Luvia. If this Asal gets to move
อุ้ย
another time and gets a battle will
แรง
proc,
จัง
I
อะ
feel like the Luvia's dead
เอ็กซี
already.
แรงจัด
Man, that Luvia is so tanky for something that is not on Bloodbath because this Assault barely took half HP with the Battle Wheel proc too. Like this thing is a tank.
Yeah,
ผมต้อง
and
กด 2
I
แล้ว
think
ต้อง
saving
หิว
the
แล้ว
S2 was pretty wise. He was wanting to try and get the Loan to come out of exile so that he could put the S2 up on her there, but she was just slightly too slow, so
เฮ้ยแต่ว่า
didn't manage
เห
to
นื่อยนะ
time it
เพราะ
right.
ว่าตอนนี้
And
เทมแมทแบบ
unfortunately for him,
มัน
with
คอมโบกับ
Fuchu
ฟู่ฉิว
pressing
เลย
S3, Ming is now facing a
ตีไป
very
เลือดไปล้นเลย
thick
ฟู่ฉิว
wall of healing and cleansing and turn meter boost. And look at that Loan. She is still not out of it yet. And the Swan Chi is already taking another turn.
Yeah, and the other thing that's actually making it harder to kill this Luvia is Tiamat, because the damage sharing is just helping to keep her alive
สอง
along
โอ้ย
with
ไม่สอง
that
เด้งว่ะ
healing.
นึกว่าจะได้
You
สอง
already see
สอง
she's
เทิร์น
up at 7 stacks. She's going to get a
หนึ่ง
double
โอ้
turn
ได้
here.
เจ็ด
I wonder if he just sends it into the Sharon and then
โอเค
goes for the double turn with
ตายเลย
double
ป่ะ
kill.
อย่างงี้
Is that
ถ้าตาย
over
คือ
for
เหนื่อยเลย
Sharon? I think
โอ้
that
ไม่
is
ตาย
over for Sharon.
Oh, it's so
เดี๋ยว
close. He doesn't kill any of them,
แต่หุบ
but
อยู่ดีนะ ผมว่ารอบ
the
นี้หุบ
Luvia's getting to go, and then the
หุบแอสเซลไปเลยป่ะ
XC is getting to go again, and the XC
อ้าวไม่ต้อง
is
ให้หุบอ่ะ
one
โอเค
turn away from that S3.
โดนสวนทันทีดิ
Oh, he did not do anything. He did not want to send anyone into the shadow realm. Maybe he's saving it for the Asao later on because knowing that his Luvia is never dying from the Fuchu support.
Yeah, I think you could be right there, Sean. The Asal though, will the Asal actually will he punish him here? Will he be able to kill? I think if he gets a battle roll
Nah.
proc on the Luvia, it could
จ
potentially
ริง
be
ๆ ผมว่า
enough.
เขาหุบแอสเซลไป
Nah,
เซฟ
I
กว่า
don't
นะ
think so. With the
หรือ
damage
ว่าต่อ
reduction
ให้หรืออะไร
Tiamat, the Fuchu healing, even with
เนี่ย
two
ตีตามจริ
battle
ง
wheel proc, he
โอ้
would
แต่ไม่ตาย
still
ดิ
wouldn't kill that Luvia.
อันติ
I think that's over. That's gonna kill the Loan easily. Big damage onto everybody else. Easy
หุบ
skill
ไปก่อนนะ
3,
ผมว่า
send
หุบไป
the
ก่อนเซฟดิ
Asao home,
หุบแอสเซลไปก่อน
and that's
ไม่หุบเหรอ
GG. Wow, he doesn't
don't-
even use it.
He doesn't need to. He's got the
Mm,
debuff
Oh,
on the
that
Loan,
is
so he can
such a
just
flex
kill
right
now.
there.
แต่หุบจริงๆผมว่าเซฟ
Bro,
กว่าป่ะ
Wow.
Kovac
ได้มาส
just
ปีด
to
ด้วย
not use the skill twice. That's crazy
And
work.
very
โอ้
clean
ขาด
game there from
ขาด
Kaku, taking
ไม่กด
game
อันติ
one.
ไม่กดอันติ2 เทิร์นยัง
One more round,
ไม่ชนะ
and
เลยว่ะ
he is on to the finals.
โอเคผมตรวจ
But
ก่อนด้านนี้
what is Ming going to change in this game too? We did see the Lily pre-ban
แอสเซลล็อกกลาง
from
กดเทมแมท
Kecker.
เหรอ
Was that
กด
something
ผู้
that
ฉิว
you
เทมแมท
think
สู้
potentially threw Ming off?
I think it's pretty much the combination of Fuchu.
ผมว่า
but
ชาลอน
with
แพ้
the
เยอะเกิน
fast
ชาลอน
with
แพ้
like Luvia,
XC แพ้
so
ผู้
that
ฉิว
you are not
มัน
under
เลย
the mercy
ดาเมจไม่เข้า
of
ทันที
the
แถม
Sylvia,
เวลา
turn
ตี
boost,
ก็
Sharon
ตี
into
หมู่
the thing.
XC
He
เด้ง
had
เรื่อย
the Luvia to try and outspeed the Sharon so that he could actually do something immediately, and that works out really well. Sharon and Sylvia get to move, but it did not have the impact that it should have when you have a full team.
Yeah, and we're seeing another Tiamat win. Tiamat is looking pretty strong. I think she's only lost one game so far today, or across the whole tournament, the game from Mithra. So Tiamat still pretty strong. Season 0 unit still meta.
If we have to ask someone how to abuse Tiamat Fuchu to get a champion title, Keka is the best person to ask for advice because he's been
Yeah, and-
abusing that since season 0 to win tournament after tournament.
And we're seeing that Fushu still on the Supernova for that additional healing, running Archon with Bloodbath, Bulwark, and Evil Guard. This has been a pretty staple build for Fushu since about Season 1. Only took 2 turns, which is fine. You don't really want her to take turns after she gets that S3 off. You just want her to sit there and heal away.
แต่ผู้ฉิว
And
ยัง
she
มี
did
ดา
a
เมจ
lot of
18%
healing.
เลยอะ
89% of the team's total healing.
อ๋อดาเมจที่รับนี่หว่าไม่ได้ดาเมจที่ทำ
But
Dami,
enough,
that's 18.
nobody really hit Fushu if she gets to press S3. So you could potentially get away with maybe like Swift Bulwark if you want to, right?
Potentially. The only thing about that is that there's a lot of AoE damage in the game at the moment. So if she's taking AoE damage from things like a Nathan S3 or anything like that, could potentially be enough to just kill her off if she's on Swift, but not sure. Might need to try it, Sean.
Oh, because hey, top speed Fuchu to surprise people going in and pop the S3 immediately. That'll be
Yeah.
quite something to witness.
Yeah, and then into the Sylvia, they press S3 and it just boosts your whole team. Sounds actually pretty fun.
So, moving on to the game 2, Kecker and Ming. Will Kecker be the one getting a quick little 2-0 today, dominating all the way to the grand final?
Maybe he will be looking to do better than he done last time. This is where he fell slightly short last time and went down into the losers final playing for 3rd place. So if he wins here, he's already done better than he done last time.
อ๋อพี่แล้วพี่
And
เก๊ก
we
ได้
shall
ที่
see
3อ่ะลืม
if
ละ
Kecker can show us that global players can still be on the very top of Etheria restart. He none other than Kecker. He is just like the most consistent competitive player for Etheria from global, in my opinion. We've seen top player come and go, unfortunately, but Kecker is the only constant.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you there. The only 2 players that we consistently see are actually Kecker and Watchum. So shame we couldn't see Watchum in the tournament this time, but Kecker is always there and always makes it towards
อยาก
it.
ให้ซิงแร
So
ง
we're
คิด
seeing
ว่า
that Lily
เจ๊กเกอร์เขาใส่
Pudan
คีย์แดม
again
ไหมค
from
รับ
Kecker, and we're seeing the Loan
ผมว่า
take it,
อาจจะ
which
ใส่ก็ได้นะ
enables
เม็ดหนึง
Kecker to go for that Nathan first pick.
แต่ว่าเงื่อนไขก็คือ
But that
เดฟต้องเยอะกว่าฝั่งตรงข้ามด้วย ตอน
Jackal
ที่
got
ส
Nathan
กิล
over
อะ
there with Kethos and the Sylvia getting picked early,
ถ้าเกิด
but
ใส่
we
คีย์แด
also
มเม็ดหนึ่ง
know
แล้ว
that
ไป
Luvia
ตี
coming
ใส่
and back
XL ห
to
รือว่าไปตีใส่
outspeed
โลวา
the
แล้วเดฟมันน้อย
Sylvia
กว่า มันจะไม่
from
ค่อยแรง
Ming, so that's a very good
ก็ต้อง
info for
วัดใจ
Kecker, knowing that he can comfortably pick Luvia and destroy the Sylvia pick.
Yeah,
เขาไม่กด
and he's
อ๋อไปโล
hovering
วาไป
the
เลย
XC at the moment. I wonder if he just goes for the XC and then looks to lock in a healer, either that Fiamelia or that Fushu again. Fushu pretty good into the Sylvia. I think I would lean more towards going for the Fushu if I was Kecker at this stage, but maybe he goes for something completely different. Who knows?
If I know Kecker, it's probably gonna be the Fuchu. And then if enemy try to go fast, he go Luvia. Oh
No, he's going for
switched
the
to a
Fia.
Interesting.
He's going for the Fia. With the
เพราะว่า
Luan
ผู้ชิวมัน
cooldown,
มัน
I
แพ้
feel
ซิลเวีย
like
บ
the
วก
Fia
เคทอส
goes
คอม
up
โบ
in
กันอะ
value because they can't jump on it. But that just lets
โอ้ย
the
แต่ว่า
enemy team take Fushu at this
ถ้า
point
เรา
if they kind
เรา
of
กดฟู
want.
เฉยแล้วเราฟอร์ส
But
แบน
does
เค
Ming
ทอส
want
ก็
to
ไหว
play
นะ
into that slow turn
เพราะว่า
2
เริ่ม
style again, or does
เอ้ย
he
ไม่ได้
want
ดิ
to speed
ไม่
up?
ได้ไม่ได้ เพราะว่า
I think I
เจ๊ก
go
เกอร์เริ่มก่อน
Xuan Li here because that is what he was pretty comfortable with, and the draft went pretty well for other player as well. Because Kecker kind of solidified himself into a turn 2, and now the Luvia draft is kind of low impact because everyone on the side of Ming could be on either Bulwark or not getting sent away. So catching the god to counter the Sharon, he might need to get maybe a Lilium last pick as well.
ไม่มีใครเล่นคอคดีเลยเหรอ
Yeah, the only danger I feel like with picking a Lilium last pick is it could potentially just be focused down if he picks another damage dealer here on 5 from the side of Ming, because you would just be able to get your whole team to move and then kill that off. And with the Luan taken out, you're not really worried about only going for a single threat comp, because they don't have that Luan to punish it. So you can afford to pick a Valyrian or a Fushu here on 5 and just kind of bolster that single threat that you have.
Oh, and he did just that. The king of turn 2, locking in another sustain.
Wow.
And Sania is getting picked up last by Ming. I'm not sure about this one though.
I really
got
like it.
drafted. Really?
Yeah, because you've got a Sharon on lock, so you're able to boost up that Sharon's HP, make the dots deal even more damage, and make her cycle super quickly. And you see it was a respect ban from Kecker. He removed the Sanya.
Ooh, interesting. So
Sanya pick
unfortunately, we
5
cannot see how that's
แต่
gonna
เหมือน
turn
ว่า
out.
ดาเมจ
But
ตอนมันจะไม่
now
แรง
he has
ขึ้นนะ มัน
Catching
นับ
the
จาก
God
ตอน
and
เริ่มเกม
Valera,
ผม
so Sharon
เคยอ่าน
might
อ
be
ยู่ชาลอน
completely
อะ
dead in this
ถึง
draft.
บัฟแม็กเลือดในเกม
She
ไปมันก็
could
ไม่ได้แรง
be,
ขึ้นนะ
but he
ต่อ
does still have that Kathos and that
แค่
XC.
สกิล2มัน
The
จะล
Sharon,
บชัวร์
even
ขึ้น
though she's
ถ้าเกิด
not
เลือด
going
เย
to
อะ
be
กว่า
doing much
หมาย
with
ถึง
the
ว่า
dots in
ถ้า
this
ตอนแรก
draft,
เลือดน้อยกว่า
she
ก็ไม่ลบ
still
ไปชัวร์
will
นะ
be cycling super quickly, which is really valuable with that XC.
All right, we got the
XL.
push. Oh, not looking so hot right now. Everyone is vulnerable. And Xuan Li plus Kathos is a very deadly combo, depending on the mood of Xuan Li, giving everyone else a little cooldown reduction.
XL
So
บวกเค
goes
ทอส
for
บวก
the
ซิลเวีย
S3
โอ้โห
here.
ดาบนี้
He's
โคตรโหด
going to
อ่ะ
be able to steal the turn. I would assume he's stealing the turn off of the Catchy, which is actually pretty big for him because it means the Kachi can't press that S3 again.
Oh, big block on the Sean Lee. Sean Lee's
ดีกูดาวได้ไหม
the target. And that's going to be a whole lot of damage coming out from the Fia Amelia onto the Sean Lee. He's looking to kill the Sean Lee as quickly as possible.
Yeah, if he can get this
ผมว่า
Sean
เขา
Lee
เขา
out
กด
of
อัน
the
ติ
way,
ใส่
I feel like the
โลบ
draft
ไม่โลบ
is very much
ถ้า
in
โลบคื
favor
อ
of
กดอันติ
Kathos,
ใส่
but the
คา
longer
ชิ
she sticks
แล้ว
around,
ก็
the harder
แทรก
it's going to be to deal with the side
แล้วก็
of
ค่อยรีคูลดาว
Ming.
น์เพราะว่าถ้าเกิดรีคูลดาวน์หลัง
He
จากที่เรา
does
แทรก
steal
ไป
the
แล้ว
turn away
เรา
from
จะได้
that Kachi.
เหมือนลดคูลดาวน์เทิ
Probably
ร์นหนึ่ง
sends the S3 into the X.
อุ้ยลด
Doesn't
ไม่ติด
get the defense break, which
อ๋อ
is
แต่ว่าเมื่อกี้มีบัฟอยู่
actually
ไงมันเลย
pretty
มันลบไม่
big
ติด
for
ใช่ใช่
Kachi.
ใช่ไม่ได้ด้วย
Ooh,
ถ้ามีบัฟอยู่แล้ว
that is
โดนลบ
not
บัฟ
looking good. But
ถ้า
at
มี
least
คา
he's
ชิในสนามมัน
controlling
จะ
the flow of
ล
the
บดีบัฟ
match.
ด้วย
The enemy is not
อัน
moving.
นี้
They
เมื่อกี้ไม่
don't
ได้ส
have
วย
their skill ready to go, and he is and Ming is free to apply the dot damage here and slowly wearing down the enemy Kachi guard.
Yeah, and if he gets a couple of time weave procs, this could be really advantageous for Ming. At the moment, he's not really had any. Need to wait and see if he gets it on the Kathos.
ผ่านบัฟเด
Does
ยังไม่มี
have
เนี่ย
the S2 again on the Kathos.
Ooh, that is
Ui, Keno
really,
lại
really
lệ.
bad for Kashi the God from Keka because now he's down to 2-turn cooldown. So, funny enough, I thought
แต่
Sharon's
ว่า
going to be useless,
X4
but
ตา
the useless unit here
XL
is
ตายนะ
actually
รอบ
Kashi
นี้
the God.
ถูกไหม
Yeah, and luckily for Kecker, he didn't get the time weave proc on the Sharon. Otherwise, he would have had the S3 back here again. But managing to survive for another turn, I think the
ตายแล้ว XL ตาย
XL
แล้วผมว่า
probably going to go down here.
ปุ๊บมีออฟเด
Oh,
บะ
Keka
นี่ไง
finally get a
16,000
heads up, and he will take away the Sean Lee. That is
โคตรโหด
very
อ่ะ
big for him because without a Sean Lee, I think the damage of Ming is just kind of gone because working through the shield is a little bit too much for Sharon.
เหมือน
Yeah,
XC
I think
ก็
landing that block
ชนะ
on
XL
turn
นะถูก
1
ปะถ้าผม
from
ไม่ผิด
XC
พอมัน
ironically
ได้ออก
won him the game.
ออกก่อน
Not
XL แล้ว
being
ว่า
able
มัน
to
ได้
get that shield up
ได้บล็อก
on
บัฟ
the
อะ
XL
XL แทบ
and that
ทำอะไรไม่ได้เลย
defense buff
ไม่มีบัฟเดฟ
just made so that the XC is dealing so much damage
ไม่ต้องกด
to
อันติอะกด
and
จิ้ม
stealing
เรื่อย
the turn away from
Skill
the
หนึ่ง
Valyrian here is actually really bad. Just means she's going to be in her
ผม
bubble
ว่าเก
for
เกอร์ชนะแล้ว
longer.
Is that it?
มีทั้ง
Is that
เฟียร์มีทั้ง
over?
คาชิอะ
The Sharon
ชาลอน
seems
ทำอะไรได้
to
อะ
do a whole lot, but at the same time does not do a whole
เนี่ย
lot
เพราะว่าพอ
because
มัน
the
ลบบัฟ
shield
ไป
kept popping up to stop her
เฟียร์มันก็
getting 2 dots and
ว่าทุกตัวมันจะไม่
the
มีเนี่ย
shield
มันจะไม่มี
also
ห้าม
helps
ล้าง
to cleanse
แต่
because
พอ
of
ล้างเสร็จ
Kashi
มันล้าง
the
หมด
God
หัวเลย
passive
Yeah.
เพราะ
all
ว่า
the
ห้ามล้างหาย
time.
แล้ว
I think that probably is just game. I don't really see a way back here for Ming. I think the XC is just going to slowly whittle down the rest
ตอน
of
นี้
the
ติดเลย
units.
นะ
I wonder
ล
if
บ
he
ตาส
just
ปีด
sends the S.
แรงจัด
He
หน่อย
does.
ได้ปะอ๋ออัปเดตผ่านไป
Wow,
แล้ว
look at that
ต้องเทิร์น
damage.
หน้า
Kachi the God actually just didn't do anything. Him existing in the field, forcing the Sharon to strip the shield from Valerian, allowing the cleanse to happen so that the Sharon and the Fia Amelia can cleanse everything else after that is just beautifully executed.
Yeah, just him being there for his passive is just enough. Didn't really need to press anything.
ไม่ต้อง
And
ก
the
ดเลยเลย
Sharon
อันติ
pressed
ก็ไม่ต้อง
the
ใช้ด้วย
S3 two
ขอแค่
times.
เรา
Didn't
มี
get
บัฟ
the
บนหัว
timing
เรื่อย
procs,
ๆ พอ
which
ชาลอน
would
เข้า
have
เทิร์น
been big, but it's
ชาลอน
not
ล
really
บบัฟเรา
doing
ลบบัฟ
anything.
ชาลอนกลับ
There's not
ลบบัฟ
that
เราดีบัฟ
much
กลับ
HP seal on any of the units on the side of
โอ้แล้ว
Kaka.
มันเด้งเรื่อยๆอะ
And also the fact that he actually switched from Fuchu to Valerian was beautifully executed because the Fuchu would be pushed back by Sylvia
ผม
and
คิดอยู่ว่า
resetted
ฟู
by
ชิว
the Kethos.
มันเจอ
But
เค
because
ทอส
it's
ดีอะ
Valerian
ไม่ค่อยดี
and
อะ
she's
แต่วาเลเรียน
immune
อะ
to the Sylvia skill
เจอ
3,
ซิเวียรีเซ็ตเคทอส
could
มันจะรีเซ็ต
actually
ไม่ได้เพราะว่า
get back into
ไอ
her
วาเล
skill
มันจะไม่
3
โดนถอยเกตกลับมา
before the Kethos magic
อย่าง
can
น้อยได้กลาง
turn. That allowed
แน่
this whole situation to unfold
ๆแล้วเป็น
that
ผู้ฉิวกด
Keka
มา
just simply
โด
can't
นรีเซ็ต
die
เก
from
ต
Sharon damage.
โดน
Okay,
รีคู
and
ดาวไม่ได้กลาง
yeah,
แพ้
it
เลย
was just the Valyrian also as well, synergizing so well with the Kachi when they have the Sharon on lock because they have to strip the buffs. They have to. There's no way they can't. So I think it's just a great pick there on 5. And then
ดาวโคตรดี
he's just
โคตรคม
slowly whittling down the side from Jing. He's trying to get trying to get
ราชนะ
a
สองเกม
lucky
เลย
win here at the end, but I don't think there's any way. Holding on for tournament life, but it's not going to happen.
It's kind of sad if you're in Ming's position because you're doing your very best to try to do some damage, but all you're doing feels like you are like the bunch of flies that fly around like a big bull that does not care about what you're doing whatsoever.
มันจบแล้วเพื่อน
Yeah, he's just
เขากดออกไม่ได้
tickling
ถูกปะ
him, and then the
He's
fear
just going-
comes.
Yeah, he's just running around Keka and Keka just sitting there yawning like Kirito on the bridge. It's
แทรกไปเลย
pretty
อีก
crazy. That it's like he stole the turn from Valerian, so Valerian is literally in that state forever.
Yeah. I feel like this game could have went a different way if and only if the XC didn't land that block on XL. But landing that block just kind of sealed the fate for Ming.
Yeah, I think so far
พอโดนบล็อกคือ
XC
หนักเลยอะไม่
landing
มี
the
โล่
block on
ไม่มีวับ
Sean
เดฟ
Lee has just been a
XL ตาย
consistent
ไวจี
canon event in every single matchup that XC has to fight XL, and the block just happen all the time, take away a lot of damage and the survivability of Xuan Li. Xuan Chi is just an incredible counter to Xuan Li, funny enough.
Yeah, I wonder if it's actually worth ever putting your XL on something like Moon Bunny just to try and stop that from happening. I know it would lower your overall damage output with the removal of the Doom Crow, but if you can't get the buff up, I feel like it's more value. And
อ้าวก็กดยอมแพ้ได้นี่
Game
Wow,
2 going to
Packer!
Packer. So we do have a global
Packer!
representative in the final.
Finally, moving up from the third place, he has guaranteed himself progression from the previous tournament because he escaped the third place match. Kaka representing Global in the final against Lucky Ilun from CN.
Yeah, so it will be kind of a rematch of the final from last time. We will have a global versus a CN player. Who is going to come out on top this time, though, Sean?
You never know. We thought Yue was going to take it all, but he couldn't do it. And now the torch has been passed to Kecker. Maybe this time Global can finally reclaim the champion title.
We can indeed only speculate. It's going to be a really
Who is
exciting
she?
game, though.
ใคร
And
นะ
Kecker going for more of that tanky playstyle, whereas
Ke-
Lucky Loon also
Oh,
liked
Lucky
the
Loon.
Lily. So I wonder if he carries over that
Lucky
Lily
Loon
freeband
กับ
into the next
Kecker
matchup
รอบ
as
ชิง
well.
It's like going back to
แต่เหมือนจะมี
Season 0
ชิง
where
ที่
we
สาม
get
ก่อนห
to
รือเปล่า
see Fuchu,
น่าจะ
Lock, and Lily Preban. That is wild to see in Season 5.
Yeah, and with the final being a best of 5, the players will have a little bit more flexibility in terms of what they want to play about with pick and bans, because you have that little bit more, how would I put it? I can't remember the name of the word, but you can afford to lose more games before his tournament life on the line.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting here. But it's kind of sad that I think we didn't see a single Turandot lock into like a strong cleave unit the entire time. And I don't think we're gonna see any of that at the end of the tournament.
No,
Unless
I
the
don't
third
think
place
we-
match they went like I don't care anymore. Like Turandot lock, baby.
Hey, there is still $500 on the line for that third place match, so we might not, but fingers crossed. I think we only seen one Turandot in the whole tournament, and it was picked on 5 as force ban.
Unfortunately. And here is the Swan Chi from Kaka, and he is on that new Unyielding Oath set so that he can get a little bit of healing in between because people like to
Yeah.
focus down Swan Chi quickly.
XC
as well
Unyielding
because
Oath
this unit
สไตล์
does
สมัย
so much damage in between rounds
คม
where he
ดาเมจ
takes so many
57%
turns.
Yeah, and this Unyielding Oath set is actually super
กลับไม่ได้เลย
valuable on all of these units that take multiple turns really quickly. People like these Zhang Qi, Luan, etc., that cycle super quickly gain so much value from it because they still get the damage reduction and they also get the additional healing. So it's just a very good set for these types of units. If you like these types of units, I recommend trying it out.
And remember, guys, Shanchi was already nerfed in the previous balance patch. Still a very, very strong unit, but I think he's pretty stable and counterable at this point. He was absolutely insane with his turn boost in the previous season where he was uncontrollable.
Yeah, he was just zooming about the field. Could you imagine if he had that new set while he was still before the nerf? He'd just be healing to full HP every other turn.
Yeah, he'd be unbeatable, permanently pre-banned, pretty much, together with the Kethos as well. But they have pretty much stabilized the power of these OP unit.
Yeah. If you were to say, who do you think is the strongest unit ever released
At their peak,
at their peak?
I think Kethos' peak was pretty insane because he pretty much was an entire team on his own.
Yeah,
Right,
he
he
was
could
a
still
sneaky
turn, he
comp,
control
and
everybody. he goes and suddenly 2 unit on your team doesn't do anything. It's just pretty crazy.
Yeah, and back when he originally released, people were also building him on crit, so he was actually dealing some decent damage alongside controlling the whole enemy team by himself. It was pretty insane. I think I agree with you.
But I think the most painful release was still definitely gonna be like Ray Mary, because I think she was like a league above everything else that was in the game. Like Kathos was strong, but if you throw a low end skill 3 on him, then he's like okay. But when Ray Mary first came into the game, she was like a different entity.
Yeah, and on screen now you can see what is going to happen. We are going to be watching the 3rd, 4th place matchup between Yong and Ming, and then we will be watching the BO5 grand final between Kecker and Lucky Alun. Exciting matchups coming up, Sean.
Exciting indeed. And before we go to the 3rd place match, we are going for another short break here for I think 5 minutes, and I think we're going to be seeing you guys shortly here. So grab some water, and we'll be back very, very soon. Okay, maybe I was ahead of that. Oh.
คนแทรกว่ะไม่ตายทีมนี้กดสกิลแบบกดสกิลแล้วมันแพ้ดิไหวไหมเนี่ย94หน้าตายนะอุ้ยไม่ตายแย่แล้วแตกอึดจังวะไม่ใส่บัตรบาสปะทำไมมันอึดจังวะแพ้ละฟาดไม่ตายก็คือแพ้ ผมมาตีเด็กดีกว่าวะตีแต้ม3,100แล้วแพ้ไม่เบิดบาร์นะไม่ตายเฉยเก็บอันหนึ่งไว้แก้ของมาอย่างยังไม่ได้เล่นนี่เลยเนี่ยฝั่งขวาเอเรียลไม่รู้มันจะถึกไปไหนครับมันถึกเกิน
Hello and welcome back to the Etheria Restart SS5 Vanguard Cup. We are finally at the end of the journey with the third place match starting first and then going into the best of 5 grand final. It's been quite a journey, Doc.
Yeah, it definitely has. And these 4 players have battled through a bit of a gauntlet. They had their regional qualifiers and then they went through the round of 16 quarterfinals all the way to where they are now. And every single player still playing for the biggest prize that they can get. Even in the third place match, still playing for that $500. Because if you finish 4th, you're going to be the only player out of the 4 remaining that walks away with nothing.
Hey man, you don't want to be that guy, okay? You don't want to be that guy. Your
don't
chance
want
to
to be
win the
that guy.
prize is not that small, but you can still lose it. We have in the third place match Ming and On Young. I think this is the furthest anyone from the East Asia server has made it in any tournament of Etheria. So On Young is already making it much further than his predecessor at this point.
Yeah, some really good showing. Knocked out X, who we both thought was going to make a pretty decent run in this tournament. So bowled over some tough opposition. But will he be able to overcome Ming and walk away with the third place prize? If he does, then we will have a 1, 2, 3 in terms of global CN in 1, 2, and then Asia in third.
That'll be interesting to see, but it's still a tough competition because I don't think his opponent is gonna be a walk in the park for sure. And let's see if we're gonna see a very aggressive third place match or it's going to be a future lock once again.
Maybe. I wonder if we'll see a Lily pre-ban similar to what Kaker was doing in that last game. It seemed to work out for him, and we're seeing that Lily pre-ban. So Nathan first pick for Yong Yong.
And Sylvia over there for Ming with the Cathos as well. Can this Nathan get to play the game? Are we seeing some sort of a change in the lock position here? We are seeing a Swanchi as well, which might lead me to think is going to be potentially a Fiamelia lock.
I would love to see just a turn dot slammed with that 1-2 open, but no, going for that Fiamelia instead.
All right, what's mean over there?
Reliable. I would assume we're going to see Fushu. Oh, Sharon.
Oh, this is the draft that Keko destroyed in the previous game. So I think Keko went in with the Valerian catching the guard here.
ดับเหลือมาเนี่ย
shut down the Sharon combo and
คาชิแล้วก็เวลาเอเลียนถูกไหม
Exact same draft coming out.
ดับเดิม
No, going for that T.
ไม่เดิมเรียกว่าอะไรดับที่เก็กเกอร์ผู้ชนะมา คนนี้เป็นคนละคนกันนะ
But potentially knows
ใช่ไหม
something we don't.
อ๋อ GG คือหมิงนะคนที่แพ้เก็กเกอร์เมื่อกี้เขาดับเหมือนเดิม
potentially go with like an AoE CC unit and ban out catching the guard, but he's gonna go for the Fuchu here, and that's gonna allow him to survive so much longer in this game.
Yeah, Fushu, one of those really good picks into Tiamat. Because she's AoEing when she gets into her dragon state, you're not really dealing more damage than the Fushu's healing, so you're just kind of pushing the whole enemy team every time she takes a turn. So I wonder who the bans will be on this side. I would assume we're going to see the Nathan taken out, and I would assume it's the Fushu on the other side.
Oh, it's gonna be the Nathan being gone and over there. Which one is it going to be? Fuchu, or it is going to be the Fuchu and the Nathan getting banned out? So with Valerian, Hacker kind of walked over this draft with ease, but this time is not Valerian. It is going to be Tiamat. So let's see, it's going to be enough here because this Kachi the God is going to be actually useless because Sylvia is going to take away all his buff with ease, and Sharon's going to start unleashing the power immediately.
Yeah, and then unlike in the previous game, you're not going to still have that Valerian active to be
เพ
able
ราะว่า
to
พิก
put
ซี่
the shields and the
เป็น
buffs
พรูม
up.
ยังเก่ง
So
กว่านะ
that Kachi's
เทีย
not
แมท
going to have
ไม่จะได้เล่นไหม
nearly as much value as it did in the previous game. So I feel like a lot of this is just relying on the damage that's going to come out from the Tiamat transform and
แบบ
the
พรูม
Fia
วาเล
procs.
วาเลเก่ง
But
เหมือน
we
ที่
need
เกิ
to
ด
wait
เล่น
and
ให้ดู
see.
เมื่อกี้
Well, do you think it'll be enough?
We shall see, but we already see big damage coming out from the Sharon. Xuan Li getting her buff, no block coming out from anything whatsoever. So it's looking extremely good for
And he hit the
Malik
cooldown
Moment.
on everybody. Everybody got cooldown increased on the side of Yong Yong. This is looking pretty rough. The Sharon could potentially just kill off the Tiamat here with an S1.
Oh, we got the Sharon going in. Big
เทียแมทไม่ได้
damage.
ทำอะไร
It
แล้ว
is probably going to be enough to kill off the Tiamat here. It's going straight into the Tiamat.
Oh, not
Big
quite
damage.
enough.
Would he miss crit? Wait, he missed crit twice with the anti-crit coming out from the catchy.
Oh,
Oh my god, the
and the
anti-crit
Tiamat
debuff
forgot
worked.
to take a turn.
ตีไม่เข้าเลย
Doesn't really even
But
break the shield.
อุ้ยแล้วทำวีบเหรอ
yeah,
อันติ
it
แล้ว
didn't really do a whole lot right there with the Tiamat. So I think the change of plan and the game
เอ๊ะ
will be
อ๋อ
to
ยังอ๋อ
kill
ยังไม่ได้อันติ
off
เลย
the
ใช่ไหม
Kashi the God maybe, or it's gonna be focused
รอบ
on
แรก
the
รีคูลดาวน์ไป
Shuan Shi instead.
Yeah, so just looking to get that Zhanqi out. Doesn't really have the timing window now anymore with that Kathos because the S2 is on cooldown. Unless he gets a time weave proc here, either from the S1 on the Sylvia or gets it from the Zhongli. If he can get another S2 up, then he can potentially just kill off either the Tiamat. Oh,
Oh,
he already
Amber.
ambered the XP.
I think he can slowly work on the Catchy and the Fia at this point because
Oh, slowly. He just one-shot him.
คาชิตายไปเลย
gone
ผมว่าจบ
with
แล้ว
the
วะ
win immediately. This
แค่เปลี่ยน
Catchy
จาก
God pick
วา
without
เล
Valerian was definitely not it. I think he forgot
เป็
that
นเทียแมท
Valerian was in the last pick. He picked up the Tiamat, and as you can see, Tiamat is not really providing any value for the team.
No, you needed those extra buffs for that synergy with Catchy if you were wanting to do the exact same draft from the previous game, but didn't get the opportunity to do it. Now, will the Tiamat actually get a turn and be able to do anything meaningful? He does have the S3 here. It could do a decent chunk of damage, but I feel like the Tiamat's too
อ่า
low
โดน
to
รีเซ็ต
do
ป่ะ
any
เอ้ยแต่
meaningful
เขาไม่ได้รี
damage
เซ็ตป่ะอย่างงี้
back.
Yeah, and Ashans is
เพ
going
ราะ
to
ว่า
get another
เขา
turn coming out, and
ดอท
that
เยอะ
could
จัดเลย
potentially finish off
กดสองแล้วให้
the
จิ้ม
Fia
จิ้มเฟีย
Amelia. She has a skill 3 as well, so
จิ้ม
this
จิ้ม
can
ดีกว่าปะ
allow her to do massive damage on everybody if she chooses to do so, or she can simply just finish off the
อื
Fia
มกด
Amelia
หนึ่ง
here
ใส่
with
เฟีย
a
ไปให้
skill
ตายไป
1
เลยดีก
as
ว่า
well.
เซฟกว่า
Opts to just finish off the Fia, and then the Tiamat is getting ambered here anyway, so just has to deal with the XC really. The Tiamat's going to take some passive damage while you're hitting the XC. Can put all the dots up here. I would assume he does. Yeah. Goes for the S3, and then he just has everything to just wail into this XC.
Yeah, I think Tiamat is really good if you have a Fuchu, but if you don't, then she is kind of a sitting duck over there, not doing a whole lot, especially into Sharon, who
ตายเลย
damage does not. I don't think the dot damage gets shared to Tiamat. It's only the actual damage of that you're getting hit with.
And game 1 going to Ming. I feel like Yongyo's draft was in a really good spot up until the 5th pick. I feel like that Tiamat just kind of threw his draft a little bit, but what's he going to change for game 2? Needs to change something now. If he loses the next game, he is going home with nothing.
Yeah, that's a mispick right there. But it also show that getting the fifth pick right is a very important skill to have when you play competitive Etheria restart because you can copy the four pick, but if you just get one of them wrong without truly understanding the synergy, then you might not be able to win, even though the draft might look 80% similar.
Yeah, and it just shows you little differences can be the difference between winning a game and losing a game. And we've seen both sides of that coin in the last two games. That one pick difference with against the exact same draft, completely different outcomes.
And we're also going to see Sylvia, Sharon, absolutely scary combo. You can put up your protection, but Sylvia is going to take all of that off pretty much immediately. And I think next time he might have to ban out of Sylvia.
Yeah, and key animus of the game, yet again, I feel like has been the key animus of most of the games so far throughout the tournament, is once again that Sharon, dealing 61% of the team's overall damage, running that Swift Bulwark Swift build. It's just giving so much value to so many teams at the moment, Sean.
It's not just key animus of the game, it's the key animus of the tournament at this point. Sharon being absolutely incredible at doing damage, bringing dots, and she alone is the entire dot meta combined in one unit. She does not need any friends to put out a dot for her because she can do it all on her own.
Yeah, and she actually enables the CC playstyle as well if you want to play that because of the way that her is it manifold chorus interacts and they have to get rid of that before they can get rid of any of the other stuff. It's so good and so versatile in the way that you want to play her, and she just deals so much damage.
Indeed. And also having a last pick CC is always kind of great because it kind of forces the opponent to ban it or else they have to suffer the consequence. Even though the last pick CC might not be super popular or good, but it is still very good to have ready to go at all times.
Yeah, we've seen that Nahor and we've seen that Navette, but we are into the draft for the next game. We're seeing the Sylvia pre-ban this time. He's removed the Lily pre-ban and we have a Lowan pre-ban. So Ming has opted for Kethos Zhangqi on 1-2. On the other side, we have Nathan, Luvia, and Kachi the guard.
Let's see how this Lily pick is going to get through the Kachi Luvia situation here because if you strip, you're also allowing the enemy to gain that turn meter to cut in between. So we got a Xuanqi Xuan Li combo situation.
Yeah, super strong pairing with the Lily because you can pull one of them up, get the S3 off. You can even pair up with a Kethos. At the moment, he has a lot of good options to pair up with that Lily. And oh, he's switching over to Navette.
An early Navette.
Ballsy. He's assuming he's faster on the Lily than the Kachi.
Lily มาแล้ว
If Kachi's faster, doesn't he just lose?
I think he is confident in his Lily speed, and maybe he also kind of
ผมว่าถ้า
noticed the
ฝั่งนู้น
speed
เป็น
of
เคทอสกับ
Kachi
ส้น
from the
XC
previous
2
game
วิกแรก
compared to
กด
Sylvia
คาชิล็อก
as
กลาง
well.
ไม่ค่อยเก่งป่ะ
So maybe he is just really confident. So we got the
ไม่รู้อะ
anti-CC healer getting picked up here. Could have a Lilium, could have an Aya in
ย
the
กเว้นว่าจะ
last
เป็น
pick
ชา
as
ลอนไม่ก็
well.
ลูเวียไม่
Let's
ก็
see
โล
which
วา
one
น
he's gonna go for. He can also go for something like a Ray Mary, so that it can be a ticking time bomb into these kind of CC team.
Yeah, I feel like you need to go for some big damage dealer because at the moment, if the Nathan is removed, your only damage is really coming from Fia and Luvia. And I feel like that would just be abused by a Lilium if that's picked on 5. So goes for that Ray Marie, that big Messiah! Are we going to see our first
มาแล้วครับ
Messiah
แมสไซ
game?
อาร์รอบตัวแรก
Wait, hold
ใน
up.
ทัวร์นาเมน
It
ต์ป่ะ
also mean that Nathan might actually
แต่ว่าก
stay
ด
on
เลมาผมว่า
field
ต้องแปลนใครอ่ะ
because
It
you're gonna
could
get a
well.
Lily speed buff into a CC
คือ
situation, so Nathan
มี
might
บัส
not
ปี
be
ดใช่ไหม
that scary.
อาจจะไม่ต้องแบนนา
Now,
เทน
is
นะ
the Messiah
แบนเลป่ะ
speed
พวก
tuned
เนี้ย
to the Lily? The thing
ห
is,
รือว่า
if
แบนเฟียสักตัวเนี่ย
speed tuning a Messiah
Lea
to a
Fear.
Lily, it means you've got a faster Messiah. It needs to be round about 250 to 260 speed to be able to get bridged by that Lily. So, does he respect the Messiah and ban it out? Or does
Lily
he take
number
the
one นะ
gamble that
Lily โคตรจริง
he is banning Nathan?
ถ้าเร็ว
Because
อ่ะ
I feel like if
เก่ง
he's
จริง
banning
โอเคแบนนาเท
Nathan...
นดีอ่ะ
In fact, the Nathan's on Amber, so do you even care about the Messiah?
They shall see. We got the Messiah stay. This game might end in the blink of an eye here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Lily
This is
Messiah.
gonna
You've
be
been
a
waiting
tough
for this
one.
day, Bob.
I have been waiting for a Messiah,
แสด
and
งว่าบวก
let's
เยอะ
see
ถูก
the
ไหม
damage. He's not going to have an attack
ออก
buff
บวก
or
สองตัว
anything for
ก็เลย
this
เอา
Messiah, so
XC
it's
ออกไปเลย
just pure raw damage from whatever
ไม่ให้ลบ
Messiah can do. Let's see it.
ไม่ตาย
Oh, it's big
โอ้สวน
damage.
แต่ว่ามีนี่ไงอิมมูนแล้วไง
It's big damage, but not enough. Now he has the S3 here, and he's got the S3 immunity up on everybody. So this Nevette's doing nothing. Does he go for the S2 and just try and steal some of these buffs away?
I think he
แสดงว่า
should
มันตาม
because
ไม่ดี
he
เหรอ
want to be
แมส
protected from the
ถูกไหม
Luvia coming very very soon here at least.
หรือว่าแบนไม่ดี
So
จริงผมว่า
probably want to steal some
ผมว่า
buff.
กดมาขนาด
And
เนี้ยเรา
especially
ไม่
the
กลัวนาเทนแล้ว
Luvia,
ปะ
the one that's
แบน
the easiest to kill
แบน
as
เฟีย
well.
ไม่ก็เลไปเลยอะ
So the
Anyway.
only person he can send the S3 on is the Lily. I think it's actually not
เพราะว่า
that
ถ้าเกิด
bad
แมส
a
ได้ปาด
target because it is
แต่เขาไม่แบ
paired
น
up
แมส
with
อะ
that
ทำไม
Messiah.
นาเทนตาย
But
ถึงเขาแบนแมส
no ideal
ต้องมีบัฟสปีด
situation
เรา
here
พอ
because
สู้นาเทนได้นะ
Luvia is going to go down
ผมว่า
very shortly after. She's far too low in HP, and the Kathos is going next. He goes for the S2, gets the invincibility off Messiah. That is actually massive.
ฮะ
Yeah,
ลบ
that is
อะไรเปล่า
huge
ได้เหรอ
because Messiah is
ครับ
now under the
โอ้สวน
mercy of
Oh,
this
and he grabbed
Luminary.
He's going to get the S3 off, so he can
โอ้โห
heal
แล้ว
up pretty
ฮิว
well here.
เบิ่มเบิ่ม
Is he going to get to an S2 proc on that Raymarie? I feel like if he can do that, he has a chance. If the Raymarie just dies, I feel like the game's over.
I think the Raymarie might just die to Messiah here because the skill 3 of
อันตินะ
the Lily is coming out, so
ผม
the
ว่าอันติดีก
Messiah
ว่า
can skill
เซฟ
3 once
อืม
again, and at
แมส
this
น่าจะแซ
point,
ง
I
ขึ้นมา
think
เลย
it
ไหม
might
35
be
เปอ
over.
ร์
Yeah, it could
Okay,
well be.
jump
This
lah.
Messiah's
Ini.
going to get to press S3 again.
Saya
And
di
I
bawah.
feel like everybody but the Fia is dead. No, the
ตัวนี้คุณได้อยู่ปะ
Raymarie's still
เชียวไม่
alive.
เด้ง
But
But
she
the
gets her
Raymarie
turn
can't get a
forward.
turn.
โดน
Oh
แซงเกิ
my
นอีก
God, Bob!
Oh,
We
Jauh.
see it. It happened.
Messiah.
Let's go.
Messiah, the real MVP. He's got 100% win rate.
Oh my God, 100% win rate. And
แม
not
สไซอาร์
only
วิน
that,
เลต
he
100%เพราะว่า
won
เกมนี้เกมแรก
$500 for Ming. That is incredible.
Yeah, and
แบน
he's
เฟียครับ
rocking the
แบน
new
เฟียนะ
rubber ducky skin that you get for this
เพราะว่า
summer battle
ถึงเขาแบน
pass.
แมส
If
ไป
you
เราก็
play
ไหวอยู่ดี
Messiah
นะ เรา
and you
เราไม่ได้
like
กลัว
the skin,
นา
make
เทน
sure
อะ
to
ผมว่า
pick up the battle pass.
มีบัฟสปีด
GG. Messiah took the game home for Ming. Congratulations. That
แมสสุด
is
ใจไปครับสุดใจดิ
incredible.
We
แต่ว่า
waited
อันนี้
the
อันนี้ไม่ได้
whole
แมสสุดใจนะ เป็น
tournament
แมส
and we
เล่นกับลิลลี่ได้
finally got
น่าจะ
it
ส
in
ปีดประมาณ
the second
260
last
50
game. We
ป่ะ
get a Messiah game. I was saying from the very start that Ming's favorite unit is Messiah, and he pulls it out for the final game.
He
Amazing.
waited the entire day for this, and it was worth
ใช่
it.
คนนี้ปะวะที่ผมแพ้
It was
Did I?
definitely worth
สง
it.
สัยมันเล่นอย่างนี้เลย
A
อะ
lot of the time we see Messiah, it's paired up with the Doki as a last pick
แบบ
on
เจอ
five
ลิลลี่
so
สุด
that
ล็อกกลาง
you can actually
โคตรเก่งเลย
use
ว่ะ
the
สู้ไม่ได้
pick.
เลย
But if you're wanting to
ถ้า
pair
speed
him
แพ้
with that Lily, like I say, you have to run him slightly faster so that that
แต่
S2
คนนี้ก็เล่น
bridges,
ลิลลี่ล็อก
you
กลาง
won't get as
สู้ไม่ได้
much pull.
เนี่ยเขาเล่นคล้ายๆกันนะแบน
He had
หยิบ
it
แมสมา
speed tuned
เนี่ยก็ต้อง
perfectly,
แบน
and
อ่ะ
it
มัน
worked
ไม่ไหว
out
หรอก
a treat.
I mean, just get a couple yellow speed in there, Bob. Like,
เนี่ย
it's
โดน
not that
โดน
hard,
ลิล
right?
ลี่ล็อกกลางทุกเกม
We're not
แต่ว่า
gonna
ไม่ใช่
talk
คนนี้
about speed, Sean. My 2x didn't go well again.
And huge congratulations to Ming once again. He
คนนี้
locked
ลิลลี่
in
ปะเนี่ยเดี๋ยวนะ
and he got that
คนนี้คน
$500 third
นี่
place
คนนี้
prize.
เนี่ย
And
ลิลลี่
he
ล็อกกลาง
ended
เก่ง
it
จัดเลย
in
ถ้าสองปิกแรกเป็น
style as
XC กับ
well.
K
You
ทอส
cannot
อะ
ask for a
ลิล
better
ลี่กลาง
ending
คือแบบ
for
โอ้โห
Ming in this
สู้
tournament.
ไม่รู้สู้ยังไงอะสู้ไม่ได้อะ
No, you definitely
ขนาดมี
can't.
ซิลเวียมีอะไรก็ไม่ไหวอะ
Finally locks that
มันดึง
Messiah.
XC
I
มา
was
แล้วก็
so happy to see
ปลด
that
หัว
locked in.
ถึงเด้ง
I
ส
thought
ไตล์
he
มา
was
ก็ไม่
just
แทรกอยู่
gonna
ดีเพราะว่า
hover
XC
it.
มัน
I
ดึงเพื่อน
didn't believe it
โดนลิ
until
คู
he
ดาวหมด
locked it,
ตาย
but man, it
แพ้
pulled out all the stops there. And we're seeing the Messiah
โหดจริง
as the
ลิลลี่ล็อกกลาง
key
โหดจริง
animus. 100% was 86% of the overall
Game.
damage in 2 turns. And now remember, Messiah got buffed this season. He's actually way stronger than he used to be. Deals so much damage now, even with
แพ้
that.
อะไรบางวัน
S2.
ลืมละ
I think he get like ignore defense on all his skill. So
อย่าไป
the
ดูเกม
S2
แพ้เยอะ เดี๋ยว
is very very
ติด
deadly.
ดับ
And also I think he
แพ้ดับ
gains
แพ้
immunity invincibility regardless with the skill 3. So he's very well protected after he performs his attack.
จด
Yeah,
ดับ
because
คุณนัด
you've
ไปครับ
seen he did that S3 on the first
แต่อันนี้
turn.
ผมนานแล้วนะ
Raymarie
ผม
actually
เล่นนานแล้วดิ
brambled into him. Previously, what used to happen a lot is you
ผม
would
ไม่
press
ผมยัง
that
ไม่เล่น
S3,
RTA
Raymarie
มา
would
หลายวันแล้ว
bramble, and then he'd be stunned. And then he's just kind of a sitting duck. But that can no longer happen to him. He's It's a really strong buff for him. You just need to find the right draft to pick him, and he's still a very, very strong unit.
But my Messiah is P0. You think it's worth it?
Maybe not for you. I feel like Messiah is one of those units that the more dupes you have on him, the stronger he is, because it gives you that crit and crit damage, so it just makes him easier to build.
Man, that is crazy that he actually showed up, and I think the fact that his head glow up in the highlight is kind of a bug, right? It looks kind of cool. It was like a Super Saiyan style.
It is very cool. After he pressed S3, he just went like full Super
ใช่
Saiyan.
แมสสปีด216
It's just like the
แมส
only
ตัว
the
ที่เก่งที่
head
สุดใน
is
เกมไม่รับ
like
ความเห็น
shining
ต่าง
white.
ครับ
It's kind of funny.
โหดจริง
But yeah, well done to Ming. Battled through, only lost the one game and came away with third place, going home with $500. And commiserations to Yong. Did really well making it all this way. We'll just need to battle back next time and try and get that little bit further.
Indeed. And that concludes the third place match for this tournament. And we are finally at the very last match. Coming up soon between Kaka and Lucky Ilun. Last time, Lucky Sunny, I would say the brother of Lucky Ilun, was the champion, beating up UA in the final. Now Kaka is going to return and try to get revenge for the global server.
Yeah, and will he be able to do it? Last time the game went all the way to 5th game, and it came down to a bit of a race there at the end, if I remember rightly. It was Doki versus Lily in the final game. I don't know if we'll see something like that again. I don't know if Kecker's the type to
Matt
race.
number
I
one,
feel
yeah.
like he's more confident in
Matt
just locking that turn 2 and playing his own play
จบๆหน่อยเรา
style,
จะไปดูคู่
but
ชิง
you never know.
หิวข้าวแล้ว
Hey, Keka also have a Messiah P5, so maybe he's going to do that and surprise the enemy.
I would be very surprised if he pulls that out. I know he also has a Batsby, but I can't remember the last time I've seen Batsby play.
That's who? Hey, best unit for Nether Quarry, okay? RTS is proud of him.
I think that is why he built him. So, as you can see, we have Lucky Ilun coming up against Kecker. They have both shared the Luan as their preferred animus, and then we have Fia and Sharon on the side of Lucky Ilun, whereas we have Sylvia and Jean Lee on the side of Kecker. Sylvia giving you that more
เห็นนะ
turn
เมื่อ
meter
กี้จบแล้ว
manipulation,
2-0
giving
นะ
you that
ผม
immunity,
ลืมเลย
and also that
จบเร็วจริงว่ะ
John
2-0
Lee giving you
ใช่ไหม
that time weave, which is super valuable if it comes in at the right time for your whole team. Fia just that consistent cleanser and healer, and Sharon just the MVP of the tournament so far.
two time
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those
EWS
animals getting picked up by
แชมเปี้ยน
both player, but it is which one that you get that can form the perfect counter for the enemy team, because anyone can pick these units, but picking them in the right situation, in the right order, is gonna be the most important part between these two players, because unlike other gacha game, for this one, they pretty much have every unit, so there's no difference in unit. They also share similar shell, similar imprint, so it really boils down to like, when do you draft what in this kind of game.
Yeah, and I wonder if any of them are on slightly different cards. If anybody has a different card that's leveled up, maybe someone on Gladiator, someone on Sentinel, that may be boiling down to the difference. Who knows? I can't really remember what cards they're running. If I remember rightly, Kecker's on Sentinel, but I can't remember what Lucky Ilun was on. But we are into the draft now. We're seeing the Nathan and the Kathos taken out. So, what's going to go first? We're seeing the Sylvia priority from Lucky Ilun, leaving open the Jean Chi for Kecker to take and the Luan.
Ooh, not the Luvia, but the Lowen Swanchi this time around. So over there, Lucky Ilun already locked in a very strong healer. What kind of damage he's going to do? Usually you could see Kethos and Swanchi, but he's going in with an early Sharon and a Lily lock.
Well, Sharon and Lily, we did see in Kecker's last matchup, he was pre-banning the Lily, so potentially Lucky Ilun's seen that and has decided, okay, game 1, I'm going to go for the Lily and see if I can get a forced ban in for the rest of the series.
But that is if he wins the match with the Lily, though. So we don't know that yet. So what is the counterplay here? Are we going Fluke?
Okay,
Are we going Plume?
ลิลลี่อีกแล้ว
What is he going for? It is going to be the Fuchu getting locked in by Kaker. So he's in that turn 2 position, but I think this is where we saw the Luvia as well potentially disrupt the combo of Lucky Loon.
Yeah, and yeah, he goes for that Luvia on 4. Now, what is Lucky Loon going to go for on the 4-5 here? I feel like Kaker's draft is fairly well-rounded. He's going for CC in the form of that. Super strong pairing went up with that Sharon.
แต่ถ้าแพ้สปีดนี่คือเหนื่อยแล้ว
But
ปะ
is that the only CC? Does he need a
เค
bit
ทอ
of
ไม่มี
damage?
แล้ว
That's
ใช่ไหม
Going for Lilium.
Oh, interesting.
ทุกไงวะเนี่ย
So what does Kaker answer here? What does he go for on 5?
ผมว่า
Because I feel like this
อย่างนี้ต้อง
Lilium's going to get to move regardless of kind of... Unless the Luvia is just so fast that she outspeeds the Sharon. The Lily.
I don't think that's going to happen. So we might see some sort of defensive draft here coming out from Kaker. Out of some big AoE damage. But whoa!
เฟย่า
I like it.
ดีไหม
He's
ผมว่า
going
ดี
for
นะ
the Freya on 5 as a force ban.
แต่ว่า
For me to
2 ตัว
say
แรก
that
ต้องมีสักตัวหนึ่ง
if you
ที่
don't ban it, my Luvia is going
ที่
to
สปีด
go
ดึงถึงอะ
after, or potentially even the Luan. I don't know if Kaker's running that Swift Luan, and if he was able to bridge it, I feel like it's just a force ban. Now, if he's not actually fast enough, I feel like the Freya's almost a dead unit. So, does Lucky Loon respect it and ban the Freya, or does he just let it through and take the gamble?
แต่เหมือน4 ตัวแรกเขา
This is
ลักกี้ลูนก็พอ
crazy.
สู้ไหวนะ
Kaker always pulling out the
ผมต้องไปในเวท
wildest
อยู่แล้ว
last pick
ไม่มีล้าง
sometimes.
อะ
And
ไม่ไหว
it get respected.
อันนี้ดึง
So
ซิล
we
เวีย
will
มา
have hard CC coming
แล้ว
out
ชาลอน
from Lucky Loon.
อันติ
And
อุ้ยอย่างงี้
Kaker will get to
อย่างงี้
use
อัน
his
นี้มันจะได้
Fuchu
อันติ
for
นะ
healing. Let's
ผู้
see if
ฉิ
he
วอะ
can get
ถูกไหม
that skill 3 off.
And I
Oi!
feel like he pulls up the Lilium because I feel like he
อ๋อ
wants to just
มัน
try
รี
and
เซ็ตได้อยู่ดี
one-shot
ใช่ปะ
the- Oh!
อุ้ย
it-
ตายเลยนะเนี่ย
Can he just
เอ้า
kill?
ตายเลย
He's killed the
ตัววัน
Luan.
ตายเลย
The Luan's already out. He just needs to
that's-
deal with the Luvia.
โอ้โห
Oh my god, the speed buff allowing
แล้ว
his
คือ
Sylvia to move in
กดอัน
front
ติ
of that
โดนรีคูลดาวน์เนี่ย
Luvia is
ผู้หิวอะไม่ได้กลางนะ
wow, he got
And he gets the
completely
X3 off, so he's
Wait,
going to
did
get
I?
a good
He
deal of
made
the
it.
combo again. He's going to
โอ้
kill
ตายเลย
something else,
ตายแล้ว
killing the
It's
Jean
over.
Cher.
X ตายแล้ว
It is over.
จบแล้ว
Oh my god, Kaker completely shut down
บอก
in
That's
a
game
ลิล
one
ลี่มัน
over.
เก่งจริงว่ะมันโหดมากอะ
turn. Wow. 3-turn checkmate coming out from Lucky Loon. Beautifully executed.
That was well played from him, and like I was saying, goes for the Lily and game
ดา
one.
สำนักจันทร์
How does
ตัว
Kaker have
สวัสดี
force
คุณ
ban
เบสิก
for
ครับ
the rest of the series? Can he deal with it?
I thought he was gonna pull like Sylvia and then he do the whole dot thingy. He just cleaned up with Lilium immediately.
โหดจริงว่ะ
That is crazy work.
แล้วลิเลียมดึงถึง
That was
มาร์ค
super
เรียกว่าอะไร
well
นะ
played.
ไทเกอร์มาร์คใคร
Gets the
คนนั้นตายเลย
Etheria off, kills the Luan,
แต่ผมไม่คิดว่าตอนแรก
finishes
ไม่
the
คิดว่าน่าจะ
Anger
แซง
with
ขึ้นมา
the
นะ
Sylvia, and then
ใช่ว่าเขา
does
คำนวณ
the whole
คำนวณมาแล้ว
combo
ว่า
again with
ซิลเวียจะแซง
Lilium,
แน่
kills off the XC,
คำนวณยังไง
and
นะ
it's just game.
ๆพอบวกสปีด
Nothing
แล้วแบบ
Kaker could
เกม
do.
มัน
He
จะแซ
didn't
ง
get to
แต่ไม่รู้ว่า
press a single button.
And
Yeah,
it's
đúng cái
not
nó kia
like
này.
he didn't get to press a single button in the CC boring match. He just got
แต่ก็ไม่ไหวอยู่ดีป่ะ
completely
เพราะว่าถึง
surgically
ถึง
removed
ลูเวียจะ
by
หุบได้
Lucky
มันหุบ
Loon
ได้ใครอะ
over
หุบ
there.
ลิลลี่
Yeah, and
ใช่ไหมหรือ
do
ไม่ก็
you
หุบ
think he has to remove the
Charlotte.
Lily?
He has to now. I mean, you
แต่
said it.
แต่ว่า
He's
ซิลเวียก็ได้
gonna
อัน
be
ติ
a
อยู่ดี
force
พอซิลเวีย
ban
อันติ
after
ยังไงตัววันก็ตาย
Because if you let this Lily go and you're going turn 2, you are just exposing yourself to a lot of different kind of turn 1 cleave control situation.
Yeah, and this is the thing with best of 5. You have a little bit more leeway in playing about with a more risky comp. Lucky Loon went for it in game 1 and it paid off massively. You're seeing that Lilium as the key animus, 90% damage in 2 turns. She just one-shot 2 units and it was GG.
Indeed, immediately removed from the game. And also the fact that he was very sure with speed buff, Sylvia is going to move in front of Luvia. That was just cleanly done as well, because if the Luvia
โหด
gets
จั
to
ดเลย
move,
ว่ะดับ
maybe it's going to be a little bit awkward, but Luvia did not
เมื่อ
get
กี้
to
เหมือนแบบ
move at all.
เก็กเกอร์แบบโดนตบเป็นแรง
And it was just
Rank
well
matter
played.
เลยนะ
So it's pressure on Kaker.
ไม่ได้วัด
Kaker's
สเตต
the
ไม่ได้
one
วัด
that
อะไร
needs
เล
to
ยอะ
kinda change something.
เทิร์นเดียว
We
ไม่2 เทิร์นนะ
aren't
จบ
in the draft quite yet. The players are just getting ready. But what do you think Kecker changes
โหดจริ
here
งว่ะ
other
ก๊อปดี
than
กว่า
the Lily
แต่สปีด
pre-ban? Or
ผ
do
ม
you
มัน
think
ช้า
that's
ว่ะ
enough
เดี๋ยวต้อง
and
ฟาร์ม
he
โดกิ
just
เพิ่ม
goes with that for the next game
เวส
before
เว
you
ส
can
ล่าอะไรไม่เอา
actually
แล้ว
get
ผม
too
ว่า
far?
สวิปลัดสำคัญกว่า
I don't think he's
Odd.
gonna let the Lily stay anymore, and he gotta think about maybe going first in front of this kind of draft, or maybe get a Valerian in there.
Yeah,
ถ้า
the
ซีรีส์สัก
Valerian would
390
stop
ผมว่า
that
ผมอยาก
one
อยาก
shot
เล่นอยู่
from happening.
สปีด1ลิลลี่
But we shall see. Keka is very good adapting. He lost his first game in this tournament, round of 16. So we never know. He might win the next 3 in a row. Is Keka?
He might. He definitely might. We are into the pick ban now. They are just doing their pre-bans. I'm assuming we're going to see the Lily pre-ban this time. We don't.
ดาวตัว
He's
ตัวลิลลี่
letting the
390
Lily
บวก
through
เข้าร่วม
again.
ได้แล้ว
Same
ใช่ไหมครับ
pre-bans. We're
โหด
seeing
จริง
the
ว่ะมัน
main
แก้
thing
ยากมากเลย
with the
ถ้าเกิด
Kathos
เราชนะส
taken
ปีด
out.
อ่ะ
Lucky Loon going for that Sylvia first pick.
ถ้าว่า2
yet
พิกแรกจะเป็น
again.
เคทอส
So maybe if he let the
XC,
Lily stay, he's gonna
Sylvia,
switch to
อะไรก็ได้
a
3 ตัวเนี้ย
post ban.
โลวันยังได้นะ
And maybe that is going
4
to be
ตัว
a Lilium post ban, but you also expose yourself to being hard CC.
พอกดลิลลี่มาก็กดเล่นแมสได้ เล่นเนเวตเล่นนาฮอได้
Yeah,
พิก
but
4-5
will they just go for the exact same draft up until the locked slot?
Okay,
Or will
Sylvia
they go for something a bit
แต่ว่าไม่ได้แบน
different?
ลิล
Does
ลี่นะ
Kecker
โดนลิลลี่
maybe
ปะ
have another unit
เพราะว่าลิล
that
ลี่
he's
อ่ะ
not
แพ้
showing
แพ้
yet
พรูม
that's on maybe his top speed? That if the Lily's locked, he can answer with that. Does he think his Doki is potentially faster? And then
แต่ว่าเขา
he
เลือก
can lock
เลือก
the
ทีหลังอ่ะ
Doki
ถ้าเกิดกด
into that Lily.
กดลิลลี่มาน่าจะแพ้เลยนะ
That'd be
โดน
interesting
คูเรน
to
ดอท
see.
แน่นอน
But
ยกเว้นว่า
we're
เก็
pretty
กเกอร์
much
ไป
getting the
ใส่
same
สปีดตัวอื่น
draft here. I wonder if Keka suddenly locked a Freya in this position.
No, he's going for
Ooh.
that Valyrian lock. I
Wale.
like that because it lets him. It stops the Lilium coming out and being able to
โอ้ยแต่ว่า
one-shot something.
Valyrian
And
ดี
he
อะผมว่า
actually takes
ชนะหมด
the
เลยดิ
Lilium in response
เจอ
anyway.
เนี่ยดับตอนนี้ผมดับบ่อย
Now
นะ
he
วาเล
has
บอกลิเลียมอ่ะ
access
โหดดิ
into that Sharon, and he
ชาลอน
also
กับ
has the
ซิลเวีย
Valyrian,
มันทำอะไร
so
ไม่ได้
he
อะ
could do
มัน
his
ทำอะไรวาเลไม่ได้ดิ
alongside
ถึงมันจะ
this
reset
as well.
เกรดวาเลมันก็ไม่ลงมันได้กลางอยู่ดี
Valyrian if he wants to on 5.
Wait, am I
แล้วพอได้กลาง
selling
ชาลอนก็แบบ
Messiah pick right
ไม่เข้า
now
แล้ว
with the Lily? What are you thinking?
I
แต่ว่า
don't
เขา
know
ตัด
about
ไป
the
เลยนะ
Messiah. I feel like the Messiah
ฉลาด
because
เล่น
he
ฉลาด
could
ไม่
make
กด
it
เล
faster, struggles to get through the Valyrian. It doesn't have that raw
แต่จริง
damage
มี
that
ดัต
you
หนึ่งก็
need.
คือกดเลอะ
I feel
แล้ว
like
แบบ
he
ปล่อย
could
โลวานไป
potentially
แล้วเขาก
go
ด
for
โลวาน
something
ลิล
like
ลี่
an
แล้วกด
Yvette,
ทวินดอท
try
ล็อก
and
กลาง
get rid of
แล้ว
the
ก็ต่อด้วย
block.
คาโนแมส
Luvia is still up as well though, and he could just send
Assault.
away one of the defense scalers.
เอาอย่างนี้
He has
ฟอส
that
อย่างนี้
Assault,
อย่าง
and
นี้
that
แบน
Assault
เอ้ย
paired
ตา
up with the Lily just
โคกเคอร์ดี้
so much
ร้าน
work
นี้
done.
แบรนด์แอสเซลถูกป่ะ
Indeed. And oh, hold up. Actually,
there is
go
the
for the
Navette.
Navette right there. Is it going to be like a
เอาไม่ได้ละ
Lilium ban situation here, and also a Navette ban coming out from
นี่ต้องแบนเนเวตนะผมว่า
I'm not sure. It depends if this Navette is on Bloodbath. I think if the Navette is on Bloodbath, I don't think you need to worry about the Lilium too much. Whereas if it's not on Bloodbath, I think you need to ban the Lilium.
All right, we shall see then.
ไม่ก็กด
What is it
กดอา
going
ญา
to
มา
be
แล้วก็แบน
against
แอสเซลไป
Etheria?
อะผมว่าดีกว่า
And
ไหม
the
น่าจะ
Library
ดีอะ
is going to be a
โอ้ยเลกดเล
Lilium.
ก็เป็นเนเวตอะไรเงี้ย
Oh, it's going to be a Lilium
เพราะว่าไม่
ban.
ต้อง
It is going to be a
ไม่
Navette
ต้องแบน
ban.
แอสเซล
So there will be some dot damage, but the damage from Raymary plus Shranchi might be a bit too much for Lucky Loon to deal with.
เพราะว่าเขาไม่มีตัวซีซีนะ
Yeah,
ไม่มีตัวแบบหยุดอะ
Interestingly,
ถ้าเกิดเล
all
ครบร้อยก็
three
เด้ง
of
เลย
the
ไม่มี
units
ตัว
outside of the Valyrian
ขัด
from the side of Kacker are on Amber, so going to be really
แต่
hard
ไม่
to
เขาไม่มี
deal
ตัว
with
ฆ่า
for this
ฆ่าวา
Assault
เล
and
อะ
the
ใช่ไหม
Sharon. But this Assault should be able to stack up super quickly when paired with this Lily.
Oh, 6 stacks. Lilium.
รีเซ็ต
I mean, Lily is getting this Assault going crazy very, very soon. And he's going to get another rotation of
อุ้ย
this.
แต่ว่าถ้าเกิดกดรีเซ็ต
And
แล้ว
I
รี
think
รีเล
this
แอสเซลติดนี่
Valerian
คือเหงาเลยนะ
skill 3 is going to get
เอ้ยรี
reset
โรวานอะ
as well. So he,
ผมว่าเขาต้อง
skill
รี
2
ปะ
is going to get reset as well.
อันนี้ยังไม่ต้องกด
So
ส
when
กิล
he
นะ
pops
ตีธรรมดาไปก่อน
somebody, that somebody is
เพ
probably
ราะว่า
going
เลือ
to
ดเต็
die.
มแถมไม่ต้องการใคร
Yeah,
โอเค
so this Lily is. I would assume he sends the S3 here,
Anti.
and then he goes for another S3
Hup.
on the Assault. He's already
Timon.
going to be at 12 stacks on the Assault, and we are only a
Oi.
couple of turns
Door
into
minute.
the game. This Assault is ramping quickly.
Oh, it's 14. Oh my god. That is crazy. One battle wheel proc and suddenly like this Raymary is
Oh, but half the HP even
โคตรแรงอะ
through the 14 stack.
ตายเลยปะเนี่ย
Is he just going to be
เอ้ย
able
แต่ว่า
to
โดน
terminate
ดูด
the
เกรด
Assault?
I
ดูดไม่ติด
think so,
ดูดโลวานไม่ติด
because you have to consider the Raymary being so weak at the moment as well that her damage might not be enough.
Yeah, and the Raymarie just got sent miles back by
อัน
the
ติ
Sharon.
ได้
I feel like the S1
โอ้ต้องอัน
proc
ติแล้ว
here
ต้องอันติ
from
ปะ
if the S1 from the Lily goes into the Raymarie, I feel like she might actually just proc the Valyrian.
Yeah, and I don't think Valerian has the skill to
Oh,
anymore.
it's so close.
เอาโดนทอน
that is
And the
almost.
taunt.
โดนทอนแบบไม่ต้อง
Oh,
อัน
but
ติ
I think the dot pop is
เอาติ
gonna
ไม่
be.
เข้า
Oh, that is not gonna be
Oh,
enough
it's
to bring
not.
down.
เอาโดนนะเนี่ย อันติปะหรือว่าตีธรรมดาได้นะ
I think he has
ตี
to
ธรรมดา
go
ขวา
into the Assault here and hope that
โอ้
it's
ย
enough.
เรียบร้อย
It's gonna be enough. That was so much
ACQ
damage.
Oh my
แรง
god,
จัด
that is so perfect. If he kill right there, I think Asao is gonna be healed back to like 80%.
แต่ว่าจังหวะที่
But
กด
he did
กด
just
หนึ่งใส่ชาลอน
enough
อะไปกด
damage
อัน
to
ติไม่
prep
ดีกว่า
for
เหรอ
the Raymarie.
กด
That
อัน
is
ติลบส
beautifully
ปีดแล้วก็
executed.
แปะเบาบางหรือว่ามันแรงเกิน
Taking that turn, he got the defense
จบแล้ว
buff
ดิอันเนี้ย
from the Valyrian, so he was able to deal so much damage into that Assault, and I don't see a way back here for Lucky Alun. I think that's just GG. Once you get the Assault out, I think all of the pressure from this team is
อืม
kind of
แถมพอ
gone.
ลาแอสเซลมันโดน execute ไปแล้วอะ
Wow, that
เขาไม่มีด้วยไง
damage
ไม่มี
was so perfectly lined up. And that is
แบบ
GG
สแตทมัน
Taker
สแตทที่มันลดไว้มัน
game
มัน
two
กลับมา
with
หมดเลย
back to square
ของเล
one.
อะ
We are, so it's now effectively just a
ถ้ามาพลิก
best
ลิลลี่กลาง
of
แก้ง่ายครับ
three.
ใช่ครับ
Two wins,
แต่ถ้าเกิดเรา
and
เลื
you
อก
get
ก่อน
to
แล้ว
walk
อีกฝั่งเลือก
home
ลิลลี่
with
ล็อกกลางทีหลังอะโอ้โหโคตร
$3,000.
สู้โคตรยากเลย
Now on Lucky Alun to
แบบ
adapt
ถ้าเกิดเราเลือกก่อนเราไม่มี
into
ทางเลือกวาเลเรียน
game.
ก่อนอยู่แล้วอะแพทเนี้ยไม่งั้นโด
What
น
do you think's gonna change
โดน
in the
เฟีย
next
โด
game?
นเฟียมิเลีย
I think it might not need to be a Lily ban here. I think Lucky Luna is actually the
แถม
one
เดี๋ยวนี้
who
มันก็
needs to
เล่น
change a little
คอม
bit
โบวาเลกับ
to
ลิงหลวงไม่
adapt
เก่ง
to
แล้ว
this
มันเล่นเพราะว่ามัน
Valerian
ขยาย
from
อมตะไม่ได้
I feel
วาเล
like
มันดรอปเพราะว่า
the Navette was a good
ลิง
pick.
หลวงแบบ
I just
เมคานิกมันโดนเนิร์ฟได้แหละ
do you think you maybe just hold off on picking the Sharon until maybe
ขยาย
4
อ
or
มตะไม่ได้
5? Because then you have more flexibility. You could go for like a more stable pick on 2, and then you're not having to get through that Valyrian, because you might not lock the Valyrian if you're not picking Sharon on 2.
Yeah, maybe you want to switch to a Xuan Li early pick in this situation, because I don't think Luvia and Luvia, Sylvia, Lily first 3 is a little bit too support and not enough damage.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the key animus in that game. It was the Raymarie not rocking that
ผมว่า
first well
คีย์
spray.
อนิมัสมัน
It
ควร
is
จะเป็น X4 หรือเปล่าวะ
Bloodbath Bramble Swift Smite. And
X4 แบบ
35% damage and only took 1 turn.
วนอย่างเร็วเลย วนจน
Raymarie things.
แบบได้เล่น
I think
3 เทิร์น
it's
อะ
more about
ขาดไม่มีตัวบัฟสปีด
the Xuan Chi doing exactly the amount of damage you need, so that Raymarie could just swoop in and like tap that goal.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've seen a very similar situation yesterday in the game from Junseo, but the Zhongqi actually dealt slightly too much damage in that game, procced the Assault and full healed it. So very fine margins there, and it just worked out for Kaker.
I think it was actually the Assault proccing the battle wheel, getting 2 more stack so that she could survive the Xuanqi. And that was the bad moment. Like, if she didn't get the battle wheel, she would be 2 stack less, and maybe she could have died to that hit from the Xuanqi.
Yeah, and then she would have full healed, actually suffering from success there. Stacked too quickly. Who would have thought? But yeah, it's all to play for. We're getting a very exciting final here, though. Back and forth. I wonder if the next game will go the same way, or whether momentum is now in Kaker's favor.
Ooh, we got
You
a
know?
Nathan first pick from Keka right there, because the
Okay.
pre-ban is a different pre-ban this time around. So we got a Sylvia and Loan pre-ban.
โอ้โห
Completely
ด้านนี้โดน
different pre-ban
โดนลิล
here.
ลี่กันดิ
So Keka get to lock the early Sharon, funny enough. But is he going to do it though? He know a Lily is coming.
Well, or does he take
Sharon
the Lily
Valley,
from this situation? Because then you get the Lily either with the Nathan or the Sharon, both very strong pairings alongside that.
เพราะว่าเล
Lily.
ไม่ค่อยตี
But
แบบ
there isn't the
Funny.
Sylvia this time to do
Familiar.
that kind of funky combo. We are seeing the Lily lock again from Lucky Alun. Again, he has 2 super strong pairings with the Lily. Kathos and XC are both very strong paired with Lily. And then he's locking that Lilium again. We've already
out.
seen what that Lilium can do in game 1. What is Keker's response going to be to that?
Yeah, I think Keka is letting Lucky Loon going a little bit too aggressive here. So I think he might have to opt for the Valerian so that he doesn't die immediately. But we got the late Freya. Man, this is crazy. Like the late Freya has been popping up quite a fair bit in Kaka's draft, so that he can scare away the Lily, force the ban, and he also lock in the Raymary here potentially to just
ไหวไหมเนี่ย
return fire on
ถ้า
everything.
ว่าอย่างนี้เขาไม่แบนนาเทนมั้ยเขา
I
แบน
really
เฟย่า
like
ผมว่า
a Tiamat into the Lilium because the damage share just stops any of your units from dying
ชอบ
as
กด
long
เทมแมท
as
นะ
they're on blood.
เทมแมทมาสู้กับลิเลียม
It's very difficult to one
แล้ว
shot, even with a max stack Lilium that is just like
มันจะไม่โดน
insane.
ทีเดียว
It's
เลย
so hard
ทีเดียว
to
ตาย
one shot
เพราะมัน
through
จะ
a
แชร์เลือด
Tiamat damage share,
ผมก็
and
กด
even if you hit the
เทมแมท
Tiamat
มาแก้
with
ลิ
the
เลียมแหละปกติ
S3, it just transforms her if she's on Amber. So
แต่ว่ามันจะแพ้ลิลลี่นิดนึง
Freya.
แล้ว
If
ก็
I
ถ้า
was
มันรีคูล
Lucky
ดาวน์
Loon,
อะไร
I'd probably just let the Freya through. I don't feel like it does that much in this draft.
Yeah, probably gonna be like a Nathan ban here and potentially a Fushu ban because Fushu's gonna give this Sharon a lot of problem.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Fushu and the Nathan ban.
โอ้
So
เพราะเฟย่าดึงถึ
The,
งแค่ชาลอต
the
นะ
Freya is getting through. I would assume that
ชาลอตก็จะทำอะไร
Sharon is
มากไม่ได้
fast enough to bridge, but if the
เพราะว่า
Sharon
ลิ
doesn't bridge,
เลียม
it's
ก็
just
ดึง
GG.
ไม่ลง
Here we
X-
go. Is
XC
it
ก็
going
เด้ง
to be fast enough?
ขึ้นมา
It is fast
It
enough to
is.
move in front.
But the Kathos is going to steal the turn away from the Raymarie.
อ๋อเลไม่ได้เล่นหน่อย
Pretty massive, so he's not going to get that massive burst damage coming out from her. He will get all the dot damage coming out here. Is it enough to kill anybody?
Imagine if the Lilium get brambled by the Raymare and just die immediately. That'd be funny.
ค่าเลอ๋อแต่ว่าเลมีแอมเบอร์เนี่ย
But with the defense break, I'm pretty sure it's.
โอ้ยตายนะ
This could be massive damage coming out here.
มีโอกาส
He could
ตาย
just kill off the Raymare
อัน
immediately.
ติเสร็จ
Yeah.
โดนใบเชล
But
I
ห
feel
รือว่า
like-
ต้องใบเชลหรือวะถ้าเซฟอะ
Do you go for the S3
หรือไม่ก็
here
กด
and
ส
then
อง
you
นะถ้ากดสอง
S3
ได้ ถ้าไม่กดสอง
on
ตีธรรมดาตีทั้งตัว
Lily,
อื่น
and then you can
Back
just
on.
send an S2 into the Raymarie, kill off the Raymarie, and stun the whole team on the side of Kacker.
เอ้า
that
เอ้า
Oh, the Bramble! The Bramble! Oh,
my
ผมว่า
Oh my god, Kaka with the plot armor. Once
ผมว่าเขาไม่ควร
swoop, he
มัน
turned the
เรียกว่าอะไร
game around.
ถ้าไม่กด 3 ก็กด 1 ตีตัวอื่นปะเพราะว่าเราต้องเลี้ยงเลือดเลให้มันเกิน 60 เปอร์
It's been so back and forth, and then it just a
เพราะว่า
random
เฟียก็อันติไปแล้วนี่
Bramble wins that
เราไม่ต้อง
one.
กลัวว่าเฟียจะฮิวขึ้นมา
What was that? Kaka
โดนสวนตายเลย
completely shut down Lucky Loon.
ผมว่าต้องไม่ต้องแบบ
But
ไม่ต้องไป
that's
ตี
the
หนึ่งใส่มัน
problem,
อะ
going for a
เดี๋ยวเราให้
full
ลิเลียม
aggressive
แทงหมดหลอดนะ
Lily
แล้วก็ฆ่า
no healer. If something like that happens, like a Raymarie Brambles or a Tiamat Brambles, a lot of the time it's just GG. That's the risk you take.
That is crazy. Still, Raymary Bramble.
เลก็ยังเป็นเลอะ
The scariest thing to
Bramble
happen to
น่ารำคาญจัด
you in the restart, especially when you are low in health like the Shang-Chi right there. After taking that first layer of dot damage from Sharon, he was in prime real estate for Raymary to kill.
Yeah, and it was just all the stars aligned, Raymarie Brambled, and GG. That nothing you can do. It's just 25%. You take the risk when you're letting Raymarie through. And Raymarie, once again, 0 turns taken, 35% damage.
ไม่ได้เข้าเทิร์นไม่ได้เทิร์นเดียว
Bramble
แต่ว่า
into the S2 proc.
เป็น
She
key
got
animat
2 kills without taking a turn.
That is just absolutely toxic. Raymary with
แล้วคือเลเป็น
scare you
คีย์
since
อนิมัส
season
สอง
1
รอบแล้ว
all the way
รอบที่แล้วก็
until now and
เล
maybe all the way into the future. The S1 plus terminate plus damage and with the
คิดอะไรไม่ออกก็บอกเลยอะ
also
พลิกสองก็
enjoying
เก็บเลย
some
ทุกเกมนะ
juicy damage boost because
เอาจ
he
ริง
was
เพราะว่า
near half
มันไม่ได้
health.
เก่งกว่าตัวอื่นขนาดนั้นแต่
Yeah, and
ผม 4-5 ก็เลยถนัดมากกว่า ตัวอื่นมัน
Raymarie's been
4-0 4-1
nerfed before. This is the nerfed Raymarie. She was stronger before. She is still a super strong unit. Having that execute is just so valuable. And when it's on a Bramble, even better.
Yeah, I think once in a while I'll be like, man, I want my Raymary on Bulwark. You put it on Bulwark and you feel terrible. You miss the Bramble so much. So you always just go back to the Bramble.
Yeah, so we're into game 4 now, and Lucky Loon won the first game with that Lily Lock, but has lost the last 2 with the Lily Lock. Does he
Skin
move away
Lang
from
Le
it, or does
ซีซั่นหน้าต้องมาแล้ว
think
ครับ
he just like, no, this is my strategy, I'm sticking to it, I know what to change now, if I didn't get brambled, we win. So he's got Nathan open again. Kecker is taking the Nathan. And are we seeing the Kethos into the Zhang-Chi like we seen last time? Are they running back the same draft?
Yeah, I think if he didn't get Bramble, the game could have been very, very different. The Lilium would start going absolutely crazy. But unfortunately, the Bramble just happened, and there's really nothing you could do about it. Oh, we got the early Sharon with the Nathan once again. Probably it's going to be into a Fia because there is no Luan. But I think Lucky Elun is sending back the same draft here.
Yeah, we're getting the salty run back. He's like, no, I win this draft if you don't Bramble. We're running it back. But Kecker maybe looking to switch up the last pick. This time looking at the XC on last.
I think he also recognized the luck in that Bramble, and he realized that maybe Raymary was actually not it. And if the enemy is banning Nathan anyway, and I get to pick Freya, I might as well pick something that synergizes with the Freya.
Yeah, so looking to pick another bridge this time. So he has 3 bridges with the Freya. He has the Ting, the Sharon, and the Nathan. All will be fast enough to actually bridge. But Lucky Elun going from that Aaron on 5. So 2 different layers of pulling up for 1 unit. So potentially just giga carry with this Lilium if he's not able to deal with it. I kind of like the Aaron here actually.
I think it might be a Freya ban because it seems like he wants to kill something quickly, and Nathan might be the target.
The only concern I have is I don't know if he'll be able to, if he bans the Freya, I don't know if he's actually able to kill this Nathan, and I'd be scared that the Nathan just 1v4s the whole game.
ถ้าเกิดเนเธนมันได้เข้าเธอรอบหนึ่งไม่ได้บัฟสปีดนะผมว่า
So the Sharon the Didding will be really strong if they get to use all their skill. So the Freya is gonna get out, and the Lily I think will actually skill 3 right off the bat.
I don't know.
Never mind.
I feel
just
like
kidding. That's not happening.
I feel like he pulls up the Lilium and just one-shot something again. So it's
ตายเลยปะ
I would assume he goes for this to Ting.
เขาเร็วเลย
actually hit.
อ๋อเขามี
He does.
บวก
And he
ปะ
killed through Bloodbath. Very easy kill there. Now, does he hit the S3 pushback onto the Sharon? He does hit that as well. So he's going to be able to deal a massive chunk here into the Sharon. The XC is going to deal almost 2 damage to it.
But we have the king of solo Nate. Oh my god!
จะตายแล้วนะ
Damage. That is a goodbye to Lilium, pretty much.
That is goodbye to Lilium, but will he be
ต้อง
able
อันติ
to
นะ
kill Sharon here?
อันติ
I mean, I think Sharon can
ใช่ไหม
just die, and
แล้วก็ดึง
Nathan
เกต
doesn't even
ขึ้น
need
มา
Sharon. Nathan will just carry the game from now
ถ้าเกิด
on.
It's not
อ๋อ
enough.
ไม่ได้
So the
โดนใบ
S3 is going to kill off the
ไม่
Lilium
พาสซี
here,
ฟ
and then I think the S2 can
จ
just
บแล้วอะอย่างเงี้ย
terminate whoever he wants on the side of Kecker. This
แล้วไม่พาสซีฟ
Nathan
เลย
is just
สปีด
untouchable at this point.
จบแล้ว
Yep, I think it's
ผมว่า
over.
ตอนแรก
I
ยังไง
think
ก็ต้อง
Kecker
ตบนาเทนป่ะ
is
ต้องวัดใจแล้วอะ
very near the
เพราะว่าไม่งั้น
champion title because
โดน
what is
นาเทนออกสกิลทีเดียวก็แพ้เลยอะ
going to
โดน
do?
สปีด
He's gonna
ก็ตี
terminate
ไม่เข้าแล้ว
the
ตีไม่คิ
Swan G, and
Passive ก็
Nathan literally
สอง
laughed
ตัว
at Kethos at this point.
ไม่ทำงาน
Yeah.
XC ไม่เด้งเกต
It's
ดึง
just
เพื่อนไม่ได้
GG. He has to speed down on everybody, so
อะไรวะ
none
เนี่
of
ย
the units can actually do.
Oh my
หรือว่า
Sharon
สมองไหลไปแล้ว
one-shots and
เกเกอร์
GG,
จี
Kecker
จี
takes it.
แชมป์อีกครั้งของพี่เก๊ก
Congratulations to the EWS 2026 Vanguard Cup champion, the none other than the legendary Kecker himself, Mr. Totem, claiming the champion title for the global server and himself, and also
แต่เขาแบนตัวอะไรนะไม่ถึงว่าไม่แกะ
$3,000.
แบนเฟย่า
Insane. Lost game 1, adapted, and then won the continuing 3 after
พี่แบน
that.
โลวาน
Looked pretty shaky in that game 1. It
ต้องมีแบน
was
อาทิตย์ปะ
a super clean win from Lucky
สุด
Elun.
ในสุดท้ายก็ต้องมาแบน
Once
แบนในเกมอยู่ดี
Kecker
เพราะปล่อยก็แพ้
adapted,
ไม่ใหญ่เกิน
free for him.
Indeed, man. See, I told you, Kecker can easily lose game 1 just to adapt,
ไม่งั้นก็ต้องบอกว่าตัวท้ายต้องเป็นแมสอะ
and win the
ว่า
next 3.
ใช่ไหม
Incredible.
Wow, that was insane. And Kecker back on top. Only had that one blip in the previous tournament where he finished 3rd place.
เนี่ย
I
ถือ
don't
ว่า
know if he'll be able
ถ้าเปลี่ยนจากไอรอน
if he
อะ
bans the
เป็นแมสไซ
Freya,
อา
I don't know if
โหดเลย
he's
ถือว่า
actually able
ผมว่า
to
แมสไซ
kill
อาเก่ง
this
กว่านะ
Nathan. And
ดึง
I'd be
มา
scared
ปาด
that the Nathan just 1v4s the whole game.
อิมมูน
Because I think he is off bulwark
หรือว่า
for
กลัวว่าไม่
entire
ตาย
game. So the Sharon Kecker can easily lose game 1 just to adapt, evolve immediately
โอเคครับแต่ผม
and win.
ไปก่อนยินดีกับเกเกอร์ด้วยเกเกอร์โคตรโหด
Wow, that was
สาม
insane.
แชมป์ไปแล้วตั้งแต่เกมเปิดมา
Only had that one blip in the previous tournament where he finished 3rd place. Back to winning ways, back to first. Who's going to stop Kacker?
พอใจไหลแล้วมันมุ่งทางเดียว
Back, baby, and he's
พอไหลแล้วมุ่ง
stronger
ทางเดียว
than ever. And
เกเกอร์ตลอดไป
I think he's gonna
ไม่แบ่งใครเลย
move,
รอบที่แล้วเขา
EDDS
ได้ที่ 3 นะเขาไม่ได้แชมป์นะ
and
เกเกอร์
absolutely dominate that
แพ้
game.
ลักกี้อะไรสักอย่างคนจีนอะ
Yeah, I heard you were going to be looking to try and
แล้วลักกี้
qualify
ส่ง
for that
เหมือน
one next time, 'cause I heard
ชื่อคล้ายกันมา
pretty good
เป็นอันนี้
matchup
ลักกี้ลูน
expected.
รอบที่แล้วลักกี้อะไรไม่รู้
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give Kecker a run for his money easily. In my
โอ
dream.
เคครับผมไปแล้วใครยังไม่กดไลค์ฝากด้วยครับแล้วก็ฝาก
Well,
กด
he always
ติดตาม
seems to
ด้วย
come out on top,
แล้วก็ผมรับ
regardless
ดู
of
ไอ
how
ดี
good
นะ
he
ใคร
is.
อยากให้ดูไอ
He
ดี
just
ก็
plays
ทักมาใน
his
เพจ
own
ลิงก์อยู่ใต้
style,
คำอธิบายคลิป
playstyle,
ขอบคุณ
and
มาก
it always
สำหรับวันนี้ไปแล้วครับ
works for him. He's a very